Joe Rogan Podcast. Check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
We're up. Boys, what's happening? What a beautiful moment to get you guys together in a room. This is awesome.
It's badass.
This is fucking awesome. I've known all you guys for fucking ever. I think I've known you the longest. I've known you for at least 20 years.
2001, I believe. Wow. 2001.
I remember you were sleeping in your dojo. Yes. You were he had a bucket, like a thing you would piss in. Because he drank so much water, so he had his jug next to his bed. He's like, I'm tired. I don't want to get up. I don't want to get up and go to the bathroom. I gotta piss. I just piss right there and go back to sleep.
I lived in my first storefront academy in East Meadow, my hometown, and Joe and Eddie Bravo were in town for some reason. I think you were doing a gig or something.
Yeah, I was doing a gig, and you came and picked us up.
Yeah,
we took the train, and he picked us up at the train station, took us to his academy. It was awesome.
Yeah, the Hicksville train station, and it was literally, not to make everybody feel old, it was 21 years ago. Yeah. I was 28. You know why I remember? Because I was going to fight BJ Penn at Mohegan Sun. Wow. So I'm like, are you going? You're like, oh, I got this gig. And you came, you trained at my place, and I showed you the basement. I'll never forget what you said to me down there. And I think I said the last time I was here. I go, yo, man, this is where I sleep. This is where I stay. And you looked at it, you go, dude, you live like a fucking Spartan.
Yeah.
I go, hey, man, I remember it like it was yesterday.
Well, you were living that life. I mean, and I think that's what you have to do to be elite at MMA when you're starting out, especially back then. You had to be all in. All in. And you're a coach of high-level people. You could speak to this.
Yeah, but I mean, I've also lived that life too. You know, back in 2001. I mean, I fought BJ in 2001.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know what it's like to live in the car. I still do it sometimes now. So like,
you sleep in your car?
Sometimes.
Just for old time's sake.
Well, no, I'll be on the road so much, man, and like sometimes I don't even know where I'm going.
Wow.
I'll be on the road so much, I'm like, God damn.
Dean Thomas got a lot of jobs. Dean
Yeah.
Well, no one, you know what it was? Is I remember talking to you and you said, man, I work a lot because I know what it's like to be poor.
Yeah.
So like, that's why I work.
Yeah, I stay ahead.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to think about money. I don't think about money, but the way to not think about money is to make enough so you don't have to think about it.
Exactly.
And I met you around the same time because I met you and Eddie as well through jiu-jitsu.
Yes.
You guys were on the underground back in the day.
And we were trying to find a place to watch the fights.
In Baltimore.
Yeah, I had a gig.
Yep.
Like, so Eddie went to your place was it Pride?
Yeah, we went. Well,
was it Pride or was it the UFC?
It was UFC. He actually fought, because I remember you saying, because we both thought he beat BJ, even though you didn't get the decision, and you were doing you were at the Improv, I believe, in Baltimore at the time.
Oh wow!
And then we hit like ESPN Zone for dinner, and I was friends with you guys ever since.
Yeah, Rallo and I have had some fun on the road, man. We've been to a lot of gigs together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like those friendships that you make in the early days. They're kind of special because like we were there, you know, when the UFC in 2001 was a different thing, man.
Completely
different animal. It was so fringe.
Yeah,
and you always felt like I always felt like it was going to be over any second.
Yeah,
I remember being like, all right, look, I'll take this next fight at this price because this is going to be fucking down. This is going to be coming to an end soon. And I'll tell my kids that one time I fought in a cage. It used to be this sport where we fought in a cage. It looked like the end was coming at any moment. Yeah. It really did. Before that, the fight with Forrest Griffin and Stephen Bonner. And,
you know what's really crazy? Eddie Bravo and I used to have this conversation. We would be like, because I met Eddie in like 1998. I met him at I think I either met him at John Jocks, but I saw him at John Jocks. He was there with Ricky Rocket. Like, Ricky Rocket from Poison is a legit black belt under John Jock Machado. Yeah.
No kidding.
Ricky Rocket he's real. He trained.
No, legit.
Yeah. Undercover. You know what I mean? Just a regular dude, goes into classes.
Yeah.
Legit. Like, real guy. So anyway, Eddie was there with him as a spectator. And, like, this is like 1998. And we would say, you know what this sport needs? Some crazy billionaires to just invest all this money in it. Because we know how exciting it is, but the world didn't know. This is, this is 98. This is like Dan Henderson's first fights.
Yeah.
Carlos
I remember.
Newton. Back in those days, remember Carlos Newton? A lot of people forgot how good that fucking dude was.
I still talk to him, like, because he's on the committee that the ABC commission has for fighters, and I'm on that commission with Carlos Newton.
Nice.
Dude,
What
he
happened
was a
to him?
beast.
What happened? What is, I mean,
He's like
what is he
working
doing now?
like
He's-
real estate or construction or something.
He's doing
in
okay,
Canada.
though.
He's alive.
I like when I see guys make it through okay. Because, I mean, now I talk about this with Dean a lot. And when we're on the road with Dana doing the show, I go, I got survivor's guilt.
Yeah.
I'm like, I go, fucking, there's a lot of guys now that the sport's like 30 years old.
Yeah.
Like, there's like casualties in the game now. Whether it's their health, whether they get done with the sport. And, I mean, Phil Baroni's in a Mexican prison right now. War Machine. I mean, these bad. Listen,
Right.
there's some people making very bad choices. But, I don't know, man. It's upsetting to me when I see people all fucked up and we're sitting there hanging out having a good
It's
time.
hard. It's hard when people forget too about the early days were not that popular, so they forget about some spectacular performances. They forget about some when Carlos Newton tapped out Pat Miletich with the bulldog choke.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that was
Yeah.
the first time I'd never seen anybody do that.
No, that was something else.
I fought on that card.
Do you remember that
backfisted by Shoney? on
There's
that
a
card,
photo of him, and he is jacked.
And Pat's face is like,
And
See if you can find the photo of Carlos Newton. Look at this photo. Look. Oh my God.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God.
And I remember
There's like another one too of it, like more from the back. But either way, like what a perfect picture. I mean, that is so nasty.
he was a fluent fighter. He was very.
He was like the first
Look at
one,
his
right?
arm.
Yeah.
Look at his fucking arm. Jesus Christ. He was one of the very best grapplers in the early days of the UFC. He pulled off some wild shit.
Yeah.
Phenomenal jiu-jitsu. Remember he got Matt
Super
Hughes in that
talented.
triangle
Yeah, that
and
was
Matt
sick.
slammed
They
him and
both
KO'd
went to
him?
sleep.
Yeah,
They both went to sleep.
and then Matt just woke
Matt
up first.
woke up first.
He's like, I won? I won.
That was
He was
hysterical.
surprised.
Amazing.
It's funny looking at all these pictures and everything. Pre-USADA.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Let's talk. Let's talk, Matt Serra. Let's
Only
talk.
because I listen. And by the way, this is me at 49 on TOT. Okay, so I'm not competing now on anything. I never competed, did anything ever. So I remember, like, I liked some guys back then, but fuck, man, like Randy Couture, the Natural. Really? The Natural? Can we get a different nickname? But I like Randy. I like the Expendables and shit. But, I mean, of all the nicknames. Yeah. Can I have a little more of that? Yeah, you want some coffee? Oh, I'm an espresso freak.
You want espresso?
Oh,
We'll get you
well,
some
no, I have
espresso.
coffee. I have coffee.
Whatever
But,
you want. We'll get you some espresso.
It is
Can we
weird.
get 4 espressos?
Oh, you guys are awesome. Like you look at, it's different when you look at the Pride guys because they were almost encouraging that shit. It's
They
like-
were encouraging it
Yeah,
straight
it
up.
was-
One of
it
Eddie's guys went
specifically
over there.
stated
They
they didn't
literally
get
told
tested.
him to gain weight.
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah.
like, you wanna get you on steroids,
They
get up to
wanted
185.
that whole freak
Yeah.
show on watching the biggest guys kill each other.
Yeah.
I wonder, like I know I fought BJ. I believe him when he says he was natural, but I wonder how many dudes I fought that were actually on something.
I think
Like,
BJ was 100% natural.
I believe him. I believe him 100%.
And also, there's no change in his physique ever. It was with BJ was all about whether or not BJ was fully dedicated. The fully dedicated BJ was a terrifying force.
To me, I still believe he's the greatest lightweight of all time.
I think you can make a real good argument that the prime BJ, when he beat Diego Sanchez, I would put that up against anybody ever.
Yeah, Diego
I would wanna
Sanchez,
see.
Shirk,
I'm
all
not-
those guys,
I'm
man.
not saying
That-
Khabib couldn't beat him because
Right.
Khabib was a motherfucker. I mean, I don't think we really can appreciate how much of a motherfucker he is until after he's long gone. You go by him, like that Edson Barboza fight.
Right.
He put that 1,000-yard stare in Edson Barboza early in that fight.
Yeah.
Where he was like, oh my God. Like this motherfucker. Like, I don't know if he might be able to do that to everybody. I don't know.
It seemed that way, but BJ was on a different level.
He was on
like
an
the prime
insane
BJ.
level.
Prime BJ was on a different level.
And he had legs. There's this 1,000-yard stare. BJ had legs that were like arms.
yeah,
Like his
So,
dexterity.
Yeah. I heard he could put his legs behind his
Yeah,
head
he
without
can.
using his
Yeah.
hands.
And he stretches them. It's not like it's just totally natural.
Right.
He was telling me all these crazy things he does with bands. You know, like where he stretches himself with bands. He does like hardcore stretching
Isn't it
shit.
wild that even the most flexible motherfuckers, if you get them in the crucifix, it doesn't matter if they can suck their own dick, they're still getting fucked up. Like when you get a guy, DJ Penn, when you ever see DJ Penn? The guy's jumping out of pools and shit. But and like Matt Hughes gets him here in the crucifix.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't matter. You can put your legs behind your head. He should have used his legs to fucking block the fucking, do some Wing Chun with your legs. The crucifix fucks you up. I get gi or no gi. I go for that all the time. Training, and yeah, I know I can't. Yeah, and. I know I can't hit them, but there's a lot of ways you could transition into Kimuras, arm locks, different things. But it's such a good thing to get used to because they can't do dick. DC might not, I don't know how great his jiu-jitsu is, but I mean, look, he gets guys in the crucifix, they're fucking done.
Yeah. Dude, the crucifix is there was one guy at John Jocks who specialized in the crucifix, and I was always terrified of this dude because it's such a terrible place to be.
Yeah, it is. Like you can't use your arms, and you're like,
It's such a horrible.
And you get punched in the face, and you're like trying to block with that one little hand.
With MMA, it's so much worse.
Yeah,
it's the elbows from that position.
Yeah.
Oh my God, punches.
When I was fighting Matt, when I was getting ready to fight Matt Hughes, I was having people start me from there. And that's why the only fight I ever in my career had to pull out of was our first time I was supposed to meet Matt Hughes. And that literally broke my heart because I was talking such shit. And I would never talk shit. But I only talk shit knowing that I'm going to meet this guy in a cage. You know what I mean? Because they say, you know what I mean? So I was calling the guy, every other day I'm calling the guy a dick. But I know we're meeting. Then I had to pull out of the fight. And part of the reason why I had to pull out of the fight is because I was getting older at the time and I was still training like a younger guy. So I was starting in the crucifix with my buddy Craig, who was like a fucking big, strong motherfucker. And then I'd get out. After 5 minutes, I would do duck under, suplex, duck. Then I cooled off. Remember Matt Arroyo? Remember Matt Arroyo?
Yeah.
He was visiting. So he asked me to show a move. I cooled down. And dude, I fucking blew my back out just showing something. I went to show something. I guess I was so fucking, like from doing
tired.
those shit. Yeah, because I was training so physical, not as smart. So I had to pull out of the fight. But the point was,
what happened to your back?
L4 and L5, I had a herniated discs.
Oh, Jesus.
So I tried to stay in I tried to not pull out of the fight. So fucking, I went to a chiropractor. And I will never go to a motherfucking chiropractor again. He took out this Tonka toy thing, and he goes, you see, your spine is, you gotta, and I go, dude, I don't know what you're doing. I go, but just, could you do something for me? He goes, everybody thinks they have a herniated disc. Because meanwhile, I'm sitting like, I'm thinking about it. I'm sitting the way I was sitting. I was like, not straight. I go, dude, something's not right here. He goes, everybody thinks it's a herniation, but it's a lot of times it's yada yada. He put me on a thing. He put me upside down on one of those. What do you call
tables.
Yes. And then he was with someone else, and then I'm with my wife, and then he goes, okay, like almost like I'm a fucking turkey. Yeah, flip him over. You could turn him back over. When he turned, I guess everything was coming back down on my stuff when he turned me back over. I was fucking, I'm fucking screaming like something's sticking in me. And then he charged me $50. And I got the fuck out of there.
Do you know how, when they call themselves doctors, do you know how much time they spend in medical school?
Yeah, zero.
How many?
Zero.
How much?
Zero time in medical school.
It's fucking.
Do you know how it was invented?
How?
Thank you, by the way.
Pull up the article, Chiropractors Are Bullshit.
Joe, I have chiropractors at home that know I know you, and they're like, hey, man, why is he beating up on the chiropractors?
Nah, fuck.
You
It's
know?
the origin of it. Look, whether or not I'm not disputing that people get relief from being manipulated, because I think there's something to the deep tissue aspect of it. There's probably something even to being out of alignment in certain conditions, and a lot of that could be because of little injuries and things are tight, and that's why deep tissue massage and rolfing is very effective. But the origins of the medical art, it came from a guy who was a magnetic healer who came up with this idea he's going to cure all illnesses by manipulating your spine. And the speculation is he was murdered by his son, who was a con man. And his son then fucking takes it everywhere. And I don't know.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. Dude, pull up the article. Pull up that article again. Because it's like, when you read it, you're like, what? Is this real? So, I always thought it was a doctor.
But it's not. It's
not
some
a
dude
doctor.
that was like his son.
It's a thing that, like, you may find relief from. you may find relief from being manipulated. And I think there's guys out there that are really good at, like, they use other stuff with different techniques with it. They're basically doing physical therapy. But the knowledge and philosophy given me by Dr. Okay, here it is. Palmer held seances to contact a dead physician named Jim Atkinson. He said that those seances helped him develop chiropractic. As he wrote in his 1914 book, The Chiropractor, the knowledge and philosophy given me by Dr. Jim Atkinson, an intelligent spiritual being, together with explanations of phenomena, principles resolved from causes, effects, powers, laws, and utility appealed to my reason. The method by which I obtained an explanation of certain physical phenomena from an intelligence in the spiritual world is known in biblical language as inspiration. In a great measure, the chiropractor's adjuster was written under such spiritual promptings. So this guy came up with this from a seance.
He learned from a ghost.
He learned it from a ghost. And then the idea behind it, though, is that you could fix all these different problems that people have by adjusting them. Like all kinds of wild shit. And that they thought they could do. See what it said that they thought they could do with it, because it's kind of nutty when you read like the stuff that he was saying he could fix.
Man, I just think it feels good. Like when you
Feels
crack
good.
your knuckles, it feels good.
Yeah, like
you
you crack anything, it feels good.
I think also getting pushed on and rubbed and adjusted, it's good for you. It feels good. It's like when I get deep tissue massage, these motherfuckers, they dig in there with their elbows and they're kind of cracking shit and moving.
Right.
There's a lot of tension and you can alleviate that. I'm not saying that being adjusted or any of these things these people do doesn't offer people help. I'm sure it does. Don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, where did that come from? And why are you calling it that?
Yeah, it's
so
by
if you
some
want
dude.
to call it like physical maintenance, you know, that's you're
right.
literally attaching something that actually works to something that's really crazy.
Yeah,
like the origins of this are
Yeah, for real.
bonkers.
Why don't masseuses call themselves doctors? It's a similar
It's
thing.
a similar thing if you have a really good deep tissue massager, because it's like a disrespectful thing to a medical professional.
Right, and it makes you question the credibility
Yes.
of everything that they're doing.
Exactly. But they do help people. That's the thing. It's like, but you got to admit what it actually is, and maybe you should probably take a look at the origins of it.
Yeah.
Well,
See if you want to be attached to that.
shit, man. They didn't do dick for me, but I went to.
They didn't do a dick for me either. That's how I found out about all this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. I had a bulging disc in my fucking neck, and I went to a guy for a year who was like telling me, no, it's just, this is a muscle injury. And this, he's like, he pushed down on my head, and he was saying, does it hurt when I do that? I go, no. He's like, then you don't have a bulging disc. Like, how ridiculous is that?
Yeah, how do you know?
I finally went to a real doctor, and he gave me an MRI. He's like, yeah, you got a bulging disc.
He didn't touch your head.
And then they didn't even touch my head. And then they did Regenikine on it. That's that shit that Dana went to Germany to go
Oh,
get.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
They heat
Peyton
it up.
Manning went.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant went over there. And
Yo.
it's your own blood. It's like a PRP thing, but they add a bunch of stuff to it, and that fixed it in 2 weeks.
Yo, what about that fucking Final Destination Dana? What the fuck did he do when he got that fucking test when he's like, oh, I'm going to die in 10 years?
he freaked
What is
out.
that?
He went
That-
keto.
What is that?
I know. He's all healthy
what,
now.
what test was that he took when he goes,
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
He told me
first
about
of all,
this guy.
who the fuck is
The
that guy?
10X
that knows
guy?
he-
Yeah.
Somebody said that he's going to fucking, what did they say? That he's going to probably die in 10 years?
Something like
He
that.
said if he kept going the way he was going, he could probably die in 10 years. But I believe that because Dana was just like, he doesn't sleep. He's always going.
Yeah, yeah.
I could call Dana and have a 2-hour conversation with him at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
He's an animal.
He don't sleep.
He's an animal. He's just like always doing stuff. He's always involved. He's always got deals. He's always working on fights. He fucking loves this shit. That guy's
that's
nuts. If he ever,
obvious.
it's in my contract that if he leaves, I leave.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you don't got
That
to worry
is.
about nothing. Because he ain't going
He's not
nowhere.
going
He ain't going
anywhere.
nowhere.
I'm like, I don't want to do this for anybody else.
Yeah, he obviously loves it because he does not have to do it.
No, he loves it. I'm telling you right now. You call him at any given time and say, Jan Blachowicz, Alex Pajeda. Holy shit.
Yeah.
And I just call him up, and we're going, oh my God, what the fuck is that going to be like? Bro, what is that going to be like, by the way? What is that going to be like?
Wait, say it again now?
Jan Blachowicz is fighting Alex Pajeda.
Depends where it goes.
Well, this is the thing. I think that it's going to be a little. I think Izzy's harder to get down than Alex,
then
and I
Alex
think
gonna
Jan's going to get him down.
He's gonna get him
and
down.
I don't think he's getting up.
I don't think so either.
Jan, did Izzy get up every time he got taken down?
Well, not in the later rounds. No. You know, Jan Blachowicz can grapple.
Yeah,
he can
that's
grapple.
that's the thing. I don't
If
think
it's on
gonna,
the feet, I still think, Hato gets him, but on the ground, I don't see how you
Yeah,
get
but
up.
dude, look
at that left hook. On
Blachowicz is very high level on the feet. I mean, he's very high level. Like, and he's got this wild thing that he'll do. He'll go shin to shin with you.
Yeah.
He'll kick your fucking shins. Like, he's the only guy that I ever see that consistently does that.
And dude, look at that Luke Rockhold
But Jan
knockout.
Blachowicz, if he
Goliath.
gets you down, man, and we saw how bad Alex looked on the ground
Yes.
Yeah.
against Izzy, who looked
Yes.
just as almost as bad.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I mean,
he did not look
got
good.
that point.
But, you could say that he never anticipated that from Izzy, and he anticipated a straight-up kickboxing match, because that's most of Izzy's fights. He never tries to take
Right,
people
for
down.
sure.
He
But
could have said he made a mistake in that regard.
I mean, but there's just certain natural movements that you do if you are competent on the ground. Like your legs are, your body's round and you're using your legs. I mean, he was pretty like he was like a board.
Yeah.
Like
It was very low level.
The
But
worst,
you know what? If a guy can get that good at stand-up, he's so fucking good. He's so sneaky.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
the sneakiest calf kicker in the history of calf kicks.
Yeah.
His shit is so high level, and you don't realize it. It was even better in the second fight.
Yeah.
He's got this way of lifting that front leg and then no hip switch at all.
He just boom.
It's crazy.
Can I just say I'm glad I'm out of the game before they fucking put in these damn calf kicks? I don't want that shit. I'm glad I fucking. I never took one kick in my calf.
Now,
I'm
I tell
happy
you what,
about
my last fight in the UFC, I fought Josh Neer, and he inadvertently kicked me in the calf. I thought my leg was broke. Wow. I was just pulling guard at that point.
It's worse.
Yeah, so I didn't know what a calf kick. Well, I thought he was just trying to kick my leg. It just happened to hit the calf, and I was done. I was
Josh
like, all right.
Neer is
Yeah.
another bad motherfucker that
Yeah,
people forgot.
They call him the dentist.
Yeah, that dude was awesome.
Man, there's a lot of guys that people got to throw their name in the old UFC Fight Pass because, like guys like Chris Lytle, they should
Yeah.
get. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
want them to be.
Yeah,
I want
for
them
sure.
to be known, man.
Eve
Like,
Edwards.
Eve
For
Edwards.
Eve
sure,
Edwards
man.
is in his
He was
prime.
very good.
When he knocked out Josh Thompson, I was saying that Eve Edwards is the best 155-pounder alive. But there wasn't a UFC championship for that back then.
Remember
I was there when he
50?
knocked out Masvidal too, because I had a guy on. It was Bodog actually in New Jersey. He head kicked Masvidal. Knocked him out.
No. You got it backwards.
Wasn't Edwards?
You got it
No,
backwards.
Masvidal beat him, I
Masvidal
think.
head kicked him.
Did he?
Yes.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
is true.
Masvidal
Yeah.
KO'd him. It was a
Damn.
huge victory for Masvidal.
About to make
Yeah.
a real enemy there with that one. Fuck.
Yeah. You switched that one up. Switched that one up entirely.
Remember the time
Yeah.
I back-fisted Shoney? Remember that?
I do remember that. I was there for that one too,
Shoney
brother.
Carter was awesome. Yeah, this is it right here.
He was a
Boom.
Boom.
Yep.
Shit,
Got me right.
Beautiful.
And I've been thinking it's the other way for
No,
how
Oh
long.
man,
That's-
that
I
was
smoke
look
a
at
lot of weed,
Masvidal.
guys.
Even back then, look at that fucking dude. Even back then, that dude's hilarious. That dude's
It's the Nick
hilarious.
Diaz on Anderson
I
page.
fought Eve Edwards right after 9/11. It was
September 28th, UFC
yeah.
33.
That's when me and you started
Yeah,
hanging out.
'cause I fought
you
Fabiano.
fought Fabiano
Yeah.
Iha.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is that guy now?
I don't know.
How many arm bars did that guy
Yeah,
have?
right.
Oh, he had a
was
lot.
the arm
Laverne
bar, man.
Clark.
Arm
Yeah, he
bars.
was just grabbing guys' arms and just throwing his legs around. Whoop, whoop.
I
Yeah.
tell you, put it on him though. Fucking Mr. Thomas.
Put them hands on him, boy. Put them hands on that cat.
I remember he had those cornrows at the time.
They weren't even
You
cornrows.
were
He had
fucking
him cut him
grabbing
in.
it.
He just cut. It was his haircut. He had lines cut in his hair like cornrows.
man.
Yeah.
Beat the shit out of him, Dean Thomas. That was we were both coming off. We both had our initial fights in the UFC. We both had hype, and we both fucked that up.
I know.
You lost to BJ. You lost to
I
BJ
know. I
Penn.
remember that.
I lost to Shoney Carter. So now it's UFC 33 in Vegas. Right, it's at the end of September.
Yeah,
Literally, it's
yeah.
right after
After
9/11. I'm without Ray Longo. His wife didn't let him get on a plane. It was a weird time. It was a ghost town. And it was fucking crazy. I fought Eve Edwards, who was a better striker than Shoney, and it was a crazy night.
Yeah, I
And
remember.
bullshitting
Crazy.
with you.
I was just having a conversation with the people about the Gracie documentary, and we were talking about right after September 11th when Tito fought Matt Yushchenko.
Yeah, that's
That
the
was
same
on- that
card.
was
That was the same card.
That
Yeah,
was the same card.
That was the
Yeah.
same card.
That was a
I remember
wild
that.
This
night.
was it.
Yeah.
The ramp.
I was in the audience.
Really?
Yeah, that was before I worked for the UFC again.
Oh, wait, you were there?
Yeah, I was at that event. Yeah, me and Eddie Bravo.
This. We fought on this, Dean.
This was when they had their first big event in the UFC in Vegas.
In Vegas, that was the
and
first
it
one,
went
yeah.
over.
And I wanted to be there for it. I was like, God, we got to go. We got to
Yeah.
go.
Dennis
And
Holman.
I became friends with Dana through that, and that's how I started doing commentary.
Really?
Yeah, I became friends with him.
I didn't because I thought I was the first fight of the night that night against Fabiano Iha.
Wow.
You know what's funny, man? And I don't think you're gonna. I don't know if you're gonna remember this, but it's fitting since I gave you a new T-shirt. How we first started getting to talk, it was after I beat Kelly Delonte. It was on a prelim, right? And it was
I remember that.
yeah. I ended up getting a triangle on him, and it was on a prelim, but they showed it right before the main event, so it got a lot of views. And then they interviewed you, and you weren't doing the commentary yet, but you did say, you know, it was something along the lines of, you know, people think the ground is boring. You need more stuff like, you know, he gave me a nice shout out, that jungle jiu-jitsu that Matt Serra did. And I was like, oh man, this is fucking fantastic. So there's this girl Paula, I was friends with. She's like, yo, you should like send him a shirt for that or something. I go, how do I find him? You know, I'm half fucking special. I go, look, so fucking, where do I, fearfactor.com, where do I, so Paula, thank you, Paula, she sent the T-shirt to Joe, and you ended up calling the Academy. And I swear, you called the Academy to thank me or some shit. And I got on the phone with you, and I was all excited.
That's the old days.
That was
People
ages
didn't
ago.
text back then.
That was all
Texting.
that
You called to say
so
thanks for
crazy.
the shirt,
Bro,
man.
nobody texted back then. In 2001, it
No,
didn't exist.
yeah,
It
you're
wasn't
right.
a text. It wasn't.
No,
was
no
it text?
texting. We called each other.
called, yeah.
Yeah, you call people.
Yeah, I remember that.
We're the
fight.
last generation that
Of
knows
calling
what it's
people.
like to call people.
And most of the time it was on a real phone.
A real phone
Or
connected to
payphone,
the wall.
yeah.
With a
What's
cord.
bad? What's bad now is like I never check my email, and now I never check my voice messages at all. I'm a fucking hermit, you know that. Dean.
Yeah.
I just check my text messages.
Yeah.
So I never checked my voicemail, and that's it, man. I live in my own little world.
That's
I
bad.
know, that's why I was telling you,
Twitter
I didn't think
ages
he was
ago.
going to come out here because like no one interrupts Matt's piece.
Why
Like, you
does-
just can't interrupt his piece.
I just go to my school and I go home. And now, since the pandemic had some blessings, because I used to have to go to the city to hang out with, and I do UFC Unfiltered with Jimmy. Jim's
Yes.
coming out. Jimmy's doing your show. Your mother's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
doing-
yeah. He's doing the club.
I love Jimmy.
I love him too.
Jimmy, my little Jimmy bird. Me and Jimmy became very close. I love.
He's
Jim.
a great guy.
He's a beautiful human being.
Hilarious dude,
Love Jim
too.
Norton. Yeah, I've been doing that show for a while with him. Now I got ADD. Why'd I bring that up? What was I,
Because you
guys?
don't go to New York for it
Oh,
anymore.
okay, the pandemic. Sorry, guys. Nothing changes. So I used to have to go to the city because I do UFC Unfiltered with Jimmy, and I always felt like I was winning because it's a decent paying gig. It's a fun time with Jimmy. I go in after rush hour. I come out before it. But then since the pandemic, man, now I just get a green screen in my fucking room. So now I could be at my school. I do the 7 a.m., come home, take a little nap, hang out with Jimmy and fucking on Zoom, do the podcast, go back, watch my kids strangle people, and I'm there. So I'm at the school twice as much, and I do my podcast still. The only time I really leave is the house. Otherwise, is the fights, cornering people, and hanging out with Dean Thomas looking for a fight.
Yeah.
We have
Don't
a
you
good
think
time.
that's something missing when you're doing a podcast with someone that they're not in the room with you?
Oh, man, don't rock the boat. Man. I'm having a good time. No, don't get me wrong. It's true. No, you're right. It's true. We have a good time. There goes my 7 a.m. class. Guys.
That's awesome.
No. I love hanging out with Jimmy in the room. But we have a good time on the show, don't we?
Yeah,
On Zoom.
I come on every once in a while.
And I'm able to be, because sometimes when I go to the city, and then by the time I get back, it's like, oh, do I feel like heading into the academy now? But now, man, I'm well. And now it's so much
But
better.
wait a
that my-
minute. Wait a minute. You're the guy with the real job.
Yeah, what do you mean?
You're running an academy. Why
Oh,
don't you get
but how
Jim
is
to
that a
come out to
job?
you? Set up a
Yeah,
fucking
in
that's
Long
right.
Island.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
I
what I'm
should.
talking about. Set up a little fucking studio in your town.
Jimmy does the serious radio.
Jimmy,
Not
get
serious
on a
radio.
Fucking Uber and get out to
Yeah.
Long Island.
Yeah, right.
What is this
Yeah.
nonsense?
Right. We
Yeah.
should do that.
Get
I
on
should
the
fucking-
train.
Thank you.
Listen,
Joe.
what's he doing all day? He's jacking
But
off
you know what
and
it is?
fucking
He does
watching TV.
He does his Sirius XM shit. So it's near his house.
Oh, he does that every day?
He does that fucking like 5 days a week. The Jim and Sam show.
Oh, I
I'll
didn't know
plug
it was
that thing.
every day. So it's just like Opie and Anthony.
It's like Opie and Anthony, but it's Jim and Sam. So he's got that gig going. I'm sure that place pays really good. So, you know, so I don't know. I didn't mind taking the hit going to the city. But now I do, since it's a fucking shithole in there now. I used to hang out in there, fucking chill out, sipping my espresso.
How much has it changed?
I haven't been there too much time. I haven't been in there since that much, but I know it's shitty from my friends that live there and from what I've seen. It's, you know, I used to be, but how about this? I used to be able to go on with old school headphones, kind of like this. You know, having my you know, I used to train in the morning. I used to get my head straight, and I'd go there, just whistle. I'm not going, now I'm going to be there like fucking Kurt Russell and that motherfucker. I'm not going to be in there like chilling, walking the fucking, you have to be on guard. It's fucking nasty, dude. The couple times I've been in there, it is what it is, but I think you get a sense of what it's like there now. It's not, you just got to have your guard up. And I did not feel, and I never lower my sword, but I didn't have to feel like I was so on edge. You see shit all the time on the fucking subway.
Man, you just had that guy, you know, the guy got choked, you know, to death on the subway there.
Well,
how did I'm hearing all these different stories in that.
Yeah, well,
did the guy get choked to death? Is that what happened?
Yeah. Well, this is what happened. And
the guy was threatening people on a train.
The guy, I don't know. There was a Marine,
right?
And he put him in a chokehold. I don't know how long he held it for. I don't know how well he's trained.
Never seen the
video. So this is the thing: the
Yeah.
people at home, when they put a chokehold on, when you're doing it correctly, it stops the carotid arteries. I know we all know this, guys. I'm just working, but it stops the blood flow. It doesn't stop the air. But if you stop the blood flow for 15 minutes, the motherfucker's not coming back.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened, how long he kept it on and whatnot. But the guy who did have the chokehold on him had a fucking arrest warrant out for punching a fucking 60-something-year-old lady in the face.
Dude, he had like 40-something.
Oh, he had 40-something arrests. No, this wasn't your...
Yeah.
You know, upstanding citizen.
Look, there were 3 other people involved that were holding him, you know, when this guy tried to restrain him too.
Like,
so everybody felt threatened.
Well, this was what was weird. It's like they made it a race thing too.
Yeah,
Come on.
that's
and,
what it was,
the problem was, to do that, they had to omit the fact that the other guy helping him was black.
Yep.
So there's a black guy that's helping him hold him down, and the guy's got his arm around this dude.
And most of the people on the subway came out in defense of this guy, said, you know, thank you and for helping to protect him.
They always got to make a narrative of you don't know what's the truth unless you were there.
There's
Like,
also a problem with people that are that fucked up. Like, that guy might have been high as shit on fentanyl.
Yeah.
He might have been ready to die anyway. You know, and if you get in a scramble with that dude, and then all of a sudden you got him in a headlock, you might have a fucking heart attack and die.
Well, and I kind of feel bad for the dude because I know if it was me, I'm choking the motherfucker out.
Yeah.
And I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
100%. It's your life.
That's
the fact that that guy might go to jail for that.
Is a joke.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's kind of scary.
Nobody's
That's
saying
scary
anything.
because
It's
I'm
kinda
choking the
crazy.
motherfucker out because I'm trained to do that.
The only thing that I couldn't, only because I wasn't there, is how long did he hold it on?
That
Right,
was the,
what did it
that's
look
the only
like?
question
That's
I
the
asked
only thing.
too.
What did it
and
look
none of
like?
us have seen a
Like
video.
if I seen a video of him putting him to sleep
right.
and the guy just didn't wake up, it's like, all right, well, maybe the guy shouldn't be fucking attacking people,
Right.
punching 60-something-year-old women in the face and whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there's a case for that, but again, I can't go to bat if I don't know how long he held that on for.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
Do you remember when that guy got choked to death for selling loose cigarettes?
Oh yeah,
Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
What was that
remember
guy's
big heavy
name?
guy.
Big heavy dude.
I forgot his name.
It was a
but-
terrible story.
Yeah.
Eric Gardner. Terrible story. But there was all these people that were saying that's not a chokehold. And I was like, fuck you, that's not a chokehold. Like, let me do that to you.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
do, you don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, that cop had that dude's head, and he had
Basically
that shit
bulldog choking him,
cinched
basically.
down. He's getting choked.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's the worst case of it.
Amen.
But this is like the best case of it. Like
Right.
stopping someone who's been assaulting people. The fact that the guy died fucking sucks, and we can't speak to it because I don't know. I don't know. Is there a video of the actual choking?
If there's a video out there, and not that you want to see the guy die, but it's crucial to know
Whether
did
he's
he do
guilty
the right thing
or not, exactly.
Right.
I
How
don't wanna-
long
I
did
don't
the guy
wanna,
hold
you know,
on to the choke? Because if
that's
he
the
did
big-
hold on
Yeah.
to the choke for like a couple of minutes, yeah, that's you don't. You don't do that.
Yeah.
Does he know that though?
That's the
There's
biggest
another
thing.
thing.
Yeah,
That's-
he
I
might.
said
He might.
straight
He
up,
might
I
not
go,
know that.
It's
We
just
don't-
because he's a Marine and he
Yeah.
knows how to
Yeah.
do that. Fucking everybody knows how. Oh, okay. There's a photo of him. Well, 100%
Yeah.
he's choking him.
Yeah, there's the photo, but now
Kind
It
of
looks like
shitty
Logan
technique.
Paul and Aljamain. For
Kind of
sure.
shitty technique. But look at his his right arm. Look, he's goofy with his hand.
like
Right.
the-
So it's not good technique. It's okay.
I
You
saw
know,
the
he's
guy
doing-
get interviewed. He claimed this guy was talking through it. He said he used it more to restrain him, but I guess that's what you
I
would
mean,
say.
that'll work, right? That's old school UFC palm on the head. It does work, but that's not like what a black belt
serious-
does. That's not like a
You know what?
serious guy.
Hey, you know what kind of scared me recently? Not to be a dick, and I love Michael Bisping, and who else did it? Marvin Vittori. But fuck, man, guys. When you want to do the and I love Michael Bisping. I get along with him very well. They put Steve-O and someone else to sleep.
Oh,
recently.
yeah.
Hey, guys, do it. Now look, you don't. Can I say something right now? And I do you mind if I do this to Dean Thomas?
Oh wait a minute, I mind.
No, I'm not just exactly where you are. But just when you're doing the
already.
proper rear naked,
Yeah, the elbows in the
I
right
want
spot.
the elbow underneath the point of the chin. That way I know I'm on the carotid arteries. I'm not going to do it. But now, if I just slightly go to compress, what the fuck, man? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like if it's on the windpipe
you're on
at
the windpipe.
all, dude, I'm looking at this thing like, guys, you might crush his fucking throat. Like,
And
what
now
are we-
look at the
like,
amount
what
of
I'm looking-
pressure he's putting all
No,
of his
because
weight behind him. Like, look what he's doing.
out, he's out.
And
I
he's
know.
still
But
holding it.
But his forearm was on his
Yes.
windpipe.
Yeah, that's-
And Mikey, I love Mikey. I love Mike. I do. But guys, come on, man. Fuck.
That's also like he like leaned into it.
I know.
He got all of his weight behind it. That was
I would never do that to
That guy was
somebody.
out.
Yeah.
You want a V
Look
on
at
the
that.
neck.
Look
You
at
want
the-
a fucking. That's not a V.
Yeah, I'm with
But
you.
That's
look-
a
Yeah.
fucking L.
Yeah.
That's a fucking, he's doing a number 4 on his neck. Dude, it should be a V on the neck. That didn't hurt you when I was doing
No,
it.
no.
And you'll be sleeping in under 10
Yeah,
fucking
for sure.
8 seconds. I
So
don't
if
like
you're gonna
that.
choke out radio DJs, do it properly.
Yeah.
Align your elbow with the chin.
There's a lot of those DJs get choked out.
I mean, goddamn, I don't know. I was looking at it like, dude, I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. What the fuck? Like, guys,
It's not safe.
I mean, yeah, you'll put him out, but fuck.
Right.
You gonna hurt him. You gonna hurt him before you put him
You're
out.
gonna hurt his fucking
Yeah.
guy's not gonna be eating soup for a
Yeah.
fucking week. That guy. Anyway, I don't know,
Anyway.
that just bothers me.
I hear you.
You know,
It's a good thing
and
to
I like
talk
those
about.
Guys. Yeah, because people get.
Why
look
do
at
people
that.
want to get choked out like that too? Why do they
I
want to
don't
go
know.
to sleep?
Yeah, they have like this infatuation, like maybe with fighters, and just like I want to see what it feels like.
Oh, you know what the worst one is? Steve-O with Tim Kennedy. Tim Kennedy choked him asleep and then dropped him. And he bounced off his fucking head on the theater floor.
But why? Wait,
no.
but why would
Oh,
you
no.
think Tim Kennedy would know better than that?
I don't think Tim
fuck is
Kennedy
that?
gives a fuck. Tim Kennedy's a wild boy.
That's a
So look at
special
this.
person.
Look at this. He chokes him to sleep.
Holy shit.
But again, look where the elbow placement.
His feet are
Wait, hold
dangling.
on. Wait, what is he?
oh, hold
See?
on, damn.
That was.
Hold on, there's
Yeah.
people watching.
hold on.
Yeah. Yeah, this was on his show.
Oh no, that might have been.
I bet you he told
I think
him
the
to
elbow
fucking
placement was
drop
better
him.
when I saw it the
yeah,
second
I
time.
think he did tell him to drop him, and Tim's like, okay,
Right?
I'll drop you.
He's got his feet dangling.
Really bad.
Dude,
though.
first
Yeah,
of
that's
all,
very, very,
first of all,
very, very
the guy
bad
hits his
for
head
your
on the
brain.
floor too.
You could
Yeah,
die.
that's
But
yeah, I was
that's
about
what I'm
to say.
talking about. That part. The choking out.
But why?
He's had
Why would
worse
people?
happening.
Why would people do that?
He's crazy. He wants that to
I know,
happen.
but why would? But why would Tim Kennedy put himself in that position? Because if he dies, he's responsible for that.
That's a real thing.
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
Like that's why I don't choke nobody out like that.
Yeah, that's a real thing. That's a real thing in fights.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, hey, listen, 100%. I mean, you could end a situation just as easy with like that fucking idiot when I was in Vegas. Easy right hand at his fucking
Right.
chin. I was looking at him like the RoboCop, where I saw the chin right there. But then he's taking his shirt off. I'm just like, yeah, get out of here, you little fucker. I'm gonna fucking. And my kids were right there.
But
I'm
so
like,
much better
I
that you
hit
did it
him.
that
His
way.
head hits the floor. I'm fucked.
Yeah, but
My kids
also
are gonna
the way
be
you did
scarred.
it was kind of beautiful.
Yeah.
To show everybody, like, look, this is a.
And he's laughing,
And you're
and he's just,
being
you know,
nice
joking
to
around.
him.
Yeah.
I mean, it was beautiful.
At one point, I was
Great
actually
commercial for jiu-jitsu.
because I was
Yeah.
Oh, I use that all the time as a fucking. I'm no salesman, but I tell people, and I mean it though. I really do mean it. I don't point to any of my fights with the guys I fought. I fought some killers and stuff. I tell people to look up that, not, and it's not for bragging rights. It like it's not.
Look at you laughing when you got this guy mounted.
It's like I'm fighting my
talking
evil
shit
stunt
to
double.
him.
Look how you're holding his wrist. It's like you're doing a seminar.
Yeah. Oh no, 100% a lesson. A lesson.
Yeah.
But you know what
so
I
great.
really like though about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is, well, this is how it started though, because they came in like weekend at Bernie's, so he's putting glasses on her and shit. So at first it was kind of funny. I'm like, look at this, look at her, she's done. Look, she's like,
Good Lord.
so you gotta understand.
Where is this? Is this in Vegas?
This is at the Red Rock Casino where the Fertitta brothers own this.
Oh,
And
my
this was the
God.
weekend that you got inducted to the Hall of Fame, right?
Look at this guy throwing up his guard.
And right now see what happened was I'm with my wife and my kids. It's July 4th because the next day I was going into the Hall of Fame. So, and this fat fuck, oh, you're just subduing him? All right, get off him. Yeah, dude, are you going to fucking control him? Because he's going to... At that point, nothing happened. I was waiting for this guy to grab my balls or something when this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's going to be a lapse between me not controlling him and him not getting involved. But
Right.
the thing was, the next day I was going into...
Does
I
he
had-
try to swing at you when he gets up?
No, now he's saying he wants to press charges. So what happened was
I'm going to charge you with embarrassing him.
it was the day before I was going to go into the Hall of Fame, and my wife's like, "Oh, we had family there in Vegas for me getting inducted in." So she goes, "Oh, you want to go down to the Strip to see the fireworks?" And I'm like, "Listen, man, there's a lot of drunks. I don't want to. Let's just keep it low key, and then we'll celebrate tomorrow." So sure enough, we're at the Red Rock Casino, which is so cool. I love that place.
Great place.
There's a bowling alley in there. There's a movie theater. You know, I love the movies. Yeah. And so me and my wife, my kids, and my sister and her kid were there. So we're at the cafe, and then you see them two walk in. The guy and his girlfriend. They were really hammered. They left. He left her there. She slumped in the thing, it's like passed out. And then he came back, and he came back really hostile. And he was like throwing shit at the waiters and I go to my wife. I go, we gotta get the fuck out of here. I go, because I just know it's gonna get, if something goes near gets thrown in our direction. I just know I gotta get out of there because it's not good. Sure enough, my waiter was bringing me my check, and the guy got up. He got up like this. So it just instinctively I got up, and then he turned right to me. And this is what I tell my students, because I don't look like a pussy. I don't look like John Rallo. Right? I don't look like John Rallo gets up. This is not. But so I don't look like a pussy. The guy looked at me. He goes, "You got a fucking problem?" And so I'm already angled.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be on World Star Hip Hop. You know what I'm saying? I'm already angled. So then he fucking takes that fucking shirt off, and nothing's going to get better after that.
Yeah.
You know that, right? So I stepped in around the waist, put him down. The whole place is clapping at that point. That's what you don't. And I tell my sister, I go, "Sammy, I go, film this." Because I know what's going to happen. I know he's going to say I'm a UFC guy's beating him up. So that's her. My sister filmed that. She's she's also the one with the big mouth. Yeah, that's right. That's not my wife. My wife's quiet. So then, I gave him a little lesson, and then security ended up coming. And at one point, I'm telling him to calm down, and I look up and I see my Maria, my middle child. At the time, she was like 9. And so she's looking up like a little terrified kind of. So at one point I look up at her with the same tone. I'm like, "Oh no, it's okay." And it sounds like I'm talking to him. So it sounds like I'm talking to him, but I was talking to my kid. But afterwards with that, I sent the video to Dana, and I go, "Hey, tell Lorenzo to get better security in this motherfucker." So that's when he put it out there, and he went to
hilarious.
TMZ. But I tell the students to look at that. The guys that are coming in, if they're unsure of jiu-jitsu for them, I go, "Look, first of all, it's nothing to brag about. You all know this. It's a drunk white belt. It's not like I'm fucking, hey, look what I did, everybody." I fought some guys that did something. But to the untrained eye, it's kind of cool. It's like jiu-jitsu is like a superpower. It really is,
100%.
man.
100. If you don't,
that is
the other
such
person
a
don't
much.
know.
Yeah, please.
No, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Joe.
I was going to say it's such a much better result than the Joe Schilling one.
Oh man!
Let's show that. 'Cause this is
Right on.
worst case scenario.
And
Yeah,
listen,
it's the other end of the
you
spectrum.
could use jiu-jitsu, or you could use Muay Thai and Western boxing.
So
it's
here
what
we're
you wanna
talking,
use.
but this is one of the beautiful things about jiu-jitsu. We're talking from a perspective of a jiu-jitsu champion, UFC champion, and a Muay Thai champion. And now watch how Joe Schilling handles this dude, because this is one of the most horrific videos that any drunk douchebag should ever see. They should show you in drunk douchebag school.
Yeah.
But this
like
guy,
this can happen to you.
Look at this.
So he bumps into him, and then the guy says, "Hey." And Joe Schilling turns around. The guy fucking. All he had to do, all that dude had to do was flinch at him, and Joe hit the switch.
But this
is crazy.
This guy just looks like a yuppie douchebag. Though.
Well, apparently that guy
He's
had
probably
been
getting
like,
on his fucking nerves.
he had been annoying everybody at the bar.
Oh, no, he looks like a dick.
Look at this.
You know
got
what I'm
what he
happy
asked for.
about? I heard he got off. Okay, I heard he got off.
Yeah, he got off. It's
Did
a
he really
stand
get
your
off?
ground law.
Oh,
Stand
no
your ground
kidding.
law, because it happened in Florida, where you could
Oh
basically
yeah, you can do anything in Florida. Yeah.
That's it. God bless Florida.
Dude, that's fucking great.
Yeah.
Bro, that's the last stop. If I
man.
move to Florida, the fucking empire is on the way out, right? When I moved to Florida.
Joe Schilling is a savage, man.
Oh, he's a bad
He's so
motherfucker.
quiet, but man, that guy was switch will turn in a minute.
Well, you know what? He's a great guy.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
If you're
guy.
nice to him, he's the best guy you could ever be friends with.
yeah, for sure.
But that's the wrong dude to flinch on. Oh my God.
But that's the way it should be, though. I mean,
yeah.
you know, the
I think
guys
most
that,
fighters are that way.
Yeah, most fighters aren't like that.
That
Most-
was totally unnecessary. Like, that guy did not have to do that to him. The whole thing was provoked. He's a dick.
yeah, he deserved it.
Yeah, he deserved it.
Learned
for
a
sure.
lesson.
That's the universe.
man.
And those are videos for everybody to see, too. Like, kids should see that and go, oh, yeah.
It's you know what it
don't
is?
ever
It's
let that.
Darwinism. You know what I'm saying? Like when you an asshole like that, you dumb, you
Right.
get knocked out.
Right, or you get eaten.
Yeah, you
back
get
in the
eaten.
old
Back in
days.
the day, that's how it was. You know, if you talk shit, you got hit. You suffered consequences. Now there are no consequences.
That's why I got off Twitter. I haven't been on Twitter in 8. It's my life is better. It's better. I don't even know what goes on there. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm in my world. Like I do the Instagram because I like to spread positivity and I like to do stuff like that with my schools and stuff. But the Twitter thing, I don't get it. I get it if there's some important message that you want out there for people that can't get it out there. I get that. But otherwise, I would just see negativity.
That's all it
maybe
is.
I don't want. Maybe I'm too sensitive. I didn't like it. I didn't fucking like. I want to be like Jay and Silent Bob and start going, all right, you cocksuckers. Me and John Rallo are showing up ringing doorbells.
That was the best at the end.
I did not like how easy it is for people just to talk shit without any kind of repercussions. I don't know.
It's also, you're just dealing with too much negativity.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
good for you. It's not good for you.
Precisely.
It's not good for you.
Negativity should be treated like a fucking cancer, and I do that at my school. And you get it out. I mean, if you just one fucking shitty guy with a shitty attitude could affect fucking how many more?
You're right.
Yes.
Dude, I pluck them right the
It's
fuck
a
out.
cancer. You got to get
Pluck
rid
them
of
right
it.
the fuck out.
Out of your life, too.
Out of my life.
Yeah.
And it's a lot easier now, too. When we were talking about the pandemic, how I said I don't have to go to the city anymore. I used to have 2 schools. I lost the school from the pandemic. Fucking awesome. It's the best thing that ever happened. Some people, we talked about this earlier, because you got your 5th school now.
Yeah.
Some people like to expand, and that works for them. I find, and as I get older, downgrading's the way to fucking go. I like one school, everybody's under one roof. I got 3 jobs. One's funner than my school's my main thing. My thing with Jimmy, doing the Dana White, looking for a fight with Dean. I don't want to do it. That's it. This is my retirement, man. This is it. Maybe some voiceover shit. That's
You were telling me about
is
that
fun.
too. You were telling me
You got
about
a
that
great
too.
balance. That's what you want out of life.
Oh,
you want a
man.
great balance. Shit you like to do. Yeah.
I heard on here one time. I like that Jordan Peterson. I'd never
he's
talked to him.
amazing. Yeah,
because
he's awesome.
I like when you talk to smart people. It's like
Yeah.
talking to an ape. I'd be whatever's beneath an ape. So I'm not gonna. So if you're talking to him, you feel you're an ape. Whatever. So, but I love his shit. I love what he says. And I remember he was on here once talking about how, and I'm going to paraphrase for sure, but retirement is like there's like really, not that there's no such thing, but what is your idea of retirement? And he said like the thing with drinking a margarita is like that's a postcard, card that's not a retirement. It's not a
It's
real
not a
thing.
strategy for your life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've heard people that are like, oh, I just can't wait to retire. Can't wait to retire. Then they retire. Like, I don't know what the fuck to do with myself. Like they don't, and then they end up fucking dying. So I think quality of life, and I think I learned a lot of this from Ray Longo, who's 65 and still fucking going. Quality of life is like, to me, the most important thing. Like, you know what I mean? How you live. Like,
I agree.
It's
enjoying-
everything. We've experienced enough douchebags in our life. We've experienced enough shitty times.
Yeah,
Quality
now
of
you
your
just want to
life.
hang around
That's it.
good people
Fun
and just
times.
chill out.
We're
Yeah,
gonna have a good
I
time.
was telling Matt earlier that the Republican Party in Maryland actually asked me if I would run for the U.S. Senate seat. And I said
John
to him,
Rallo for president. Let's go. Let's fucking
Could you
go.
imagine John Rallo
the
and-
most jacked president in the history of the universe.
You got Maryland locked down. BJ got Hawaii locked down.
That's what I
That's it.
want the rest of the world to see when they think about an American president. A John Rallo looking motherfucker.
Hell yeah.
That's it.
They'll
With
think
his hand on
twice
the
before
gavel.
crossing us.
But I said the same thing. It's gonna ruin your fucking life. They're gonna be up your ass with a microscope. They're gonna torture your family and the media. And I said to Matt, I enjoy my life the way it is right now. You know, I said it's comfortable. I'm happy. I'm my own boss. You know, we all thank Henzo because he's given us all a nice career through the education we got with him. So
Thank God for him.
Enzo's the best.
Yeah, he's
the
awesome.
best. What
He's
a
awesome.
fucking guy he is. And what a lineage that guy's created. Jesus
I know.
Christ.
He's changing a lot of lives.
lot of lives.
In that
you
Gracie
know.
documentary that I was just doing, I was like, there's a few black belts where someone says, I got a black belt under Hickson. Right, I got a black belt under Henzo. That's a big fucking deal.
Yeah, yeah.
It's one of those, that's like, graduating from Yale.
Yeah.
That's the real deal.
No, I mean that's the proudest. I mean, I'm Henzo's first American. You can say Ricardo made it technically.
yeah, but I don't
But fuck
consider
that.
that.
You can't have
really
it
good
both
No,
ways.
no.
You
I
made
made him.
acai since you're 3 years old
Yeah,
over there. Who
yeah,
fuck with him?
yeah.
He moved over. He went to prison when he was like 2 months. So I will claim to be the first American. But Henzo, when he came over, he was just so giving, man. Like he brought me over. I was cornering him in the rings tournament and in Pride and these things when. And I was a purple belt. I didn't make a name for myself yet. Like, and he really just did so much for so many. I remember when John
Universally
Rallo's
loved.
first day.
You know what? And the thing about Henzo is he's so different from like the traditional Brazilian black belt.
Right.
Because he's so, like you said, he's so giving and it's like tradition don't matter to him. When they were talking about, oh, you got to have your belt tied this way. And he
I
said,
remember
And
that.
he said, the belt is whatever the way it ends up, that's the way I tie it. Whatever it ends up, that's how it's supposed to be
He's
tied.
the man.
Universally loved. Everyone loves Henzo.
And and he's funny too because, like so now I remember there was like a modern jiu-jitsu student. It was in the blue basement, and Henzo was teaching there one night. And he goes, Henzo, when he was naming when you go from the Coyote guard to the K guard, he go to the K guard to and Henzo goes, my friend. Don't make jiu-jitsu only for the intellectuals. Show me the move. And I'm there with it, man. I'm right there with you.
Hell yeah.
Bro, I listened to some of the commentary, and I'm not exactly sure what they're saying sometimes.
It makes
Oh, man, I can't. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck you're
It
talking
makes
about.
it weird when they start going, oh, you don't know the Coyote Guard? I go, dude, man, motherfucker. Oh, you mean the underhook when you're getting out with? Been doing that since last millennium, cocksucker. Oh, they feel like they're teaching you because they know the words, and it's like, but it's weird. I'm not.
Well,
I
there's some shit like De La Hiva, like people. You have to understand that.
Yeah.
No, I get
It's-
it. No, and I don't want to hate on. I'm not hating on anything new either. I love it all. You know what I mean? But it could get confusing.
It gets
you know what I mean?
confusing.
So you don't want to
The
feel like
leg lock game is confusing as fuck.
Right. Like the whole.
When I was training, there was no leg locks. It was very rare. It was every now and then
It's
some
frowned
dude learned
upon.
some shit from
Really,
Dean Lister.
back in the day, it was frowned upon.
It was very
Yeah.
frowned upon.
Why?
Foot locks were okay though.
Yeah,
Everybody got
yeah,
figure
yeah.
4 foot
A
locks.
knee bar, straight knee bar
Yeah,
was okay.
occasionally a knee bar, but like heel hooks were dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But then, goddamn, the whole game changed.
Well, John Danaher, my good buddy,
The Dark
did
Lord.
that conversation he had with Dean Lister.
Yep.
Dean Lister was sleeping on my futon when he had that fucking. Dean Lister was visiting, staying at my place, training with me, and I was living with Rodrigo Gracie at the time in Woodmere, Long Island. We had an apartment. It was fucking awesome, and Dean Lister was visiting, and that's when I would take him in, and he was taking out like most of the academy with the leg locks back then, and that's when he had that conversation with John about why ignore 50% of the trajectory. And
Pretty
then John
amazing.
starts fucking twitching.
Right.
Yeah. The computer starts spinning.
Change the entire trajectory
I
of
mean, he
jiu-jitsu.
really-
That guy
did.
is someone right out of a fucking movie.
Yeah.
Danaher, like that would not be a real person in any other time in history that you get a guy who's a professor of philosophy at Columbia who becomes addicted to jiu-jitsu and sleeps on the mats and just teaches people, and he's like a legit genius. Wears rash guards everywhere. Doesn't give a fuck about anything but jiu-jitsu.
Had one on at dinner last night.
Yeah,
Had
he sure
one,
did.
Crazy.
he had
sure
one at
did.
my wedding. Came to my wedding in a rash guard.
He's an animal. He's an animal, and he's so fucking smart, man. It's
Yeah,
called-
super smart.
All he gives a fuck about is combat sports.
Well,
Yeah.
we talked about it yesterday. We were out to eat yesterday, and I'm like, Johnny, give me a day in the life. And he's telling me about all the teaching, because I thought maybe he lightened up his load. Because back in the day, in Henzo's, he would just teach, and you'd see him
Privates
with a pillow
all
over to the
day,
side
too.
on a pillow, and then then he'd get back up, do some more privates. I know from being a teacher, you could get fucking burnt the fuck out. I don't know how he does that. Like it's just how he doesn't do anything else. His first television that he had, my buddy Chad LeBrun, you might know Chad.
Yeah, I do remember.
He was we called him Hillbilly. He was from Virginia. He came down to stay for a little bit in New York to train with us. Couldn't take it. He goes, oh, I was in the supermarket. I said, thanks, ma'am. She goes, I'm not older than you. He goes, oh. Anyway, he just didn't like the whole New York attitude. So he goes, I gave John my TV because the only reason he took it is because he could play it had a VHS and a DVD thing or whatever that he could watch wrestling videos on and shit like that. That's all he'd watch. He doesn't watch anything else. He doesn't believe in any kind of any marriage or love or he's an odd duck.
Yeah, he's a cyborg.
I mean, I
He's
know
the
him,
oddest duck I've ever encountered.
and he's
Really?
always been that way.
He's as smart as anybody I've ever
Yeah,
talked to.
right.
He's as smart as Elon. He's as smart as all these people.
Yeah.
He's just smart about killing people.
Yeah.
This guy just
And-
got his
and it's-
driver's license. He's 50.
He said his-
I have
yeah,
to
57.
drive in Austin. Austin requires me to drive.
And he will end up back in New York sooner or later.
No, we got him.
I can't
We
picture.
got him
Oh,
out
you
here.
want him?
We got him out here.
I can't picture him. It's weird seeing him anywhere other than New York. You know?
He's thriving out here, though.
No, I know. Listen,
Yeah, he's
Do you
doing-
know he's Gary Tonon's striking coach too?
Yeah.
Is he really?
Isn't that wild?
Just,
He does everything.
I believe it.
He does everything.
If you study the game, I mean, it just
Yeah.
comes down to information and knowledge.
Yeah, but I would very rarely say that I would trust someone who's never been a striker to be a striking coach, except for him.
Right.
Except for
Yeah,
him. For him,
sure.
I'm like, yeah, he'll figure it out.
Yeah,
He'll
he'll
probably be
figure
the
it
best
out.
at it.
Yeah.
I like Gary. I wish Gary was in the UFC so more people could see him. Man, he's got an exciting. His jiu-jitsu game is fucking
Wow.
wild.
He's a risk taker.
And he's a risk that for sure.
Yeah,
and
he takes
sometimes it'll
wild
cost
risks.
him. But
That match with Crone was one of my favorites.
Oh my
That's
God,
really
that
put
was
him on the
insane.
map. Sick
That was
match at
insane.
Abu
It
Dhabi.
showed how good Crone is too.
Yeah.
To
And
come back from that and win.
I feel for Crone in that last one.
The last one was not good.
That was so
and I
crazy.
don't know what was going on. You'd have to talk to Crone and respectfully.
He looked depressed going in
Didn't
and throughout
look
the
good.
fight, just looking like he didn't want to be there.
I'm not laughing at that. Might as well tell you. Listen, I was telling you guys this the other day. So I got ulcerative colitis. It has to do with this. Joe's like, really? What the
What is
fuck?
that? What is that?
No, it has to do with this.
You'll see.
Oh, I have stomach issues, man. I got fucking. When I have to go, and then you don't know when it stops, and it's a problem. So I'm at the UFC. When Crone fought, did Aljo fight that night or Marab?
Was that Murad? I can't remember.
I was
not
there.
sure.
It was one of them, but I was there. I think I was there for Aljo. Aljo was
Yeah.
fighting that night. That's right. So I asked the UFC to find me a stall a little bit private because I got stomach issues.
Right.
So they brought me next to another one that wasn't so open, and it was through by the showers and stuff. So I'm in there doing my business, and all of a sudden I hear some people by the fucking showers. And it was Crone and his whole crew, and it was right after the loss, right?
Oh no!
So they don't know I'm in there.
Jesus.
So I'm like, oh no! I'm like trying to stop my feet. I'm clenching my ass, and I'm like, and he's all of a sudden I hear, they wanted me to use my jiu-jitsu. I tried to use my jiu-jitsu. That fight sucked, and he's like stressed. He's like venting to his team, nothing. It's nothing crazy, but it's normal after a loss to be.
Yeah.
And the team's being quiet. All I know is I'm stuck in the fucking stall. I want to sneak out. The door's there. I could make it, but they're gonna see me. the sink is over there. I got to wash my hands.
Did you ever think about saying, "Hey guys, it's Matt, Serra, I'm taking a shit"?
I didn't know what to. No, I didn't know what to
Yeah,
say
it's hard
because
to say.
because they were trying to consult. Like,
Right.
they
Should've just
weren't really
busted
saying
ass.
much.
They would have knew somebody was in there.
So sure, I know. But I was finishing up, and I was almost out. I was trying to stop my feet. So I end up finishing. I finish, and I walk out. I go over. I wash my hands, and he looks up. He goes, "What's up, Serra?" I'm like, I go, "Hey, Crone." I go, and you don't know what to say. You know, and I've been there. Obviously, I got my losses. So I go, "Hey, man." I go, "Look, man. To be honest, you're gonna feel like this until you kick someone else's ass." I go, "That then you're gonna. That's gonna help it. Help you, man."
Yeah.
Bye. I'm like, dude, I just wanted to fucking put a lampshade in.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
It was bad,
What
dude.
a scenario.
My
I
ass
want to
gets-
see that in a cartoon.
Yeah, right.
Animate that.
My
Somebody
ass
animate that.
gets me in trouble.
Matt, the colitis thing. What do you do for that?
Well, what I just went and saw a specialist again. I had 3 colonoscopies, and it's one thing they don't even tell me to stay away from a food. I'm like, so I could just eat anything. I'm even asking my wife because I'm a little droggy after being fucking put out and them exploring my ass. So I'm like, do I have to stay away from anything? And they're not telling me nothing. No, just no. Like, all right.
Have you ever tried to adjust your diet? Have you ever tried to do
Stay away
like
from
carnivore?
espresso?
You ever tried to do that?
You know, I know what I did. What I did for a while, and I believe it helped me initially with my weight, because like I said, I used to be a fatty. I did the gluten-free for a while.
Mm-hmm.
For a while, because now
Did the colitis help? Did
it help?
get better at it?
You know what it was? I ended up having to get like hospitalized with my stomach because I was having extreme flare-ups at one point, and I didn't know what was going on. So I went in there and they put me on an IV, and I was just on liquids until it calmed down, and then then after that I started doing gluten-free because I didn't want to eat anything that I remembered that was flaring it up, and that was like Italian food and stuff.
Yeah.
But I was eating still Italian food, but the gluten-free one. Gluten-free raviolis. No, there's some good shit. And I lost a bunch of weight. I feel the gluten-free helped me out a lot because I wasn't getting bloated anymore.
Yeah.
I noticed.
It's a big problem with me, too.
Cauliflower pizza and stuff like that. I wasn't getting bloated. Now I don't think I'm getting bloated because I don't think I'm holding shit in. I'm just like fucking having this shit. But yeah, so that's where it was with that. And then the last time I went, which was literally a couple weeks ago, they gave me something which I didn't do last time, like a bad boy. I got to do a stool sample. I hate doing it.
You got to take a shit in a
I
bucket.
got to take a shit in a bucket, and then but then it's like Mission Impossible. You have 24 hours to get that shit to the laboratory. So I'm gonna be like, and I always, no pun intended. I always
Oh my
forget to do
God.
shit. So
Oh my
I don't
God.
want to do it and then like not get it there in time.
But how would you forget that though? Like if
I
you shit
forget
in a bucket,
everything.
I would know.
Yeah,
Dude,
like yeah,
dude, my
like what's
wife-
that smell?
Dude, my wife the other day, she woke me up she woke me up from a nap or whatever. She goes, you forget something last night? I go, what are you talking about? You left the hose in the pool. Fuck. I always forget. I had to fill up the pool a little bit. Dude, my ADD. Well, I smoke a lot of reefer too, but my ADD is pretty bad. It's pretty bad, dude. I'll be teaching a move, not to get you guys worried, because I'm usually in that state anyway. I'll teach a move and I'll go into something, and then I'll go back to show. I'll be like, I hope this guy puts me back where I was. I forgot where we were. And I'll look and go, Matt, where were we again? Okay, Mount. All right, we're back to Mount. I don't know.
Yeah.
Matt, have you ever gone and got like blood work done and got everything checked out at like a reputable place that looks at all your levels and finds out what's going on?
I mean, I got my TRT doc that I go every 6 weeks. I get my everything checked for me, all my levels with.
You might have food allergies, man. You might be. It's the way you're talking about the gluten and the pasta. It's like there's a lot of people that react like that.
You know who actually gave me great advice? It was or who had say he told me something very similar. I was just in Manchester, England with George St. Pierre,
Right.
and we were doing like a signing out there. He got me hooked up with it. He's such a sweetheart, George, and he
He's the
told me
best.
that he had ulcerative colitis, the same as me, and the stuff he was telling me is the same shit I deal with, and I'm like, fuck, that's right. See, I see blood also. Yeah, this is gross. So we were talking about it, and he said that what he does is the intermittent fasting. So now he eats only between 1 and 9. He only eats between 1 p.m. and 9, and that's his window of eating, and he feels great. It went away. So I'm not doing that shit yet. But I might try that. I might try
Yeah,
that.
he does long fasts. He's done like
That's his-
multiple, like I think
Yeah.
like 72
and
hours.
shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Has he?
There's days he said he
Yeah.
does just the water. He
Right.
said he does that. He did that to kickstart it. But then now he just stays on that schedule.
A lot of people swear by that every now and again.
I think I mean, you know what it is? Because of my stomach, I do eat less. Like I'll have 2 slices and a hero instead of like a pie. Is that
I think
that
you-
might be the worst fucking analogy.
I think you know how you can overtrain your body.
Yeah.
I think you can overuse your digestive system. You know, if you're a guy like me or you, like I have a real problem. If I come home and I'm tired, I just fucking eat. I
Yeah,
just open
it's
up
just-
that fridge.
Is that why?
Let's go.
Is that why you moved here for real though? To keep your diet in check? You want to be away from all the good Italian food and shit?
No.
If I was in Austin too, I wouldn't be dialing fucking pizza every day. Dude, the 2 brothers and the stuff near me, the Umbertos, they can't make a bad slice. It's fucking ridiculous.
There's
No, I
great
might be
food out here.
addicted. I
There's
might be
great food
addicted.
out here. I'm not eating pizza, so I don't know, but there's great food out here. There's a lot of
Everywhere
great
you go, there's
restaurants.
like these different
Yeah.
restaurants and food trucks and
I'm gonna
everything.
take you guys somewhere fun tonight. We'll go eat somewhere.
No, I know what it is. Also, I think why I'm staying in better shape is I used to always blow up, as you know, like, but because I knew I'd be getting it off because I had a fight coming up.
Right.
So it's like if I'm fighting twice a year, half the year I'm training. So yeah, I'll become a fatty in between. I'd be a fucking. Dana
Enjoy
used-
yourself.
Dana used to always say the same joke, and he always has always like, you know, when like the evil villain says something, and all the other guy henchmen like, ah! So he used to always see me. He used to always see me and goes, "Oh, it looks like you ate Matt Serra." And they go, ah! And I'm like, "Fuck you, Dana." Oh my god, the same joke. You know, all the little fucking guys laughing. But anyway, so now I knew because I don't have anything coming up. Like 4 days a week, like 7 a.m. I do that 7 a.m. class. So I start the day sweating, and even when I'm not rolling, I'm fucking drop cyanogen, doing some arm locks. So I just start the day sweating, and I think it just gets my metabolism going.
For sure.
You know,
Dude, you're built like your dad. Your dad's a fire
Yeah.
plug. When I first met his father, I thought it was his brother. We were at Henzo's wrestle-offs for Abu Dhabi stuff, and I said to Matt, I go, "Is that another brother?"
Yeah,
And he goes, "Brother." He goes, "You know, I never met my dad. It was his
he had
goddamn
me at
father."
19. He's
Yeah.
pretty young. He
Yeah,
had me
it's
young.
wild.
Yeah. I was the best mistake he ever had.
That's hilarious.
yeah.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, he did good with that. But my father was a black belt on the Henzo also.
Yep.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's crazy to me.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
It's wild.
Not a lot of those.
Yeah, right?
Father-son,
Like
black belt
father-son, black
combos.
belt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shit, man. He has no neck either. The north-south choke. We used to call the north-south choke the Papa choke.
That's nice.
Because Henzo, used to call him Papa, and he used to get north-south, and he had no fucking. His chest was like a barrel. He used
Yeah,
to get fucking
definitely.
Who was the first guy to start doing that? Because we used to think that was like a goon move.
The
Like
north-south choke?
that. At
Yeah.
Henzo's was my dad.
Someone
Yeah,
started
I'll
doing
be
it.
honest with you. When I was a blue belt, after Frank beat Tito, I went to train with him. Like I asked Henzo, "You care if I go see what's up?" Because I wanted to learn what he was doing for cardio. And he showed me a north-south choke. He called it like a pec choke. And when I showed Henzo the move, Henzo was intrigued with it, and then he came up. He's got a whole chain of things off of if the guy turns this way, lock him up. If he turns the other way, he's punch choking him. Like it was pretty slick. But I mean, that was the first time I had seen it.
But so it used to, at one point in time, I remember Monson got
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Jeff
Yeah, that's
Munson
when
was
it got
like
famous.
known for it.
Yeah.
Because he put I think he put Brandon Lee Hinkle out with it. If I'm not, who did he put
Eddie-
out with that?
Monson was a goon.
Yeah,
he was.
yeah.
He was so
He
strong.
still is a goon.
He is a goon.
Yeah.
But I mean, in the best possible
Yeah.
term. But he's a gorilla. I mean, that
Yeah,
guy
he
was
is.
so
Jacked.
big at one
Jacked.
point in time. I remember he fought someone in Abu Dhabi and he got a bad decision, so he took all his clothes off.
yeah.
He was-
Pedepano.
Yeah, Pedepano. That's exactly what it was.
He neck cranked him, and it was illegal. Pedepano tapped because he figured he's getting disqualified. They told Munson he won, and then cranked his neck. It was illegal, and they took it from him.
Look how jacked that dude was. Jeez, he's Russian now.
Henzo,
He's a
Henzo-
Russian
Yeah.
citizen.
Henzo said his shorts that he took off, like they have one of them side, like open bars. His
There's
shorts
They're still
were
there?
hanging in one of the bars in Brazil.
That's exactly
Yeah,
the way my
that's it.
father does it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and he was so fucking
I mean,
strong.
that's
If he got a
good
hold of
move.
your neck.
Yeah,
He,
that's one of my moves too.
He inspired me when I had to fight for the title. He inspired me to go for broke because his fight with Tim Silva is the worst piece of shit I ever seen in my life. I saw that fight, and it was a short, bald guy shooting from across the cage on that big dork Tim Silva, and fucking, you know, it was fucking the worst fight. I go, look, I will rather get knocked the fuck out than have that as my one title shot. Because that's what it would have looked. That it might have resembled that if I just tried to get George down. You know what I mean?
I remembered that knockout like
God,
it was
so
yesterday.
amazing.
While it was happening, I could not fucking
What,
believe
him and,
my eyes when you knocked out GSP.
I remember that
I was
too.
like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You always had weird power. Some dudes just have weird power.
Yeah, Longo. You know what it was though? When we came into it's the journey of the way the philosophy is. My philosophy was I was like a street fighting kid. I knocked a couple guys out. I did a tough man contest at 18. Mr. T was the referee. I brought this up. I swear to God, Mr. T was the referee. If you look at, I brought this up the last time I was actually here, fucking how many years ago, and I knocked 2 guys out, and the third guy I lost. Worst concussion I had in my life. I fought 3 times in an hour at the Palladium in Manhattan. To this day, my jaw. From that fucking from that contest.
That was your jaw?
That's crazy.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Oh
I went to
my
go
God.
eat pizza afterwards.
That's
My shit was out of whack, so I figured it was a broken jaw. And I went there. They said it wasn't broken, but to that day, yeah.
Oh my God, that's so weird.
Yeah, it's fucked
That
up.
is wild.
But
Does it hurt?
Where was I again?
Weird power.
Yes!
Weird power.
But he knows me well.
I
know.
gotta keep
I know, guys, it's bad. But
Yeah.
So then when the Gracies came along, that's when I was 18. So then when the Gracies came along, they go, no, you could never exchange. Don't exchange. It's a crapshoot if you exchange. Don't exchange. Exchange. Close the distance. So I adapted that philosophy, and I was living jiu-jitsu, living it, and then ignoring the striking because everybody was at that point. Because it was like when the UFC came on the scene, it's like, look at jiu-jitsu, fuck
Yeah,
everything
that's
else.
true.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden everything started coming back around. So that's when Longo's like, told you, cocksucker. I go, okay. So
here it is.
Longo,
Jesus.
so
Look,
Longo
so
had to make
wild.
me
Skinny Matt. Look at you. Look at this.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
This is all thanks to Ray Longo.
Oh, look at that right hand. Dude,
This was the craziest.
you
thing.
had some crazy power, Matt Serra. I'm sure you still do, but you really did then.
Thanks, buddy.
Dude, look at that. Boom.
so nuts.
Boom. I mean, it was freaky power. It was one of those things where, like, watching George tap to strikes in this situation. I mean, this was, it was a wild upset.
Had a house full
But
of people.
the crazy thing was, you know, again, you were known as the jiu-jitsu champion.
Yeah.
You were known as one of the best jiu-jitsu guys ever to come out of America. So to see you knocking guys out like that was wild.
When I had to fight, thank you, first of all, thanks. When I had to fight Caro Parisian, I took the fight, and I was healthy, but when I first got the call, a couple weeks before that, I had a torn meniscus. So when they asked me, I'm like, I could run. I go, the feet, the floor didn't feel good. The wrestling I couldn't do. So I felt like it's going to tear off if I did that. But I could do some jiu-jitsu, I could run, and I could box. So we did a lot of boxing for that. Ray would, and I think that truly helped me because it's weird because I got tired in that fight, and I very rarely get tired, and I truly believe it's because I did not mimic the fight with the feet, the floor sparring. I didn't do it. So when that's a different kind of win that you need to do it. It's like wrestling. It's up and down, up and down. And I didn't have that. And I got one of my few times in my career, I got winded. And it was Caro. He's probably one of the worst guys to get winded with because that motherfucker had a good gas tank. So I almost knocked him out in the beginning because all that boxing play, I just did nothing but hands for that fucking thing. And I was really getting used to rolling and coming back and landing. And Longo was happy with it. He was taking me into Brooklyn to work at Lou Neglia's school too in Brooklyn. And I was getting fresh faces. And I was really starting to feel good and get the timing in it I never had with the stand up. So where I fucked up with, I had him hurt. I had him up against the fucking thing. He got a fucking judo grip inside my fucking pants. You see me go to the ref. He's got a grip. And by that time, he weathered it. I started to shoot my load. Got tired. It went the way it went. That got me into the tough house, which led to good things. But 2 things. The one, when I got him hurt, I didn't line that shit up. You know what I'm saying? I was just fucking... So when I hurt George, Longo pointed to that. He goes, when you hurt him, manage your distance. Keep your distance, manage, and line it up. And that's what we did. And a couple of things Longo had me doing he had me having a fucking ball, like a medicine ball kind of. It was rubber, but it was heavy. And he would have me just throw it during the circuit training, even after sparring. 25 times! That's his fucking head! Throw it! So I'm throwing the fucking thing. So fucking Longo really made me believe that I could fucking stand with this guy. He goes, they think you're going to try to get him down. You're not going to try to get him down. And I remember looking at that Jeff Munson fight, and that cemented it. I go, dude.
Because you wasn't going to do that, right?
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. I go, so I didn't know I was going to knock him out, but I knew that I had a very good chance of doing it because I was hurting guys with the 16-ounce gloves. And, Longo's like, look, man, he's fucking head. And he goes, they're standing up. He's doing some karate shit. It's not that big. Listen, I love George, and he's better. The stuff he was doing standing at the time, Longo had guys feeding me the exact shit. It was weird. It was some Matrix shit. Because then in the fight, I remember at one point he did a high kick, a low kick, a high kick. I remember just being like, bing, bing. Oh, I feel like Spider-Man. So it felt like a good day of sparring, Wow. And by the way, everybody out there, don't watch the rematch. No.
When you went into the rematch, were you injured?
You never, who's not
the
injured?
word
No, this is the thing.
I'm going to just tell you the word. The word was before the rematch, Matt had hurt his back. And that I had heard that you'd hurt your back.
Well, the thing is this. This is what happened. I was supposed to fight Matt Hughes.
Right. And that's when you hurt your back.
I hurt my back.
Yeah.
And then I was out. And then that's when they fought. Matt, this was New Year's Eve. So this was New Year's Eve when I was out with my back. So they fought New Year's Eve, I know, because we did a watch party at MSG, And they fought, so I didn't know who I was fighting at that point. So then my back was out. So then George beat Matt. So now I was fighting George. I was going to fight Matt as my first title defense. So now I was going to fight George. And then I fought George. So my back was out on, what is that? The 31st of December.
So this is the very injury you were talking about earlier.
Yes, the very same injury I talked about earlier because I was supposed to fight. No. Yes, that is the same injury. I was supposed to fight Matt. That's right. I ended up fighting Matt eventually.
Right.
But that's what it was. I'm trying to think of the timeline. So this was the December, 31st. That's when they fought. So then I had to fight George in April. So there's months there for me but I had to go through a camp.
Yeah, but if you have herniated disc and you go to a chiropractor.
So
he's doing voodoo on you.
Yeah, you're making it worse.
He's hanging by your ankles.
I wasn't walking then. But I ended up getting the weight off and
you weren't
being
walking?
able to fight. I wasn't. Well, I was walking, but how about this? When you bend over to brush your teeth, I wasn't able to do this. Again, I was a fucking mess. Yeah, I was a
For
mess.
how long?
It was my black belt, Dr. Yasha. I'm giving him a shout out because he gave me an epidural in the city. You know Yasha.
I know you had 2 epidurals before that fight. I didn't want to say it unless you did.
Well, he gave that to me in, I guess, January.
So what does that do? That just kills the pain.
I don't know what it did exactly, but it got me back. Yeah. It got me back to being
What does
somewhat,
that do?
An epidural?
Yeah,
it's just a pain
more of
It's a surgery thing,
and
though.
it does not always work either,
It helped me. I was afraid I wasn't coming back. And he got me back,
But that's what they do with women.
That's when they have babies.
That's
Yeah,
100%.
keeps them.
So
Yeah.
what is
I had it for
Epidural.
sciatica. I've had the shots.
Provides
in my back.
anesthesia that creates a band of numbness from your belly button to your upper legs. It allows you to be awake and alert through labor. But it's also it's not that. There's also an epidural for back injuries.
Yep.
But
Google that, epidural back injuries. It must be like some sort of a pain
Epidural, there it is.
blocker.
So it was January.
Yeah, that's
so there it is right there. The Cleveland epidural steroid injections. Yeah. So anesthesia is injecting anesthetic into the epidural spine around your spine, so it can stop pain signals. So that's what it is. It's just stopping
it got
the
me to heal
signal.
up.
But your back is still weak.
Yeah, it's still fucked up.
100%.
Did it affect
was-
your movement with the epidural?
No. Listen, this is what I'm going to say.
I don't want you to say this because you're making an excuse. I'm just
Yeah,
asking you
it's
as a
always a
human
weird
being,
thing.
like what was it like?
I'm going to say, this is what I'll say. The epidural, it took me a little bit to get back into being able to train properly, but you got to think, I got to that fight. I got it wasn't my fucking best camp, but I got there and I showed up and I took my shot and I signed the dotted line. And I feel George was so on point that night. What a fucking night that was too, man. That was fucking insane.
It was 50,000 people,
dude,
right?
Chance of
Toronto?
fuck you, Sarah. Longo doesn't speak quietly. I couldn't hear him in between rounds. Chance of fuck you, Sarah. All I hear was fuck you, Sarah. You know what it was? It was around the time of Talladega Nights.
Yeah. Oh, what
so
a
I did a
great
thing
movie.
where I go, he should just drink his red wine and shut the fuck up. And I was doing some. I was calling him Frenchie,
Right.
but it was all from the movie. Of course. And I loved George, and it was you know, I was a kid too. It was, you know, whatever it was. But I feel George was so on point that night that even if I wasn't fucking tip top, I think it probably would have resembled him and Nick Diaz with me. Like, so I didn't like that I stopped. You know what I mean? That tortured me. Matter of fact, when I was going to fight Frank Trigg, there was pictures of Frank Trigg's face photoshopped on George saying, I remember reading a thing, who else thinks that Frank Trigg's going to wrestle fuck Serra? I go, what the fuck is that? I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. Anyway, so just like I told Crone, I had to kick somebody else's ass because I didn't like the way that second fight went. It felt horrible.
Did you ever get over the back injury?
I feel good. Knock on wood.
Doesn't bother you at all anymore?
There's times where just like a couple weeks ago, I felt a little something that it makes me nervous. Where I'm like, I feel if I do this, I don't want you. You remember what it was like when? Do you have any back things?
Oh yeah.
It's worse. It's worse than anything you could think of.
It's
Then
bad.
your knees. Then
Yeah.
because I had the new knee put in and this and that.
Yeah.
The back is worse because you can't do anything. Like you can't do
100%.
anything. Like you know what I mean?
That's
Yeah,
why
I had
like,
surgery.
Aljamain
Yeah.
getting his disc replaced in his neck. Like,
Oh wow, yeah.
yeah, I mean that is wild that he goes on to do that and then dominates Piotr in the
Yeah.
rematch, and then
Beats
runs through TJ
TJ and
Dillashaw
beats
and then
Henry.
beats Henry and out wrestles Henry.
Yeah.
Wild.
He gets a lot of. He gets unwanted hate, and he's such a
And
likable guy.
I don't think anymore. I think the tide
People are
is
starting to
turning.
like him now.
have to.
I think the tide's
Gotta
turned,
respect
especially
his
after the
accomplishments.
Cejudo fight. I mean, come on, man, give the gentleman his due.
You know, I was in the corner that night, and I was shocked that it was. I was shocked that it was close. I mean, maybe if you I watched it, like I remember just thinking like maybe one round he lost, and I'm usually very fair in judgment, but you know.
Yeah, the judges.
Sometimes you do.
crazy.
Yeah,
Sometimes they just get it all fucked up, and it's so dangerous.
It is. No,
it's
it's
like it
scary.
could change your career one way or the other. It's like
I heard a split decision. I'm like,
Yeah,
not a split. No,
that
not a
was-
split. Not a split. Was it a split?
Yeah, it was a
It was a
split.
split.
It was a
yeah.
split,
It was
yeah.
I remember hearing that. I
ridiculous.
go, I hope they don't do this to this fucking kid.
oh my god,
You know.
that is people forget too. They remember who won. When you look at the record books, they
Yeah,
remember who
yeah.
won, especially if it's close enough.
Yeah.
it's close enough. You know, like the Devin Haney Lomachenko fight.
Right.
Devin Haney is going to go down forever as being the guy who won, whereas a lot of people saw that they thought Lomachenko
I
won.
thought Lomachenko
Shit, man.
won.
Yeah, so
Dude,
that's one of those. It doesn't matter forever.
Yeah. But he
I-
still won on paper. That's
Yeah.
all that counts.
Yeah.
I remember a fight when they raised this dude's hand, and then they backstage they changed it.
Well, that was.
What fight was that?
Are you serious?
Oh, that's right.
And that's why. And that's why
Oh,
nothing
my
made me.
God.
That's why nothing made me more
That's
happy.
I was at that
Yeah.
fight too.
Oh, my
Nothing made me
God.
more
I thought I was
happy when
coming.
he beat GSP because by MMA math, I was the world champ.
That's right.
That's right.
How did they do that? What was that colossal fuck up?
Basically, one of the judges wrote his score where my name was, and he had it upside
they
down.
used the excuse that we look alike.
Yeah.
That fuck. No, so all I know is I'm backstage going, yo, man, that was a close one, right? Fuck, man. All I know is I'm chasing him around, getting jabbed in the fucking face. I finally get him down. And so, I mean, it was one of those things where, you know, I didn't feel like I lost, but listen, he won the fight. He was using... I always had that attitude where I was going forward, so I felt like I won. I was pulling a fucking Henry Cejudo. I lost the fight. All right, you're right. You want to hear it now? On Joe Rogan's podcast, you cocksucker.
Well, listen, I got the tattoo to prove it. I really got a tattoo
You
on
did.
my arm
You got
that
a
says,
tattoo that
"Hey
says, I
Matt, I
won."
won." Yeah.
He did.
It's right on my arm.
I always break his balls about it.
That's awesome. That's great.
Oh my God, that's
But
hilarious.
it took no. So I was backstage, and all of a sudden he's in the locker room next to me. So all of a sudden I hear them. So Dana went in his room. I didn't know that first. So all of a sudden I hear them all cheering. I go, wow, I guess it's great to be second place, cocksuckers. I'm like, they're really taking this well. All of a sudden Dana comes in. He's like, I hate to tell you, but they got it wrong. And I'm like, what? I go, no. I'm like, really? You fuck?
Yeah.
I go, half the pay and everything? Anyway.
But it was fucked because like he got his hand raised. I never got my due. But you know they were talking about trying to get that redone and have a Buffer announce me as the winner eventually.
What do you mean? Like you mean like eventually still?
Yeah, like still. I was like, nah. I was like, nah. I don't want to do that.
They should do that at the next one.
Yeah, the next one.
Yeah, I was like, nah. I don't.
Remember that fight 35 years ago?
I was like, nah. I don't want to do that.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, man.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't have any fight that I've lost. I don't know about you, or you, Johnny, or you, Joe. I don't think there's not one fight that keeps me up at night. And nothing. And
me neither.
I don't know. When you're going through it, and when you lose, especially when it's fresh, I think you're going to feel that forever, that pain, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I mean, maybe it was because I had to see that Shoney backfist a million times and they use that in every fucking promo. I guess that maybe started me off being humble because it was the first backfist ever. But
you did dominate the whole
I don't
earlier
give a fuck
fight.
now. But my point is, I don't give a fuck about any of the losses.
Well, and that's what I try to tell fighters as a coach now. I say, listen, you got to fight your best fight because if you lose, it's going to suck, but you're not going to care in the future.
I want to tell you something I'm opposed to.
What's that?
I'm opposed to win bonuses.
Me too.
I don't like
it either.
I don't like it.
Well, I don't even know why it doesn't motivate fighters. It doesn't motivate.
I don't think it's fair.
No.
I don't think the judging can be counted on as being 100% accurate. I think it ruins careers.
I hate the win bonus.
Yeah, I just think it's, you should get paid to fight. You're doing your best.
Right.
It's the UFC.
Right.
It's the highest level of the sport. These guys are not going to fight harder if they, to win. They're going to fight their hardest.
Yeah, they always do.
Yeah, they're not going to try to do something extra to get a win bonus to win. They're trying to win always. Like it's not an incentive. It just in the case of bad judging, it just penalizes the fighter who did nothing wrong, and they can maybe rectify it backstage with bonuses if they choose to do that, but I don't know how often they do. But it shouldn't be. I think it should be a part of like what you fight for. You have a contract. That's what I think it should be, like boxing.
Yeah.
You fight for X amount of money, and that's what you fight for. That's what you get paid, not whether or not the judges get it right, not whether or not some freak thing happens and you get injured. Not you know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I don't understand why they still have win bonuses because the win bonus and the commission is separate. So like the fact that if the judges get it wrong, it affects your money.
Yeah.
And it's completely separate.
Maybe by
so
50%.
So the UFC should just be like, you know what, we're going to just make it right for the fighters and just say, listen, this is what you get paid. So it doesn't matter if they get it wrong.
I would feel better about that just period anyway. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, it don't make sense to me neither.
I don't like it. Because it's like these guys are fighting. I mean, sometimes guys lose and they're fighting their fucking ass
like a
off.
split decision is
Oh
so
my
close.
God. Oh my God. And some of just crazy fucking wars where you're like, Jesus Christ. And I know they give people bonuses.
Yeah.
But that's still.
Did you ever see the fight with Damir Ismagulov and Kudrladze?
Yes.
And like I'm sitting there watching this fight, like I couldn't tell who won. I'm like, one guy won the first round, the other guy won the second round, and then at the end they were just going tooth and nail, and they were just fighting their heart out.
Yeah.
And then they ended up giving it to Ismagulov, and I was like, man, that sucks for Kudrladze.
Yeah.
Because he gets half his money.
Yeah. Half his money, and it's just a toss-up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those fights. A lot of those fights.
I mean, they do it for the incentive, but I don't.
Does
think
it doesn't incentivize
anybody to fight
exactly.
harder.
I don't think it does.
Listen, when you're in there, you're gonna fight fucking hard. It's your fucking health at stake.
Yeah, for sure. Like, you don't want to get your ass kicked.
Dude, what do you guys feel about, I was having a conversation with Josh Barnett about this, about dehydration and losing your chin and the dangers of dehydration and then massive weight cuts in the age of no IVs. Because of USADA, you can't use an IV. And, I mean, how much do you think, how much of an impact is that? It's a giant impact, right?
I think so.
I definitely think so.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I'm not trying to, Like when these guys cut too much weight, I always think like they feel like it's going to give them an advantage, but the fact that you are dehydrating yourself so much, it's actually a disadvantage.
And it dehydrates? It's hard to rehydrate the brain. Is that true?
Yeah,
That it takes
for
longer?
sure.
That's what they say. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but
You're
that's
not a
what they
doctor?
say.
I thought you went to chiropractic school. Is that the case? Does it take longer how long does it take to rehydrate the brain after severe hydration? Let's find that out. Because I think even with IV, it takes a while.
Yeah.
But these guys, you see some of them on death's door. If
Oh, my
somebody
God.
looked like that normally, and you're like, all right, dude, you're fighting tomorrow for your life.
Right? Do you know
And
the
you're
worst
like,
I ever
"Oh,
saw?
fucking sitting there all-
Worst I ever saw was Travis Lutter. Travis Lutter when he was fighting Anderson.
Yeah.
He missed the weight. Dude, his lips were cracked. Like dried out and cracked. And he wasn't walking to the scale, he was shuffling to the scale. I mean, shuffling, and he missed weight still. I mean, he was on death's door.
Remember, and he got that opportunity from being on the show with us.
With me, yeah.
And he dominated the first round. Imagine if that guy goes in there healthy and
Oh, my
finishes
God.
him.
He is-
Oh, my
and
God. He
maybe
had-
there's no Anderson
Yeah,
Silva
man, no
story
bullshit.
of that.
Travis Luter's got really, really good jiu-jitsu.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was, and he had so much talent, but he's funny. Some guys maybe are too smart. We were in the house with him, and I remember, listen, man, you know I like to eat, so I'm eating fucking raisins. You think I want to eat raisins? He's eating M&Ms and shit.
Yeah.
And now he's the fucking smart one, right? And he's going, I go, dude, how you doing that? He's like, you're eating raisins, sugar.
Yeah.
I go, nah, dude, I don't think so. I go, listen. I ain't no fucking brain surgeon here, but I don't think sugar, bro. Trust me. I mean, otherwise,
come with fiber.
He's like, sugar.
It's slower to digest into your body. That's just fact.
He's just telling me sugar. I go, I don't know with that.
Do you know who he says is the most talented guy he's ever worked with?
Who?
Kevin Holland.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Travis Lutter says Kevin
Yeah,
Holland's the
as
most
far
talented
as
guy.
his students, yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin Holland's talented as fuck. When
Yeah.
he puts it together, he's got crazy power. Man.
Yeah, I
Great
know.
Long whip, Tommy
Yeah.
Hearn style
I know,
power.
yeah.
Bam!
He's definitely got
When he
the
knocked out
range.
Buckley,
Yeah.
that straight
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Woo!
That was nice.
Woo!
He
When
just seemed like he don't
knocked out
take his
Jacare from his back.
He just doesn't
That
seem like he
was
takes his
awesome.
career seriously.
I think he does. I think he struggles with like real strong wrestlers. You know,
Yeah.
I think he struggles with like Hamzat. But
Yeah.
then
Oh, yeah.
they made that crazy agreement to just have a kickboxing fight with Wonder Boy. Like, do
Yeah,
you
that's
understand
stupid.
what you're saying?
Yeah.
Like I
Are you
know
stupid?
you see him in MMA when dudes try to take him down, but if you don't give any threat to Wonder Boy that you're gonna get taken down, and Wonder Boy gets to do that karate shit on you,
Yeah.
that's a fucking nightmare.
I know.
That guy moves like a cobra.
See,
Even at 40 years old or however old he is now, Wonder Boy's fucking terrifying.
He still kept it competitive too.
Fuck yeah.
They're starting to get him down now, but how awesome is Wonder Boy, and how awesome is his sidekick? That's such an underused.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
for sure.
yeah.
I love the goddamn sidekick. I like it
Yes,
defensively,
yes.
offensively. I mean, he has the best sidekick I ever seen in MMA.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know what? He slides into it.
Yes.
He lifts that leg up and slides in off the back foot. It's total like point karate style. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
But it's amazing that no one else uses it like that.
It takes
Like,
a long time to develop that.
It's
It's also
crazy.
you have to be taught to do it correctly because a lot of guys do it incorrectly and it just doesn't have any pop to it. So they can't keep a guy off. Like John Jones does it correctly.
Yeah.
It fucks up dudes' knees with that shit too. Remember he dropped Vitor to the body with a front leg side kick.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I do remember
Yeah.
that.
And that was after Vitor almost broke his
I
arm
know,
in
yeah.
half.
Right?
Vitor got so close to tapping
Very
John
close.
Jones. Any
I
other
remember
human
that.
being other than John probably would have fucking tapped.
Yeah, John's brother, one of his brothers, played for the Ravens at that time, and he was at the game the next day, and he was slinged up.
He was slinged up for a long time. Remember, he was
Yeah.
supposed to fight Chael Sonnen, and they went through he agreed to do the Ultimate Fighter because he really couldn't train. So he did that whole thing with Chael Sonnen, let it heal, and then beat the fuck out of Chael, and then broke his toe. Remember
Oh,
that?
yeah. Where his toe
Turned
was,
his
like,
toe
hanging off?
upside
Yeah,
down.
yeah,
His
yeah.
toe was
Oh, that
upside
shit.
down,
Yeah.
and he didn't realize it until I was interviewing him. Then he looked down at his toe, was like, "Oh no!" And then he sits
was
down,
wild. That was
and he was
pretty
kind of
wild.
going into shock, and he sat down. Look at his toe, bro. His toe was turned upside down. So nasty. Look at that thing. Oh my
that is
God.
crazy.
So to this day, you know, he has to tape his toes up on that
Yeah,
foot.
yeah.
And there was an issue at his
with the last fight, it was-
yeah, see? So he tapes those toes up like that, and they told him to take the stuff off below the toes.
that little piggy's going to the hospital.
Well, he was telling him, like, hey, he was like, I can't fight unless I can tape these toes up, which
Yeah.
is wild to think that literally the GOAT has a problem with one of his feet.
Just one toe. Yeah, his toe.
But he finished Vitor with Americana, right?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
And I remember there was one of my students.
Let's find that armbar. Find that armbar.
Yeah,
'cause it's
the
crazy.
armbar, and then he finished with an Americana. Both basic, fundamental stuff. I remember one of the kids at the school was like, "Oh, well, he's just a black belt. He gets finished with an Americana." I feel like saying, "Dude, what the fuck? Because you haven't got caught in Americana in class lately? You're fighting in a cage, you fucking idiot."
Yeah.
These guys think that.
So here it is. He gets him down, and people used to sleep on Vitor's jiu-jitsu, bro. Look at this. Look how tight this is.
That's awesome.
I mean, that is fucking tight, man. And it gets extended. I mean, it is fucking extended here. Look at this. Yeah. Now he's out.
It's good he's not in that quick tap club.
So he got out. Let's take a look at that again. Let me see that again.
Is there any way we can see the Americana to it?
So do it before that, because when he was on the ground initially was when it was the deepest. So he takes him down.
I love it. Because
watch the extension. Watch the extension. Like, look at this here.
And
look at this here. Ooh,
and you know
baby, that is so deep. Look, he got out of it, though. He forced it out.
I wonder if he would have kept his heels. No, hindsight.
Who knows, man? I mean, it was tight. It was tight as fuck. And then here he is. Now he's out. Now he's got the elbow out. And then, John starts fucking him up.
Yeah.
And there's a side kick to the body. So he hits him with that.
Oh, and he just drops him.
Boom.
Yeah.
And that side kick to the knee is so good, man. It's so nasty.
He cut right through his guard.
Oh, right through.
Like butter.
There you go. There's that crucifix position again.
Well, John's a much bigger guy, too. Vitor really is there it is. Vitor really is, much better suited frame-wise to the 185-pound division.
It's funny, that whole TRT.
He took that fight on short notice, too, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that was a fight where he was fighting at 85.
Yeah. Speaking of TRT, I have a question. I don't know if any of you know the answer to. Connor's supposed to be coming back to fight Chandler. Maybe it's not happening. Why, if a fighter is out of the testing pool, does he have to wait 6 months?
Because they have to make sure that you're not – it's really not
I mean,
that
if he
scientific.
was clean for a month or 2 months, that's not enough. Why is
Well,
the
here's
number
the thing.
6?
It's like it's in your face.
Oh, well,
It's in your face why this is
that's
happening. This is in your
100%.
face.
Yeah,
It's in your
yeah,
face.
he's well, he's
and
definitely
we're
jacked.
letting it slide because he's got an injury that he has to recover from. Right? Agreed. Everybody. There's no other reason why you wouldn't be, unless it's cocaine.
Right.
Unless there's something else you're worried about getting tested positive for, which
Right.
they do test, which is kind of wild.
Right.
Kind of wild that they test for that. Like that ain't helping nobody.
Right.
Unless you're Aaron Pryor. Remember that?
But Aaron Pryor.
Alexis Arguello.
Yeah, Alexis Arguello.
Yeah.
They gave him coke in the corner.
Yeah. Rest
Give
in
me the
peace
other
to
bottle.
Panama Lewis.
Yeah, the one. Yeah, Panama Lewis.
I used to train with that guy.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Was this before or after
this was
the Louis
after.
Resto fight? Remember
this
the
was
Louis
after.
Resto
This is
fight?
that
Poor
Yeah.
guy's face.
Yeah, he was coaching Louis Resto and he took all the padding out of the gloves.
Yeah.
And he was fighting. What's the kid's name? Billy Costello Jr. Or something?
I can't remember.
Wrecked that
but-
kid forever.
He wrecked his fate, and then the kid wound up committing suicide.
And they wouldn't let Panama work anymore. They wouldn't let him
Yeah.
get licensed.
Oh, is that the guy with putting the plaster in the
That's-
thing, or is that something different?
No,
are
that
we
was
talking-
different.
I
Now you're
think
talking about Margarito.
Yeah, Margarito.
Oh. What are you
Antonio
talking
Yeah,
about?
Margarito.
Billy
Cocaine?
Collins. Yeah, so it's Billy Collins versus Louis Resto. So Billy Collins was this up and coming, real promising young kid, and Louis Resto was not like a big puncher. That's why it was so crazy that he was busting him up.
And
Louis
how'd he do
Resto
it?
has no padding in his gloves. So every time he's hitting him, he's just hitting him with bare knuckle. And-
Original bare knuckle.
Taped bare knuckles, too.
And Billy Collins is so confused. I mean, he was getting battered in that fight. And he was and his look at his head. His head's all
fucked up, man.
lumped up. Look at his face.
And what happened to this kid?
He lost his vision. His vision was fucked up, and he wound up becoming an alcoholic. And I think he died by suicide in a car accident.
That's sad, man.
Yeah, I mean, look at his face. I mean, his face is like unbelievably swollen, and everyone was really confused because Louis Resto was not that big of a puncher. And then his dad went over after the fight and grabbed Louis' gloves, and he felt the gloves, and he felt the knuckle straight through the glove, and he knew there was no padding in there. See, his dad right there is grabbing him.
Yeah, you see that?
See
Yeah.
that? See, he's grabbing the gloves.
Like, wait a minute. Look at that.
He's like, look,
Oh,
he's
look
got
at that. Look at
he's got
that.
no padding in his
He's
gloves.
pushing
Look at
straight
that.
through.
Yo,
It's
that's some
horrible,
cheap
bro.
shit. So
But
wait,
that's
what
so
happened
that's
with this?
so evil. That's so evil.
Oh, you should see that guy's face a couple days later.
Yeah, so his eyes were swollen up. I mean, he wound up losing his vision.
That's
so
sad, man.
Panama Lewis.
There he goes right there with the
Yeah.
red shirt.
Some dirtbag.
Panama Lewis wound up getting kicked out, but he did work with Tyson, like as like a sort of like non-cornerman role back in the day.
Well, I mean, he used to just hang out in the gyms.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that was what he.
That's so evil,
Before
man.
he passed away, he just hung out in the gyms. And
Look, his dad's over in their corner on
Bro,
the
that's
gloves.
so evil. That's
Yeah.
so evil.
I still think that boxing's a way tougher sport for you than, as far as your health, than
Yeah.
MMA. I do.
100%.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, it's hard, man.
Just the head trauma.
Yeah, it's I mean, these guys, they spar hard too. They spar hard.
I know.
You watch some of the Gervonta Davis sparring sessions. You're like, oh my
man.
God, he's going to war.
Yeah.
He's going to war and spar.
Or like even like at Mayweather's, I heard they would just do like these sparring sessions where they don't put time on. They
Yeah.
just let guys just
Just
go at it
duke it
until,
out.
until you
they
quit.
jump them into the gym, basically.
Jesus. Yeah, I mean, look at this. Gervonta Davis is such a weird talent. So different than any other boxer in terms of like the economy. Like that
Yeah.
guy throws so few punches, and everyone he hits you with is so
Counts,
dangerous.
It counts.
But it's so interesting to watch him in the beginning of fights where guys like try to get a lead on him.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of measuring you up, and you're trying real hard to beat him, and he's just kind of measuring you up,
Yep.
measuring you
And then
up.
just bang.
And the movement, god damn, he closes that distance so fast and throws that left uppercut.
Yeah,
It's so
so fast.
ferocious.
Yeah.
His straight left, the one that he knocked down Davis with, the first one.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Or
no.
Ryan
Garcia,
Garcia, rather, the
yeah.
one he knocked down Ryan Garcia with. That first left hand he dropped him with, and then the one to the body. Dude, he's so talented. He's
Yeah.
so good.
Shit, man.
Such a good time for boxing. You know?
It is like right now, like boxing is
I'm
probably
all-
just what we
yeah.
thought. Just every time we think boxing's on its last leg, man, they put together a big fight to keep it alive.
Well, I mean, I do believe him and Garcia being like finally two guys in their prime at having a big fight. Now you're seeing Crawford and Spence
That's the
are
big
going
one.
at it.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a
the
big.
big
That's
one.
one I thought they'd fight like Pacquiao and Mayweather.
Right, you thought
It'd
that
be-
was never gonna happen.
It'd be too late.
Yeah.
But
That's
I
the
think
big
they're
one.
starting to jumpstart them. Now they're
Yeah.
like, hey, let's start fighting each other.
Well, that is such a big fight too. I mean, that's gonna get over the casuals. Everybody's gonna want to see that fight. That's a big.
Yep. And I got to
big,
shout
big
out
fight.
Tank Baltimore. Tank's from Baltimore, world
Yeah.
champ.
Got on his back.
Yeah.
He literally wears
Yeah,
Baltimore
for
on his
real.
back. Yeah.
Shit, man. I can't
Such a
watch
good
anything
time.
but MMA though. I
Really?
tried. Yeah.
I
He
love
know, John
boxing.
knows. I've been at John's place for I do seminar at his place, and the next day's the Super Bowl. I don't even know who the fuck's in it.
Yeah.
He's like,
I'm the same way.
Pee-wee, you want some pizza? I'm like, yeah, give me pizza. I don't. You got any video games around here?
Right.
That's hilarious.
He's a movie buff. That's it. You just got to have
and
movies
VR.
for him.
Hey,
movies and
you know
pizza.
what I have back at the hotel? I brought my Oculus Quest. I bring it with me everywhere.
Oh, yeah? Really?
I bring it with me to Vegas. I bring it. I love Population One. Do you ever
What
play
is
with-
that?
Oh, it's a.
Look at you go.
I love it. It's a fucking. It's like it's a shooter. So it's like with me and I got a squad of 3. Oh, Population
Look at it,
One.
he getting
Sorry,
excited
man.
right now.
You got so excited.
I love this. I live in here. I fucking live in here.
Are you serious?
Oh, it's fun. No, Joe, it's fun.
Is
It's
it-
fun.
is it
I know I'm
first-person
approaching
perspective?
50, but it's fun.
So you're
Yes.
playing this first
Dude,
person? Oh my God, this is amazing.
It is so much fun, dude. It's like now it's free, so you got a bunch of like new kids in there. But there's like a lot of adults play. I play with my brother-in-law Edwin, and we fucking. You know who else I play with?
Who?
King Casey.
Oh, really?
Casey
Kevin
Kevin
Casey.
yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't played with him in a little bit, but I play with him on
He's
there.
another super talented
And
jiu-jitsu
also,
guy.
you know what's so funny? I was in here the other day. I saw Fowler BJJ. And they go, hey.
Mike?
I go, you, Mike? He goes, wait, Serra, that's you? So it's Mike Fowler.
that's
He's in Hawaii.
hilarious.
So I play with Mike Fowler. He's in Hawaii. So me and Mikey are playing.
Nerds.
And,
I know, right?
We're nerds. We are. Oh, yeah, you got to see. My wife comes out. Every time I'm playing, I'll be in there. I'll be like, I'm going to snipe. And my wife comes and she hits my fucking balls. I'm fucking, I just, she goes, you think you're getting some later. I got it. I go, honey, I was a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, we were talking
It's
about
all I
it.
like to do.
We were talking about it earlier with him in the video games. Like I'm talking way back in the day. Like
Oh, wait, there I am.
Look at you go.
Oh, but that was the
Look at you
vibe.
go.
I upgraded since then.
NAGA grappling
That's me in
tournaments.
my living room.
Him
Like,
and
What
his-
are you doing here?
well, that's what I'm climbing and
No,
stuff.
he's doing the boxing game there.
The vibe,
climbing.
this is not nearly as fun. Now I got my. Hey, I'm flying now. I'm flying. There I am.
Oh my god.
But listen, I know it looks
Oh
really
my god.
special.
No,
but it's,
we have those. You know what's great? The fucking shadow boxing game. The boxing
it's
game.
hard.
It's good.
It's hard.
It's good work too.
It is
It's
good
like
work.
You wear out.
it's the future, man. I fucking can't wait. One of my favorite movies is Ready Player One. And I listened to the audiobook a little too. It's a great fucking movie. It's a great.
I saw it.
It's a good
great
movie for your kids.
Yeah,
to watch
I've
with your
seen
kids.
it. Oh, Jamie, I want to before I forget. They got a Taekwondo version of this now, so
Oh.
they're doing kicks now.
Wow.
Yeah, they
Whoa.
figured out how to put. There was this something. See if you can find it. There was something they just demonstrated. So they put these leg things on people, and a guy and a girl were having like a sparring match virtually. So they like bowed to each other, shook hands, and they went to the opposite side of the room, and they put their headgear on, and they started having this like Taekwondo match.
No way.
there's some
Yeah,
cool
so
shit,
That's
man.
pretty
I'm
wild.
thinking, like, as this gets more sophisticated, they could do a Muay Thai version. I mean, you really couldn't do a jiu-jitsu version, obviously, but I think you
Yeah.
could do a Muay Thai version.
When it gets better, I think, dude. I mean, listen. I like that even though I got a new battery pack, I can go longer. But I like that it wears off. I like that it.
Telling you.
I like that it wears off.
Yeah, there it is.
This isn't new though. This is.
Well, I mean, I just saw
I
it.
know that's. I was just. seeing
Oh,
if
it's from
there's-
2021. But see if you can find a video of it, because the video I just saw yesterday for the first time. I think that's it right there.
It's fun, man. I mean,
is
it's so
someone
much
watching
fun.
it? I just. clicked
Oh,
on
is it somebody watching it? So here it is. Yeah.
I mean,
So these people were like, yeah, here it is. So see, they got like sensors on their legs and their shins and stuff like that.
you know, I used to be a regular because the Call of Duty and the Halo. I used to play that kind of stuff.
But this would really be good, like
that.
training practice,
For
better
sure.
than shadow boxing for sure. Because you could do the same kind of stuff that you could do with shadow boxing, but you could do it against an opponent with no consequences. It's not good to
Yeah.
develop defense, but in terms of developing technique, it sounds like a really fucking good idea.
It's a cardio workout
Oh,
too.
you can get a workout with that. My wife went through a couple of them. She used to do the boxing one with the workout when you're punching the glowing balls type of shit. And she had to go. She went through 2 fucking headsets. It got drenched.
It seems like you could take some things if you want to do Muay Thai, where you put on like some things that just go down the side of your leg, and it attaches
so
to
they-
your ankle. It attaches to where your knee is, so it knows where your knees are going, and it knows where your ankles are going. It knows where you're getting hit.
But then you'd have to do it too for your elbows too if you was throwing elbows.
Yeah, you'd have to do it on your elbows, and maybe you could even do it on your.
Oh,
shit.
Oh, this
they're
is
getting
wild.
ready for MMA?
Oh my god.
Oh, interesting.
This guy's got a giant. Look at what
at
he's
this guy.
wearing. That's not really.
Oh, that's so
Good
weird.
point.
But it's also like you need at least a dummy down there.
Yeah.
You'd want to do that with a dummy. But you know,
Well,
it's
you'll be
not going to
seeing some.
resist.
You'll be seeing
Yeah,
some.
yeah,
though.
yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, but you
maybe-
want to feel it, right? You're
Maybe-
just doing this in the air. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it might be weird.
But the striking in the air is legit. I think you really could learn some shit from that.
I didn't play the Creed one. They got some stuff. But as far as shooters, the Population one, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to them. Hey, you fuck! Don't try to put me in a locker, you cocksucker.
Dude, I used to have a real addiction to Quake. I used to play
remember you.
Quake
I heard you
constantly.
say that.
What is Quake?
Quake is an
That's
online,
similar.
very similar. First-person shooter. You're running around shooting rockets at people. It's too addictive.
He was
too
the
exciting.
Halo king back in the
I used
day.
to
They
love
would
other
travel
games.
with that
They're so
PlayStation.
I did. But once I did this one time, I started with the Vive, and then now I can't talk to you guys. People out here are listening. They want to know about this. Listen, it keeps me out of trouble, okay? I bring it with me everywhere. I put it in my carry-on, and it's so much fucking fun. I can't go back to regular video games after doing the Oculus Quest. It's because it's very immersive.
Well, that's why I don't do it because I have one too, and I used to play the little zombie game, and it was too fun. So I was like, I can't do
Listen,
this
man, I
too
get some
much.
dopamine, man. I'm like fucking yelling. The worst was during my kids were doing the Zoom, right? And they were at home doing it. Now they're homeschooled still.
And you're in the background?
Oh, it was bad. 'Cause they were on there. And I'm like, I don't fucking see him. I'm like, I don't fucking see him. Where is he? My wife comes in, she's like, they hear you. They hear you. I'm like, oh my God.
Poor Ann.
I'm like, sorry.
Oh my god!
You know? But it is a lot of fun.
Oh my
It's
God!
fun.
Imagine being that teacher. Shoot him! Shoot him! You hear that in the background.
You'd be sending people to my house.
Yeah, Jesus
but
Christ.
but it's just listen, good, clean fun. Back in the day, people would probably get the same kind of thrill doing. I mean, listen, I'm not shitting on paintball and shit like that, but dude, I get my adrenaline up with this shit. All right, let's switch the subject. I sound really like that. Everybody's just fucking saying, "Wow, he had us."
Hey, let me ask you guys, what do you think about this upcoming Yair Rodriguez Volkanovski fight? That's
Listen, Yair,
wild
you
fight.
know, obviously Volkanovski's going to be the big favorite. He's the big
Yes.
favorite. But Yair got that danger factor, man. Like a couple body kicks
he's
to
a wild
slow
dude.
down
Yeah.
Volkanovski.
And it comes from everywhere.
Yeah.
But it's hard to go against Volkanovski just because of what this guy. I mean, I thought he beat Islam too. And Max, I thought would retire at that weight class, and he beat him 3 times, not once,
And the
not
last
twice.
time was very
Yeah, it was.
That's
yeah.
what made me a true believer. The third one.
The last one, I mean, he just keeps getting better.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you saw in the Islam fight, too. He just keeps getting better. He's not even in his prime. I mean, he's in his prime, but I don't think he's at his full potential yet.
I was there live the second Max fight, and I remember thinking Max won.
I
And,
thought he
yeah,
won
me
the
too.
second
Super
one.
but
close.
but since then, I feel he's upped his level. Yeah, he's gotten
Yeah,
better.
he's pulled
since
away.
then.
He's pulled away. And, you know, but Yair Rodriguez is,
One of the most exciting guys.
he
to
does
watch.
wild shit, man.
He does.
But
And
that
it's
crazy
so,
elbow,
everything with the Korean Zombie.
Jeez.
It's just so hard to deal with those kicks, and he keeps getting better. When he submitted Josh in that last fight, I was like, wow.
Yeah, he looked amazing.
Wow. He looked so good on the feet, too, even before that.
It's hard to.
But
pick against
ultimately, I
Volkanovski.
think that Volkanovski, I think
Yeah.
his ground and pound is underrated.
Underrated.
It's
yeah.
underrated.
It's phenomenal. Everything he does is phenomenal.
Yeah, he's underrated.
Everything he
totally.
does.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he still should be the pound for pound best. Because if you look at it, I mean, he did go up a weight class and arguably, in many people's eyes, should
Won
have
the
got the
fight.
nod. But at the very least, it was as close to a draw as you're going to get
Yeah.
in like a world championship fight. And then, you know, he went up. He went up in weight class. Isn't that what pound for pound's all about?
Yeah.
100%.
So I feel like,
100%.
you know, I mean, it was an amazing fight all around, but I feel like that's the pound for pound.
I'm wondering if his
guy.
performance against Islam will make other fighters now he's not so invincible anymore.
Perhaps.
So maybe you don't go in with that mystique, and maybe somebody else goes in there and shows that
But dude,
he's
Islam
human.
that squeeze is out of this
I know.
world.
Sometimes those smaller guys are harder to finish than even bigger
Stop
guys.
trying to
if that
take
makes
up
sense.
for short people.
I'm telling you. I remember the first time
Stop
you walked.
defending
I
those
remember
little
the first
people.
time you walked into the academy like the fucking creature from the deep, and I'm going to Henzo. Put me with him.
Dude, my first day, he pulled you off teaching so you could help me with my private. That was at the old karate school.
and
man.
we've been buddies ever since.
100%. 100%. It's my man.
It's fucking great. That was at 25th Street at Penn.
Yes. Yeah.
Let me see the rest of that card, Jamie. Who else is on? Pantoja's fighting Brandon Moreno. That's an awesome fight.
Yeah.
But Whitaker and Duplessis, that's interesting. I thought they were going to go straight Duplessis to Izzy, considering that, you know, Izzy's beat Robert Whitaker twice.
A couple times.
And then, you know, Duplessis and him have a problem with each
Yeah,
other.
the Battle of Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have made that fight.
And that's the.
I thought they would have.
Yeah.
It was interesting. But I get it. If you can get past Whitaker, goddamn, Whitaker's good.
Whitaker's very good.
I think he's something like 12-0 as a middleweight against anybody not
for
named
Izzy.
Adesanya.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody wrote that.
Turner, he's a stud, too.
Yeah, Jalen Turner's going to beat up Dan Hooker. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I think so, too.
Jalen Turner is
Oh,
coming into his
Bo
own.
Nickel, always love to see the wrestlers out there.
Right? Yeah, he's a special talent.
Yeah, Bo Nickel fighting another black guy who can't wrestle.
Gotta build him up. You gotta build him up.
Do you know the
Bo
guy he's
Nickel's a
fighting? Do you
stud.
know the
Nah.
guy he's fighting?
I don't know.
No,
Oh,
I don't.
first of all,
Is this his first time in the UFC?
No, he was on a Contender Series. I
I mean,
think.
in defense of Bo, he's new. You know what I mean? You can't just throw him to the dogs right away. And you'll see, I think another kid out of Penn State, Roman Bravo Young.
yeah,
He's he'll wind up checking in the MMA.
No, I think Trayshawn Gore was on the Ultimate Fighter. I think.
Go back
Yeah.
to that I'm sorry, the rest of the card again.
Robbie Lawler.
That's a
and
fun
Nico
fight
Price.
right
Robbie
there.
Lawler and
Oh, how about this one? Sean Brady and Jack Della Maddalena. That's a crazy fight. That
no.
Della Maddalena guy
He's
is
good,
a
man.
motherfucker,
He's good.
dude.
He's good.
sick boxer.
He mixes it up so well to the body. Like his shots, the body and the head, like he's so good at like digging under and creating opportunities. He's a nasty striker.
Yeah. I've been working with Sean a little bit. I've been going out to Philly working with Sean.
Yeah?
a little
Oh,
bit.
have you?
Yeah.
He's good, Sean Brady. Really good.
He's very good.
He only
Listen,
has the one loss, right? To
Muhammad.
To Muhammad, yeah.
Bilal. And, you know, Bilal is on a roll right now. I mean, Bilal's really coming into his own.
He's such a nice guy, Bilal.
He's a great guy. He won't even swear. He would say, "What the fudge?" Like on the podcast.
For
I had him
real?
on the podcast. He says, "What the
He
fudge?"
wouldn't swear?
No, he doesn't swear.
Damn.
Go back to the rest of the cards.
the way we all should be.
Well, you guys are gonna owe Dan Hooker an apology if he wins.
I
You
will.
know that,
I
right?
will. No,
You
I
know
will.
that,
If he wins,
Say it
I'll give
again.
him an
You're
apology.
gonna owe Dan Hooker an apology if he wins. Go back to the main card. Oh, Jalen Turner, Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker is one of those guys that was so close, right? Like think about like when he had that fight with Dustin Poirier.
Yeah.
Down to the wire. Yeah. Down to the wire.
I
So
mean,
close.
I don't want to take anything away from him, but I think Jalen Turner, especially after losing his last fight, I think that taught him a lot.
Tarantula.
Yeah.
Who did he lose to in his last fight?
Mateus Gamrot.
Oh,
and he had
that's
him in
right.
trouble. He had him in
Yes, he
trouble.
did.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
You know-
Mateus Gamrot's a motherfucker.
Yeah, that's what I'm
that
saying.
Dude's game.
Yeah.
That guy is game.
You know, as a win over Jalen is Matt Steamroller Favola.
Oh, he does.
Not
He
just-
does.
Not
yeah.
just giving him a shout out because he's our guy.
That
but he's fucking.
fucking
He's
kid
an
can
exciting
crack,
motherfucker,
too.
Matty.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Matty's so exciting.
Very
and he's-
exciting.
And he's one of those guys. I mean, every one of his fights is fucking amazing. His fight versus the Tarantula is
How
fucking
about
awesome.
the Dober knockout?
Yeah, I mean, I probably should give him an
holy
apology
shit.
Yeah,
for
that
him
was-
knocking out Dober because I
Yeah,
didn't
that
think that
was-
was going to happen.
Bro, he's no joke.
Listen, he's got the balls to pull the trigger.
Yeah, he's very
He's,
game.
he's very
Yeah.
gung-ho.
Very game.
And he's very powerful.
Yeah.
And he's another sweetheart of a guy.
Great
He's a
guy.
Great guy.
He knew my friend Dave Dolan. We had a mutual friend who was like the funniest guy I ever met in my life. He was my boss at one point in time. I was a private investigator's assistant when I was 21. And really it was my friend Dave lost his driver's license drinking and driving and needed someone to drive him. So I I drove with him until he got his driver's license back. So I'd have to pick him up and take him to like people's houses when they were doing insurance fraud and shit. It was mostly like he was a private investigator investigating like, you know, mostly fraud.
Yeah.
But occasionally there was some like chick who was cheating on the guy and
Yeah.
you know, that kind of stuff. So I met this guy, Dave Dolan, who's like the fucking funniest guy I've ever met in my life, who never wanted to do stand-up comedy. And he told me about this Matt Frivola guy. He goes, "You got to look out for my boy, Matt Frivola. He's a fucking goer." And I remember first time I met Frivola, we talked about this guy that he wound up dying.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's sad, but fucking amazing person. Just like there's some dudes, you know how like there's some dudes in the early days of you know training where like they're so talented, like
Yeah.
well, this guy could be a world champion, and then they just drift off.
Yeah.
That dude was so fucking funny. Like
But
when
just
I
drifted off, huh?
he just never wanted to do comedy, and his cousin owned the Comedy Connection in Boston. It was crazy. One of the
Just
funniest
ain't
people
have
I've
it.
ever met in my
Just ain't
life.
have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get that's the talent without fucking. What do they say? That wasted talent is fucking. There's a saying somewhere with that. shit. There's nothing worse than wasted talent. I don't know.
There is
And it's like
nothing-
that with fighting too, though.
Oh,
man.
for
It's-
sure.
the guys might have the skills, but they don't got the fucking dedication, or else it doesn't happen overnight either. Some guys just say, "Fuck it, I'll get a
mindset,
real
too.
job."
Yeah, we were talking about that last night. How you have so many of these guys in the gym that are straight up killers, like beating guys you see on TV. But when you put the lights on,
Yep.
it's tough.
That's
to
gym
perform.
fighters, academy fighters. They
Yeah.
didn't.
There's also guys that get like one injury and they never recover from it.
Yeah.
One thing goes wrong and they just never snap back. You know, there's like certain things that just compromise your movement, like a neck thing or a back thing. When they get it operated on, they're never the same. Like Cane's a good example of that, right? Like Cain Velasquez,
Yeah.
his body just started failing on him.
Yeah.
Shoulders started going, knees
Yeah.
started going. Remember, he was always injured.
Yeah. King Mo, that happened to King Mo, too.
Yep,
King
yep.
Mo was a killer.
A killer.
And as soon as he started getting injured, like his knees went. And
Remember, he
then,
knocked out Hodger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knocked
Yeah, I
out
do
Hodger. He
remember
knocked
that.
out Yuri
Yeah,
Prohashka.
yeah.
Is Kane gonna be? Is he out of trouble with all that stuff? Or I'm
Who
sure he's got
knows
to
in
go through some
California.
stuff.
Who knows?
I felt so bad for
The
him
whole
with
thing is so evil that the guy who did that was out on the street.
That's
Kane
everything's.
locked Kane up.
Sometimes the world just seems backwards lately with a lot of things. You know, you think of stuff like that.
It's nice to see Kane coaching. And
I
it's
know,
nice to
that's
see him
nice.
in AKA.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the legal status is, but it's a horrible, horrible, horrible fucking story.
Yeah, you can't blame him at all.
No, it's what every father says they would do. Every
Yeah.
father says they would do that. He just went out and actually fucking did it, and he lost his mind.
And he's such a soft-spoken guy.
Yeah,
like
he's-
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like
he's
such a
the
sweet
nicest
guy.
fucking guy. Other than that,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
when he was in his prime, dude, before he was injured, god damn, he was a force of nature.
Man, the beat down he put on JDS.
Oh, the cardio he had for
That's
a
what's
heavyweight.
crazy. His
Brock
cardio.
Lesnar. He beat
And
Brock
for a guy
Lesnar.
with a wrestler base, his stand-up was
Sharp.
legit. You know
Sharp.
what I mean?
And no wasted motion. It wasn't like big haymaker punches. Everything was clean and crisp and coming in combinations. When he knocked out Minotauro, it was just bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
It's like, woof, Cain Velasquez in his prime was a motherfucker. That's like one of the great missed opportunities. Cain in his prime versus Fedor in his prime. Because they were
Yeah, for
real
sure.
close.
Yeah.
It was real close.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
real close.
Sharp everywhere. Did that guy retire yet?
Who? Fedor?
I don't know if he did. I think he fought again recently, right?
I think he did
I think
too.
he won his last one.
Nah, he didn't
Or he
win.
lost again?
He
Jesus,
definitely
man.
lost.
What is wrong?
Was it with Bader? Did
Why
Bader
does he
beat
keep...
him?
Yeah, I think,
Yeah,
I
it
think
was
you're
Bader.
right, man.
Bader KO'd him, and then did Bader just beat him again?
I
Did
think
he
Bader
KO
beat him again. I think he beat him again. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I
there's
don't follow
a.
the other
you know,
What's he
certain-
keep running out there for? He's got nothing to prove.
I think maybe he likes it.
I think some guys have a trouble transition into the other part of their life.
TKO, 230
beat
round
Rampage
1. Yeah.
and-
You just don't,
And
you know, thank God
Johnson.
I left the sport with my chin. Some guys, they leave that sport, they leave the chin in there with them, you know
You
what
can
I mean?
only get. I mean, look at what happened to your jaw that one tough man fight. Now imagine the fights that Fedor's had. Imagine those Crow Cop fights. Imagine Crow Cop danging you in the chin over and over again. Imagine all those fights he had.
Man, it
I-
seems once
Bigfoot-
that button gets pushed.
But I
it's
tell you what,
easier
though,
to
when
push
Fedor
it.
was in his prime, I was with Jeff Munson in Russia when Fedor fought him. And I remember Jeff Munson walking out that tunnel, and it looked like a man who was walking to his execution.
Oh my God.
And he beat the hell out of Jeff Munson. He broke his femur.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, it was
Good
the
with a
worst
leg
beating.
kick?
Yeah, it was the worst beating I've ever seen a human being take.
Oh, let me see that.
That's pretty crazy.
Oh my
He beat
God.
the
he broke
hell
his
out of Jeff.
femur.
Beat the hell. Jeff couldn't walk after that. He beat the hell out of Jeff Munson.
Oh, I remember that. I remember it being horrific. I didn't know he broke his femur though. This was Fedor in his prime,
Yeah.
man. And what was this for? What organization was this for?
I don't
It was
even
like
remember.
A weird
M1.
one. Oh, M1.
Yeah.
So this was right around the time where they were negotiating with Fedor to come to the UFC. Because Fedor and his representatives met with the UFC at one point in time, and like many points in time, and there was like some real heated discussions, and it became a bit of an issue. Like, this is Fedor in his prime. God damn, he
Yeah.
looked good. How tough is Munson though? He just
He
eats
was shooting and pulling guard.
it. Yeah,
I mean, is Munson still doing it?
Fedor's just teeing
might
off
be.
on him.
I mean, he lives in Russia
Oh
now,
my
right?
God. God damn, Munson could take a shot. I mean, look, he's built like a tank,
Yeah,
but
for real.
But the fucking shots he's eating from arguably the heavyweight GOAT.
Oh, man.
I mean,
Hand
other than
speed,
John
too.
Jones, I would have loved to see Fedor versus John Jones. But other than John Jones,
Imagine if Fedor fought 205 where he belonged. I mean, this guy was fighting
shit.
heavyweights.
no shit, right?
I don't think he believes in cutting too much weight.
Yeah. Well, I think that probably also led to his durability.
Yeah.
You know,
So there I go
Fedor
right
was-
there. You
Showing
see
up
me on the little
hydrated
corner?
and healthy.
Fedor was crazy durable. I mean, when he walked down Crow Cop in that fight, I was like, this is crazy. Like, this guy is, you've known him as a Sambo guy. And here he is, he's walking down one of the greatest kickboxers that's ever competed in MMA. That's how talented that guy was.
He got a little belly, too.
Oh, yeah, always had a belly.
Had the dad bod going.
Always had that body. I mean, never was ripped, ever. Crazy how
Didn't,
good that guy
didn't matter
was.
a little bit either what he looked like.
He was a bad
Yeah, he was.
motherfucker, dude.
So
Those
accurate.
Minotauro fights, when he stopped Minotauro, those
yeah.
are horrific.
Jesus.
He got his half
And
guard
that's
and
when
was just like,
Minotauro was really, crushing.
Just dropping bombs on
Yeah.
Minotauro. You're like, oh my God.
Hey, what about he hit Orlovsky out of the air?
Yeah,
Orlovsky
KO'd
yeah,
him in the middle of
he
the
tried
air.
to fly. He cracked him
Yeah.
and slept him in
And you know
the
what's
air.
fucked up about that? Orlovsky was winning.
Winning.
He was
Yeah.
doing good.
Yeah.
And he got
Everybody forgets how good Arlovsky was in his prime.
Dude, Freddie Roach said he could have been a very good professional boxer if he had a chin.
Well, remember when here it is.
Ready?
Remember when Fedor knocked out Tim Sylvia too? That
Oh,
was,
yeah.
What was that for? That was Affliction.
The Affliction, yeah.
Yeah, I think this was Affliction too. Yeah, look, the logo's on the ground. Yeah.
When Ray Mercer knocked out Tim Sylvia.
Yeah, remember that?
Arlovsky was dangerous, man. Look at this. And he got crazy here.
Boom.
Oh, tried to
him
fly knee and got
flying
KO'd.
That's a laces out moment.
Couldn't
right
take
there.
the shot. Crazy. Because he was winning that fight up into that moment.
100%.
I mean, who knows what could have happened if he had kept that going? Like, he just
Right on
clipped.
the
I mean, he
chin.
ran right into it,
Yeah,
too.
he
It's
did.
crazy.
All I know
The
is
amount of power in that.
I wonder how much fucking nair he uses. He fought back in the day when I was fighting, and Orlovsky had a fucking straight sweater. And now I look at him now, I'm like, where's the werewolf? I guess he fucking. How does he get rid of that?
There was
You know?
one other dude who fought in the UFC that one time he had all the hair. He left all his hair on his body. So, God damn it, he was a heavyweight. I forget his name, but it was crazy.
And what did he do? Oh, he had a
like
lot
he
of
had hair everywhere, like all over his body, like his back and everything.
Holy.
Yeah, that's one dude, but that's not the dude. The dude was a heavyweight.
I would
You
have
talking about
I-
a Russian?
I'd have
No,
some
American guy.
Oh, American
I forget
guy?
his name. No. That's Gabriel Gonzaga. Gonzaga, pretty fucking hairy too. That's the dude.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'd rip that shit off and blow it
God
in his
damn it, I
face.
forget his name. I apologize.
That's a lot of
He
fucking
fought
nair.
Stefan Struve. Go into Stefan Struve. Go to Stefan Struve's Wikipedia and find out who it is. But dude had crazy hair, like ridiculous, like looked like a caveman,
Yeah, you got to manscape that bitch.
or not.
You'd like it.
yeah, or just- yeah.
It's
go
very
hard to paint.
intimidating.
Yeah.
You looking at a dude who looks like he's
That's like it's like a lion mane. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like,
Dude, Sean Alvarez, he looked like he was wearing a sweater. Good as that guy's built. I mean, he kept it shaved, but if he let that shit go, it was going to be a werewolf in the house.
the scariest shit to me is hairy Russians.
yeah, man.
See, hairy
Telling
Russians,
you.
they're just built different.
Yup.
They're stronger than most humans. So here it is. Let's see. What? This is quite a while ago. Back up a little bit. Back up.
I'm back. I don't know which way to
No,
go.
keep going down. Go down because that's older. No, down.
This is not the UFC though.
Oh, it's not the UFC. When does he
Yeah,
start?
It starts.
That's where it was. That's right where we started UFC. Chase. I don't know.
Let's see. Go up. Dave Herman. That's it. It's Dave Herman. Yeah. So go now. Look up Dave Herman. So there you see him all shaved. Look, looks like fucking like an Adonis, right?
Go.
Now look. Google Dave Herman hairy back.
Oh, boy.
Isn't that crazy? Like that dude when he shaved it all, he looked fantastic, like a male model. But when he let it all grow out, only one time I think he did it, and it was like, what the fuck, dude? Yeah. Look at him.
Holy.
Yeah, like a wolf. Crazy.
Damn.
Yeah,
It looks like a completely different dude.
I know.
for real.
Make that picture bigger, Jamie. That picture.
Yeah,
right
there they
there.
are.
That shit's ridiculous. Look at him.
Yeah, shit,
That's a
man.
hairy motherfucker. Holy shit, man. That's
Oh
a
my
werewolf.
God.
Was
Isn't
he
that
the
nuts?
dude that said jiu-jitsu didn't work?
Yeah, that's him.
And then he got
Then
arm
he got-
locked
yeah,
or something?
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I think he was fucking around.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Playing the old mind games.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old mind game. But that one is a mind game for a guy like you. It probably pisses you the fuck off.
Right when they say,
Yeah, jiu-jitsu doesn't work.
oh, yeah, I'm glad he got arm locked. Did he get arm locked?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I know he got submitted in that fight.
I
It's so
hate, and I
funny.
hate those shirts. Oh, if Sambo was easy, it'd be jujitsu.
Yeah, right.
Shut the fuck up with that shit.
Ask One FC when all the world Sambo champs are coming and fighting the jiu-jitsu champs, and it's not going the Sambo champs' way at all.
In ONE FC, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
you mean
they
for
do the
just straight grappling matches? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but like for MMA though, a lot of people make the argument that combat sambo style is probably even better with striking because it's so much.
You know what the
especially how
problem is?
Khabib does
Is that jiu-jitsu is like now what taekwondo was back in the day. And it just like went in this different direction. So now it kind of went away from where we are in MMA.
a competition direction.
Right. The competition direction. Like,
Even
that's the problem.
someone who just does a competition jiu-jitsu, let's say they never did any kind of distance management and stuff like that, they'll still strangle the fuck out of your average people.
Yeah,
and
I
they'll still
agree.
be able to defend themselves. It's still better than the majority of fucking other arts out there.
And it really depends on which kind of competitors you're talking about. Because if you're talking about like Mikey Musumeci, like that little motherfucker is an assassin.
Yeah.
Like he's
Amazing.
coming to close the show on you. He's
Yeah.
not trying to win on points.
Right.
That dude is always trying to close the
he's
show.
savage.
He's a spooky kid.
Yeah.
Because you're never going to catch up.
He's like
Right,
Rain,
right,
Rain,
right,
Rain
right.
Man of jiu-jitsu.
100%. He's training
Yeah.
12 hours a day.
Yeah.
Every fucking day and only eating once.
Yeah.
He's eating pizzas and pasta.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love
He's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Now, they see that thing with the Sambo and them saying that it's better for combat sports, mixed martial arts and stuff. When you look at the arts as a whole, you know, the wrestling's, they could say the same thing for wrestling.
Sure.
The wrestling, but what if you meet a bigger wrestler? Like, in other words, the thing about jiu-jitsu is the self-defense aspect of it, where, what about the defense? All right, yeah. Like, this fights where, like, Carol, for instance, man, I had nothing in the tank. Nothing. I was so shot. I got to show a nice fucking arm lock escape. I got to show a nice. I don't know if they have similar defenses and escapes. When I had 0 in the tank, I made it to the. I ended up on top of him with an escape, and I'm talking about nothing in the tank. So jiu-jitsu served me not only as the hammer, but when I was being the fucking nail, and it stopped me from ever having to say uncle in there. Where if I didn't have the defensive part of jiu-jitsu, the technique, not just the offensive part, you know, I would have been fucked. I would have tapped
Can I
out.
ask you something right now? Are you rolling right now?
Oh, 100%.
What are you doing with those claws? Look at those
Oh,
claws.
them nails,
you know what's funny
I would pull
about
him
that?
aside. I'd be like,
Yeah,
nah,
you gotta
you
cut
ain't
your
doing
nails,
it.
boy.
You clip, clip,
You know what's funny about that? I saw that shit this morning, and I was going to get this. Go look for a nail clipper.
How do you let them get that long?
It grows quick, man. I'll never forget. I was with Bruce
Saw the
Buffer in
mozzarella.
Hawaii, and he goes. I was asking, was he's a little bit older, Bruce Buffer, and he was saying, oh well, like I think he said he was talking about the hair. Like, because I do that too a lot. I'm always fucking trimming the nose hair and the fucking ear hair. As you get older, shit just comes out. So, yeah,
What are
Joe.
you
thanks
talking
for-
about? They're fucking fingernails. They grow normal speed.
So what the fuck do you want from me? You have an extra clipper? I want to go to a fucking salon now?
I used to always think that
Jamie,
about
look up
BJ.
the nearest salon. No, I'm only
BJ Penn always had some claws too.
Did he
Like,
really?
Bro, are you rolling with those?
Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah, man.
I normally am better than this, but, you know.
That is
I
true.
don't
They are
know.
kind of long.
I got an infection once. Some dudes pulling my hooks out.
I haven't clawed anybody
It
recently. though.
accidentally clawed me and it got infected.
Oh, so now
I'm
you probably have
super
a
sensitive.
now you probably have
I have a nail phobia.
you have like a
Yeah.
Insta radar with that shit. You see the fucking nails, you probably like stay away.
That was another crazy thing about the Henzo gym was all the fucking staff. So much
Oh, the blue
staff came out
basement?
of that.
Is that
man.
right?
Yeah, so much staff came out of that place.
A lot of that's due to the people, man. They got to just take.
Yeah, right.
You got to just wash yourself.
Take a
man.
shower, clean
I-
your,
a lot of
clean your
that's-
gear.
Whenever shit's going down like that, because I wash my mats after every session.
Yep.
When there's stuff going on, I go, hey, man, you guys, I see people leaving this place without showering. Now, I'm not following you home, but you better fucking shower when you get home. Or
You should
else
shower right away.
you
right?
should shower there. We try to, like, talk them into, like, look,
Do
try
you
to
use
shower
defense
here.
soap? Do you use
I
that
have
stuff?
defense soap,
Yeah,
yeah.
defense soap
I,
is the
um,
shit.
I haven't had a skin thing for a while, knock on wood.
Do you
but-
take acidophilus or any probiotics or something like that? That's supposed to help.
Say it again?
Acidophilus, probiotics, any kind of probiotics.
No.
Supposedly
That,
healthy
snuffle up
skin
against none of that
flora. No,
shit.
skin
I don't
flora.
Takes
fuck around with it.
mozzarella.
Well, you know, kimchi, fermented things like fermented sauerkraut, kimchi. It's all probiotics.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I have is I drink the kombucha.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
That's
I
fermented.
drink
Yeah,
that.
that's
I like
perfect.
that.
That's
I like
very
that
good
a lot.
for you. That's very good for
You
you.
know,
That's the same kind of thing.
I thought that would cure any of my stomach trouble, but no cure
I have a
yet.
feeling if you tried carnivore diet, it'd probably help you a lot. I know it'd be hard for you with that obsession with Italian food, but if you
Oh, what do
tried
you-
it,
Yeah,
do
but
you
he
do?
likes a lot of meat too.
It's all
so-
meat.
Yeah, I could eat
It's
meat.
all
Yeah,
meat.
we saw we ate
It's all
last
meat.
night. We
Yeah.
killed it.
where'd you guys go?
Just hit Fogo de Chao.
You and I have been at about 18 Fogo de Chaos.
I think so. I think
That's
so.
the spot, man. All you can eat, and they
I
just keep
know,
coming by
it
with
just-
meat. Let's fucking
It's
go.
literally right next door to the hotel, so
Yeah.
you couldn't go wrong.
And you
was
start
good.
eating the moment you sit down.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
no
we
waiting.
told
Yeah.
Let's go.
The second she didn't. Have you been here before she even finished a sentence? We turned that shit over to Green.
we were the last people. We were the last people. They were cleaning, putting chairs
Lights,
up.
yeah,
We're still there.
I love those places, man.
Oh yeah, Brazilian steakhouses are the shit.
I wonder if the Brazilian steakhouses took a hit after the movie Bridesmaids. Did you ever see Bridesmaids?
yeah, what a
Well,
hilarious
It's
movie.
pretty funny.
It
There was
is.
a part when for the shower, the girl shower or something.
Things getting
Brides-
married. married. They
she's
were,
getting
they were
married.
getting dress
so
fitted
whatever
for
the dress
dressings.
fitting, she goes, "Oh, let's go to this Brazilian place. Oh, good call." Next thing you know, who's Melissa? Who's the
McCarthy.
She's fucking hysterical.
Yes.
They run into the fucking thing. One of them goes into the fucking. It's so
shits right in the
disgusting.
sink.
She goes into the sink. One of them is throwing up in the bowl. The other girl puts her ass in the sink. She's shitting in the sink, and she's like, "Look away! Look away!"
Yeah,
it was
that movie's
fucking
hilarious.
great. But ever since then, man, I wonder if they took a hit with that because
Yeah,
I
you
always
never
remember
know.
that fucking
You never
scene.
know.
It's disgusting, some bad meat. But I do like that Fogo
Hell
fucking
yeah.
place. That is good.
Yeah, I hadn't been there in a minute, so it was good to go.
You know where
in there
most
and
people
smash
get
it.
food poisoning from? Salad.
Salad?
Really?
Salad.
That's why we
Yeah.
don't eat it.
You make fun of me.
Google
now,
that.
you
Make sure
agree.
that's true.
No rabbit food.
I read
Yeah.
that once. It might be bullshit. Let's make sure it's true.
I'm allergic to
Because someone
everything
told me
green.
it's like people that don't wash their hands when they're handling salad.
Yeah.
And, you get bacteria.
I
Yeah.
mean, think about it. I mean, it's not cooked. I mean, it's
Especially if
a
you're
lot
not
of-
cleaning the leaves.
Yeah.
But someone told me that's a
I think salad's fucking disgusting. I just don't like any. I'm not a good
survival food.
I used
There
to
it
eat
is.
broccoli when I was getting to 155.
Fresh salads are another top source of food poisoning. But pinpointing the cause can be tricky. Some outbreaks are tied to a specific kind of greens, often romaine lettuce and spinach, or to certain growers or packers. Salmonella or other bacteria can be traced to dirty irrigation water, soil, or human hands. Yeah. A lot of people get that shit.
See?
But I think they get it from a lot of other things,
That's why
too.
you don't eat rabbit food.
But and then again, you know how many people get salmonella from eggs? I did not know this. It was Moby was talking about it because Moby's a crazy vegan.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how you shouldn't eat eggs and eggs
Are
are
you
like the
kidding me?
most karma-free food. If you
Right.
get pasture raised eggs,
Yeah.
those chickens are just eating bugs and grass, and then they lay their eggs. And as long as there's no rooster, that's never going to be a chick. It's just food.
I actually
Yeah.
learned that here. I didn't know that they just laid eggs for
Bro,
the hell
I
of it.
didn't know until I had them. I felt so stupid. I was 40. I was like, this is how dumb I am. I think every one of those. I'm like, how could it? I'm like, what? Jesus Christ, I know biology.
Yeah.
In my mind, an egg leads
Exactly.
to, they laid an egg, it must be, there's a chicken there.
Right.
No, it's just eggs. They lay eggs every day.
They do?
Yeah, when you have healthy chickens, especially when they're young, they'll lay eggs almost every day.
I don't even
So-
eat fucking eggs.
What?
Yeah, I had 19 chickens at one point in time. I was eating fresh eggs every day. It was
They lay-
amazing.
I need to get some chickens.
Yeah, I'm telling you. It's great.
I did not know
And
that.
they just, you give them chicken feed, but they also they eat worms and they eat the fucking shit out of mice. If they catch a mouse, they will fuck that mouse
chicken?
up. Oh my god,
That is crazy.
You've never seen it? Okay,
No.
we've showed many people. Unfortunately, if you're watching this at home, you're gonna have to watch it again. Watch
Hold on, I never
cat. Watch a cat is playing with this mouse, and the cat is just letting them out, and the chicken runs over. Give me that bitch!
Really?
And steals the fucking mouse from the cat, and the chicken fucks that mouse up. Watch this. So the cat's playing with it, and the chicken's observing. It's like, bitch, you ain't even doing nothing. The chicken's like, give me that. It just steals it from him.
Damn.
And eats it?
Fucks up that mouse.
What's
Yeah,
that?
they eat them, man. They eat them.
Wow.
Did they eat them ferociously? We had a mouse in our chicken coop, and one chicken ran off with it, and the other ones are chasing her and trying to
Trying to
steal it
get-
from her mouth. Yeah, they're
crazy.
ruthless.
Saw a video of a deer eating a snake, or it was something like one of
yeah.
those type of.
Deers they eat birds all the time.
Another-
Ground nesting
Dude,
birds.
I get my education on here. I heard that on here as well. I was like, what?
Yeah, eating
There
a snake.
it is. There it is.
What?
Yeah, they'll eat snakes. They'll also eat ground nesting birds. They'll find birds that can't move good, and they'll eat them. Cows do that too sometimes. There's videos of cows eating birds. But there was this bird net that they use to trap birds, like a specific kind of birds. Look at that, he's eating a bird. That fucking deer's just straight up eating a bird.
I didn't know that.
People don't
Yeah.
know Bambi's
I
a
thought
murderer.
they just ate goddamn leaves.
Most,
and
right.
most of the time they do. Most of the time they do. But if they have an opportunity to eat a little birdie,
they get a
they'll
chance.
chew
yeah.
that fucker
I'll
down.
tell you, my
Survival of the fittest out there.
My father-in-law Ciro, oh man, he makes the best. He's a hunter. He makes me some the deer meat, the venison.
Yeah.
It's my
Good
favorite.
stuff.
It's my fucking favorite.
So
It's
good for you.
Oh, it's so delicious. He makes it like it looks just like a veal cutlet. Like he breads it, and it is so. People said, I heard people say that it's like gamey or something.
Well, you
Not the
gotta
way
know-
he
you
makes
gotta
it.
know how to
Melts in
prepare
my
it. That's what
mouth,
they
man.
say.
It's also how you butcher the animal in the field. Like a lot of times people don't know what they're doing. They'll get the glands, like there's tarsal glands that are on these deer, especially when they're rutting, which which is when you're hunting them. So they're emitting scent from their glands, And if you get that scent on the meat, it'll fuck the meat up.
I don't know what he does.
But
But
it's like it's like a fear, right? When they get scared or
No.
something?
It's like their hormones.
Oh.
Like they're letting out scent for other deer. Or they're trying to fuck. They're trying to fuck and they're trying to fight. So they're putting out this in their glands. A lot of times people will accidentally cut their glands when they're butchering the animal, and that shit will get on the meat. And then also, if you don't immediately cool the meat down, that's very important. Like right after you kill the animal, you have to butcher it and cool that meat down. That meat can't sour. You don't want it outside being exposed to the heat. You want it in a cool, dry place. You want to get it on ice as quickly as possible.
Well, however he did it like that.
Obviously he knows what he's doing.
It's fucking delicious, man. Do you like it? Do you like the
I love
deer
that.
meat?
Yeah, I love it. I love elk meat.
It's like I
venison.
think it's my favorite meat. It's so good.
It's
you
so
know?
rich in protein too. It's very, very good
Oh,
for you.
I feel powerful when I have it.
Yeah,
I feel like John Rallo.
The final boss.
Yeah, it's
It's
Hell
great
yeah.
for you. But the problem with food is the shit that's the most delicious sometimes is not fucking good for you, like lasagna.
I think most of the time.
All that
it's
noodles, the noodles are not fucking so good for you. That amount of
Any
noodles.
pasta, ravioli, gnocchi,
Not
tortellini,
so
just
good
stuffed
for you.
shells, send it my way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, man. It's so good. You get fucking, and also I overeat with that. The thing,
Yeah.
what I noticed about the carnivore diet is, when I'm done, I'm done. Like if I'm only eating steak, I can only eat so much and then I'm done. But if there was like mashed potatoes
You're like,
there or spaghetti,
You don't eat
I'd
that?
be-
You don't eat like mashed potatoes with
No,
your steak?
I don't eat anything.
Just
with it.
meat?
Just meat. Yeah.
No greens or nothing?
Nothing.
Oh, shit, man. Since I got a bad stomach, it don't bother me so much. I think my ulcerative colitis helps keep my weight down. I don't think it's a good thing, but it is what it is.
It keeps you from going crazy.
Because otherwise
Yeah.
I'll just eat too much.
He's got natural semaglutide going on.
Natural semaglutide makes you sick. Yeah.
Shit.
That's a wild thing, huh? Everybody's shooting up with this
Everybody's on
fucking
it.
diabetes drug, try to get skinny.
Really? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, man. These
Yeah, a lot of
just
people are doing
drop weight. It kills your appetite, and people drop weight like
Yeah.
without changing anything else.
You lose a lot of bone mass.
I believe you got to lose muscle tissue,
You lose muscle
everything with
tissue.
it,
Yeah, you
because you're
do.
just not taking in nutrition. So
Yeah.
the body's going to waste.
Yeah, Peter Attia, who's a friend of mine who's a doctor, he said he won't prescribe it to anybody unless they're weight training. Like you have to be weight training while you're doing it, because you're losing. Because like when you're doing it, they showed that people are losing weight but gaining fat. So they're at a higher percentage of body fat, even though their body was losing weight. So they're literally like rotting out from. They're
It's
starving
like a
to
crack
death.
diet.
Skinny,
Yeah.
skinny
Yeah.
fat's the worst.
It's
too.
starving to death. When you're starving to death, when you're not eating enough, what happens? Your body starts to eat itself and you get smaller.
Yeah. That's how I used to cut weight for fights.
Really?
Back in the day, yeah.
God.
I mean, that was, you know what I'm saying? Like now they do it all scientifically. Like, you know, with you have the PI and all
Yeah,
that.
right.
Everybody got a nutritionist. But back in the day, that's
You're
how I
just
used to
waiting.
cut
How
it.
did you learn how to do it? From wrestlers? Where'd you learn how to do
Just
it from?
like
Figured it out?
figured it out.
Man.
I was like, I got to be 145 pounds. I got to get
How much
this
did you have to cut?
shit. I would do 20 pounds like that. Just not eating.
Wow.
I didn't know what the fuck I was doing my first
Yeah.
time. That's probably why I tore my bicep.
Yeah.
So I was getting dehydrated, and I was sparring, and I hit the guy wide, and it went right up.
That was like, what was it, the Lanny fight, I think? when
Yeah,
he
it's the
did that?
Lante fight. Yeah, and I remember I showed up for that.
Yeah, with
the
it
weigh-in.
torn.
Yeah, I was fucked up, but I strangled him. But but I remember being there and just not eating and people not looking at me good. I should give a major shout out to you. Remember Gil Castillo?
Yeah.
He was a good guy. Caesar Gracie,
Caesar
black
Gracie,
belt.
yep.
Good-
Yeah.
a buddy of mine.
Remember
used-
he had that wrestling match, the jiu-jitsu match with a giant
Football player from the Buccaneers,
right.
I think.
Oh,
it
that's
was.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was there for that. I was in the room for that.
That was wild to see. Like
that might
a
have been
good-
that might have been exactly this time. Matter of
It was
fact,
a good advertisement.
Because I
for
was there when
jiu-jitsu.
that happened.
I think
Yeah.
it was that time.
See if you can find that.
He's funny, man, because he was there for a couple of my fights. He was in my corner for that Delante fight, but he goes, dude, what are you doing? And I told him, I got to make 155 and I'm 160. He goes, dude, you're there. What are you talking about? He's like, eat. He made me eat. I wasn't eating. So he actually, I didn't know what the fuck to do. I didn't wrestle. I wrestled like a season. And then I didn't get along with the coaches. So fucking
Really? Yeah.
Dean Thomas, shit. So he got me eating. He goes, you could fucking eat. He goes, and then thank goodness for him, because I don't know what would happen. And then I fucked myself up, because after that fight on the plane home, I got like I don't know if because I did something wrong with the thing. I remember getting the chills. I was like ill after. I don't know if it had anything to do with the way I cut the weight, but I remember I got I caught something from that. So I was like home just shivering after that. Fucking,
That's what's crazy. Like, there's a lot of guys who cut weight and get sick.
Yeah.
They get
Yeah.
sick like that night
It happened
because your
like,
immune system's so crushed.
Yeah.
I was fucked up.
You see it a lot. Like a lot of times at UFC, guys are throwing up. Like in the
Yeah. The weird thing is when they black out.
Yeah.
Like, and you got to tell them, hey, man,
it's not.
not today.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so scary that they get on death's door. But is there a way around that? Like, how is one doing it? Do you think they're doing it effectively?
I think so. I'm not a big weight cutting guy.
I am not either.
I don't really like it. I think you should just fight at higher weights. If you're struggling to make a weight, you need to go up.
Don't you think they should have more weight classes?
And they can have more weight classes.
100%.
Yeah.
Man. I was a tweener. I was small for 170 kind of. I really was. And 155 was a fucking bitch to get to,
Especially now when you see guys like Hamzat that make 170. Like, how the fuck?
I just had Mike Milan on my show the other day. He was on UFC Unfiltered. The guy's 6'1".
He's huge.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm 5'6", man.
Yeah, these guys at that weight class, at 170, these are 200-pound guys. It's like Kamaru.
Right.
I mean, you can't be small for that weight class with a guy like Kamaru. But if we had every 10 pounds, I think it evens it out better.
Yeah.
I think 55, 65, 75, 85, 95, 205, maybe 225, and then heavyweight. And I don't think heavyweight should be 265. I think that's ridiculous. I think heavyweight should be, what the fuck do you weigh? Get on there.
400.
318 pounds.
Hell yeah.
Like, who's that giant Russian cat? What was his name? Valuev. Remember that guy? He was a legitimate giant. He was like 7 feet tall. I think Holyfield beat him.
Oh yeah, the boxer.
yeah.
The boxer.
The
Yes.
boxer.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm thinking MMA fighter.
Yeah. That's
Remember
what I was
that
thinking.
guy?
Yeah. Nikolai
That guy's
Valuev,
a
yeah.
legit giant.
Yeah.
He was fucking huge.
Picture in the suit on the right.
Yeah, look at
Something
that
out of
dude.
fucking James Bond.
David
For
Hay.
real.
Yeah. See if you can find did Valuev fight Evander Holyfield? Is that I don't remember who won that
Where
fight.
is Mr.
David
Bond?
Hay.
Put an eye patch on that motherfucker. He's a villain from the fucking.
He was
He should have. He missed his calling.
Yeah, he was a legitimate giant.
Yeah, Holyfield.
Yep, there it is. Who won there?
If he was 100 pounds
He
heavier
weighed
than Holyfield.
310 pounds, and Valuev won a widely
Widely
disputed
disputed.
majority decision. That's right.
And
That's crazy.
That's right.
And
Most people
Evan-
thought that Evander should have won
Evander
that
was
fight.
46.
Oh, the WBA had to investigate the decision. Wow. Interesting. Yeah, a lot of dirty shit in boxing.
Yeah.
Ooh, dirty, dirty, dirty.
What about when Vitor went versus him, and like, I mean, I like Vitor, you know, and afterwards he's acting like he beat Holyfield in his prime. He just beat a fucking 60-year-old dude. Calm the fuck
60-year-old.
down.
Who
Yeah.
took the fight on short
What the fuck you
notice,
doing?
right?
But also Holyfield, if he knocked him out, he would be celebrating.
Yeah.
Who
It's
would?
still a fight. If Holyfield knocked out Vitor, he'd be celebrating.
Yeah, because
Still
he's fighting a youngster and he's fucking 60. I would be fucking doing cartwheels.
It is. You're right. But also, it is a fight.
It is a fight, but he's fighting a 60-year-old.
Right. But if Holyfield could have caught him and knocked him out, he would have knocked Vitor out, and he would have celebrated. I mean, I know what you're saying.
No, but
It was sad to
rightfully
watch.
so. This
It
would be
was
more
sad,
like
though. He
thank
didn't
you
have
for
his
giving
legs.
me-
He was just stumbling around. It was wild.
Yeah, and Vitor's in his 40s and he's on all the Mexican supplements.
Gassed.
But that's when I knew we were living in a parallel universe. Is when Donald Trump was like the commentator for that.
Yeah, was that? Did he really do commentary?
Well, I don't know if it was commentary,
He
but he
definitely
was
was
somewhere
on it.
on a broadcasting of
Yeah.
Vitor Belfort, Evander Holyfield boxing match.
Vitor looking good back on the saucy, baby. It
Yeah, he got that fucking. I don't think Yasada
was an amazing fight.
Yeah.
They fought as I would.
Yeah.
You know, I'd be pissed too if I was Michael Bisping. You know?
Oh,
Is
yeah,
that the one where
Jesus.
he lost the eye to
Lost his
that?
goddamn
the
eye.
head kick.
I'd be pretty fucking bitter too.
TRT Belfort was a fucking thing to behold.
I know. Yeah, fucking traps.
He was a thing to behold, man. And Luke Rockhold said when he saw him when they were at the weigh-in, he was like, "What the fuck is this guy on?" Woo! He was because he had all the age and wisdom and experience, but then he had a body that moved like a super athlete.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Right.
Remember with Rockhold, he's throwing wheel kicks and shit. Yeah, the difference between USADA and no
Good
USADA.
Lord.
That's a crazy difference. Crazy.
Got over him. You know?
Well, the worst
Oh,
was
yeah.
when he fought Weidman, because when he fought Weidman, he was right off of it,
Right.
and Weidman fucking
Crushed him.
smashed.
Yeah.
That was
So obvious. Such a.
It was a big. See if you can find that. Yeah, Overeem's
Holy
lost.
shit.
Overeem's doing triathlons.
What am I looking at here? Is this
That's
recent?
Overeem. Yeah, recent
Look at his
photo.
face.
Yeah, maybe he's going down to 205. I don't know. What did I ask you to find?
Sorry, it was TRT Guru Vitor, and then Overeem. He said that
No. Shit.
can't reply. No review.
God damn it. What the hell? What was I
Damn,
asking to
Overeem's
say?
face.
Yeah.
Damn, that big ass head, them big
Vitor versus Chris Weidman. Find that. Because that was when. Also, it's not fair to make him do that. Hey, you want to fight for a title? Go cold turkey off TRT. Your body's been living off of for years.
Yeah.
And now your body's not producing testosterone correctly anymore. And then fight the world champion Chris Weidman, who's natural and a fucking monster. Like, he just looked way different, like
Yeah.
physically.
So
Like, look
much
at him.
softer.
Look at him. Like, look at him when he's walking. I mean, it's crazy, the difference. It's really not. It was not fair for Vitor. I mean, I know he probably took it because he wanted to fight for the title, but there's no way your body is working at an optimum state after all those years of being on that. It's just, there's no way.
He's not making any friends with that haircut either. I'll tell you right now.
Well, he used to love that haircut. That was his go to war haircut.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, didn't he have that haircut when he fought Bisping? Close to it.
You should go to the barber with that haircut. Get the fucking thing fixed. Forget oh shit. Oh fuck.
Wild scrambles. It still was a good fight.
No.
Still was a good fight until Weidman got him down. Look, Vitor's a talented guy, man.
Oh,
Look
no,
at this.
very talented.
Look at this. I mean, he's going for broke against Weidman, which is very dangerous. Because if you gas out, this motherfucker never does.
Ready?
And so then Chris got him down.
Yeah, he
Just
gets
started
mounted
battering
on him. Yeah, he gets mounted. It's a
Yeah,
problem.
well, Vitor, like, clearly fatigued. Like, he ran out of gas in that
Yeah,
fight. And
shit.
that's just... If your body's not making testosterone, there's no way you can sustain, like, the way
Yeah.
he did at his prime.
But that's the way you take that fight anyway, really. Like, if you know you're taking on short notice, you just go for broke, and then when you gas out, you just
So
quit.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
I
It's
guess.
fuck it.
But he didn't just gas out. He got the fuck beat out of
Yeah,
him.
this was.
Yeah,
this
at
is
this
good.
point, I would just quit.
Then you had
All right.
TRT Vitor. Then what do we call Vitor when he came on the scene and he was like 225 jacked?
Oh, that was everything.
You know what I
well, the
mean?
first fight, he was like 200. Like, when he
What
fought
about when he beat
Tank.
what about when he beat Vanderlei? How
Oh,
crazy was
yeah.
that?
Well, what was crazy was when he got up to fight Randy Couture. So the Randy Couture, he was like 240.
Yeah.
He was giant. His trap
Yeah,
started
remember
at
they
the
were
top,
at
of,
the top
his
of his
head.
head?
It just went straight down.
Yeah, it was
But he
nuts.
gassed out in
Yeah.
that fight. Like, Randy was fucking in his prime back then. And Randy was so solid. And see if you could find, like, what Vitor looked like. He was super jacked. He looked like a lion.
I think they're making another Expendables movie. Is that right?
Are they?
I swear to God.
Why not? They have like 85
I think
Fast
they
and the
are. I think
Furious.
50 Cent's going to be in it too, I think.
I think Dolph Lundgren's in it too, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he looked like. Is that the Randy Couture fight? See if you can find. Well,
Yeah.
is that the fight?
Down here it says Vitor cuts Randy Couture from the UFC light heavyweight title.
No. That was the second time they fought. That was at 205. In that fight, he actually cut Randy. He cut his eyelid
Oh,
straight
yeah,
open.
I remember. It
And
was
he
like in
wound
the
up-
first, 10 seconds, right?
Yeah, that's how
Early.
Vitor won the title. And then Randy came back and beat him. So that's the second fight.
Yeah.
There was it was back when they were wearing shoes. That's it. Up in the upper right hand corner of the small photos, right there. That's it. So that's That's the first time they fought because Randy was wearing shoes.
Right.
He's wearing shoes. That's great.
What year was that?
That's Vitor 3. Randy Couture.
Yeah, but that's definitely not. That's definitely the first fight,
Yeah.
100%, because that's the shoe, him
got
wearing
shoes
shoes.
on.
Yeah, he was fucking jacked.
I remember that.
He was hanging out with this dude that was like his weightlifting coach.
That bodybuilder dude?
Yeah,
Brazilian guy?
Yeah. We used to call that dude garden hoses.
He had some cable
They
veins
were like
down his
garden
arms,
hoses
right?
down his arms. It was crazy. And the guy he was hanging with, I don't think he was a Brazilian guy. He was an American guy. I think he wound up dying of a heart attack.
Oh, that guy was
Pretty
American?
sure.
Interesting.
The guy was purple.
Yeah.
He was purple.
Yeah,
Like,
he
he would
really
work out.
was.
It was like this.
Yeah.
The guy was
It didn't look like
so
he was flexing
big.
all the time.
He was so big. It was preposterous. And you're like, that's Vitor's weightlifting coach? Well, he definitely has a connection.
When he beat Vanderlei Silva, and
No, that's Anderson's guy. That's when Anderson got. Click on that guy though. When Anderson got popped, that was his guy.
Good Lord.
And I think Homeboy was like 60 in this picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
is that?
I used to see him
swole,
around all the
son.
time.
Yeah,
I
that
see
guy
him
is
around.
swole. That was when Anderson got popped. Vitor's guy, I don't think there's photos of him because we're talking about like the 90s. It was
Yeah.
like 97, 98 back in the
I remember
those
that
days.
guy.
Yeah.
Purple.
Purple. Yeah, I don't think he lived very long, man. I think he was like riding the lightning. He wasn't getting no blood work
Yeah,
done.
no.
He was stuffing that bag. Let's
I didn't know
go.
what blood work was back then.
I mean, a few guys probably did. It's a crazy thing when you think about the early days of the UFC because what you were talking about pre-USADA and post-USADA, you know, you guys fought clean, but what percentage didn't?
Oh, who knows? That's what I'm saying, man. I wonder how many guys I fought that were fucking pissing dirty.
Probably
You know?
almost everybody.
I mean, if it was kind of an intel, that's the dude. How'd you find that,
Oh,
Jamie?
my God.
You son of a bitch.
Curtis Leffler.
Jamie's the best. That's the dude. Look at his fucking veins, man. Those veins are crazy. How did he die?
He was a strong man.
Oh, he was a strong man first.
And those guys.
That
seem
guy
to
had
all
the
go
most
young.
crazy veins. How did he die? Did it say?
I'll find out, I guess.
Yeah, so that was a dude who was training Vitor. Who was always with him.
Yeah, man.
But, you know, they had like a different idea of like strength training back
He was only
then.
36 when he died.
He was only 36.
36?
Good Lord.
What did he die
Heart
of?
attack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Missed
makes
the
sense.
training for,
Wonder where that came from.
contest.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, crazy.
I never even did heavyweights at all when I was fighting at all. I do more, like Longo would just put me through the calisthenics and plyometrics and all that kind of stuff. I didn't. I would get too tight.
Yeah, the functional training is the way to go. For
Did you
fighting.
do kettlebells or anything with weights, lighter weights?
Towards the end, we started messing with some kettlebell stuff, but not too much. no.
Plyometrics?
Plyometrics a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah,
Look,
I still do stuff like that now. I even did even just like there's times where if I work out now, like something to keep me just to keep me in shape. Like after jiu-jitsu, I'll do me and my buddy. I did this right before I got on the plane. I'll do 20 push-ups, and he puts his fist on. I put my fist under him. He have to touch the fist, so that way you're not cheating. He does 20. 15, 15, 10, 10, 5, 5, and then back up. 5, 5, 10, 10. It ends up being 100 push-ups. So instead of doing 100 push-ups straight, it's not, that could be annoying and fucking whatever. This way, but when you're coming back up to the last 20, it's annoying. It's it's enough to make you say, fuck you. And then if I'm doing it by myself, I'll do 20 turnover, 20 squat, 20 sit-ups, 50. I do it that way. And again, this is not the whole workout, but this is what I do after my jiu-jitsu training. So it's how many push-ups I get a weekend. You know what I'm saying?
That's how I warm up from the cold plunge. I do 100 body weight squats and 100 push-ups. That's
How do
my
you-
warm
how
up.
do you
I
do
do
it in
sets
to-
of five.
You
Five
do that
sets of
after you
20.
get
After
out?
you,
Yeah.
Oh, 5 sets
So
of
I get
20.
out of the cold. I start with a cold because there was
Yeah.
some study done. I think it was a Japanese study about it, elevating your testosterone and also increasing your ability to do work because your body's like you kill all the inflammation very quickly in the beginning and then you warm your body up. So some guys like to do it they like to get on the Echo bike, but I find like body weight squats and push-ups, it's like I have to do them anyway. I do 100 every day anyway, so that's a good way to warm up. So
Yeah.
by the time I do 5 sets of 20, everything's warmed up, and then I can do other shit.
See, the cold plunge, my ears suck, man. If I go under the water
You don't have to
at
go under
all-
the water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't go under the water. I dunk my head sometimes under the water. but
now,
I
how
just
long
go
did
up
it
to my
take you
neck.
before you were able to do that? Because I
The
can't
first
do it.
one, there's a video of me. I bitched out in like a minute and 20 seconds. I
Oh,
was like,
did you?
ah!
I
couldn't
mean,
do
I
it.
couldn't even do it. I mean, I couldn't do 20 seconds.
It was so cold. But then I realized I'm just freaking out and just relax and do breathing exercise. So the next time I did it, I did like 4.5. And then I wanted to see how long I could do it. And the next time I did 20 minutes. And don't do that. Don't do that.
What do you-
I was
20
fu-
minutes is too
I was
much.
fucked up for a few days.
Yeah, I
wow.
can imagine.
Yeah, I was fucked up for a few days. That wasn't so good for you.
Yeah.
I was dry. It was in 90-degree weather. I drove from my house to here with the windows rolled up, no AC on, and I was freezing. So
bet.
I'm in a hot box.
Yeah.
I mean, I put the seat heater on in my truck. I was freezing.
Yeah.
And it was 90 degrees outside, and the windows were rolled up, and I had no AC on. That's how cold I was.
What were you thinking? That maybe just longer the better?
I
That type of
just
thing?
went to 5 minutes, and I said, let's see if I go to 10.
Oh,
Then I went to 10 minutes, and I said, I think I can make 15. Then I got to 15. I'm like, 20 is only 5 minutes away. And the next thing I know, I got to 20. When I got out, and I did the whole thing on Instagram so I could film it. So I wanted to make sure that I was really doing it.
Yeah.
But when I got out, I was like, that was not a good idea. I do not recommend that.
No,
Because
they
like
did a lot of-
hypothermia is like 15
that's-
minutes or something like
yeah.
that. And it's 34 degrees. But I'm doing these breathing exercises while I'm doing it. And that keeps your core heated up at least a little bit.
You know how they always say that they always like contradict themselves. 1 second this thing's good for you, the next second it's bad for you. What if you're really killing yourself right now? What if they find out that this ice thing, they killed off the fucking cavemen? No, seriously. It's like, I mean, I don't know.
The 20
man.
minutes is definitely not good for you, and it probably harms you. But doing it 3 minutes at a time, it ramps up your dopamine by 200%. It lasts for hours. It reduces inflammation. And for me, I just get excited. When I get out of there, I just feel great. And I'll warm up out in the sun. So I'm freeze. I get out, I towel myself off, and then I'll do all my warm up shit out in the sun. I'll do my push-ups and my body weight squats out in the sun. Get the sunlight, feel good. You know, get a little bit of a sweat going by the end of 100, and then I start working out.
You don't got that shit in New York, though. You fucking jump out, it's still fucking cold. All day
in the
long,
summer,
you're sitting there miserable.
Try it in the summer. Try it now. But it's not for everybody. But for me, it feels good. I like it.
Dana's
it's a good way to
doing
get
it.
it going.
Dana likes
it feels
it now.
fucking good, man.
Is it indoors or
no,
outdoors?
it's outdoors.
Yours?
Outdoors, yeah. And I got a barrel sauna right next to it, so I'll hop in that
they're awesome.
motherfucker after my workouts.
Let me ask you, man, because I start my day with a nice steam. I love the steam shower.
That's good too.
But why is it not as good as the sauna?
Doesn't get as hot. So
that's the
the
only
thing
reason?
is, it's all about heat shock proteins. It's all about your body responding to the fact that it's dying. You're in an extreme situation where your body's like, holy fuck. So your body starts producing all these cytokines, all these anti-inflammatory heat shock proteins. And the study that did out of Finland, they did a study where they studied people over 20 years. How many people were in that study? Find out how many people in that Finland study. So after 20 years, they found out the people that did it 4 times per week, they had a 40% decrease of all-cause mortality. Everything. 40% decrease in heart attack, stroke, cancer, everything. And this was, they did think, directly connected to these heat shock proteins and the use of the sauna on a regular basis. 4 times a week, 20 minutes at a time. So 2,300 middle-aged men for an average of 20 years. They categorized the men into 3 groups according to how often they used the sauna each week. The men spent an average of 14 minutes per visit, baking in 175 degrees heat. Fahrenheit. Over the course of the study, 49% of the men who went to the sauna once a week died, compared to 38% of the ones who went 2 to 3 times a week, and just 31% of those who went 4 to 7 times a week. Frequent visits to a sauna were associated with lower death rates from cardiovascular disease and stroke. And the results don't surprise Dr. Thomas H. Lee, cardiologist at Harvard-affiliated Brigham and Women's Hospital and founding editor of the Harvard Heart Letter. The cardiovascular effects of sauna have been well documented in the past. It lowers blood pressure, and there is every reason to believe that its effects are good for blood vessels. So it's good for a lot of different shit. And it also, you just feel better.
Well,
when you
being
get
in the
out of
sauna.
there. You feel better when you get out. You just feel better.
I feel like that with my steam.
He said the results aren't applicable to steam baths and hot tubs. Finished saunas are wood-lined rooms specifically heated to a stove topped with stones. Air inside the sauna is very hot and dry. All the sauna bathers periodically add water to the stones to produce a vapor known as loily. How about just steam, you fucking weirdos? Let's use the word that we know.
Yeah, right. Yeah. What's that all about?
They produce something called loily. Oh, you mean steam? Yeah. But they throw like eucalyptus oil in there and shit, and throw it on the rocks. But the key is like you do it. It increases your cardio. Like Dan Gable talked about how he figured it out from wrestlers. Like the Eastern European guys were using it, and they realized it was an integral part of their training to do sauna afterwards. And it's also is like static cardio. So if I do a hard workout, like say if I do like rounds in the bag, I'll go straight into the sauna. My heart is already 120 something beats per second after I get the gloves off, and I sit in there, and it just is 185 degrees, and your heart rate gets back to 147, and just stays there when you're just sitting there. You're just sitting there suffering. So you do that for 20 minutes. It's like 20 minutes of cardio, but also all the heat shock benefits. And when you come out of there, you feel fucking great. You just feel, ooh.
So wait a minute. So in the
loose
morning
and
you should do the
free.
cold stuff, and then like in the afternoon do the sauna.
The way I do it, it depends on how much time I have. I like to do the sauna before I go to bed. That's my favorite way because it makes me sleep good. But I also like to do it at the end of a hard workout. So I'll do the cold to start my workout. That's the first thing I do. And then I have to heat my body back up until I can really work out. Then I work out. And then when I'm done working out, then when I'm all sweaty, then I hop in the sauna.
I mean, it makes sense because if you do the cold after, it kind of defeats the purpose of the workout.
Yes, it definitely for hypertrophy. But for people who do cardio, especially like if you're doing like hard jiu-jitsu, maybe a good move to do it afterwards. You could train more. I know
Cut
a lot
down
of
the
guys.
inflammation.
Yeah, a lot of guys do that with cryo. They like to do cryo. Like Eddie Bravo said when he had that rematch with Hoyler Gracie, like he said, there's no way I would have been able to train like that without cryo. He goes, he was just doing cryo sessions after every workout.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's where you wear the mittens and you.
You freeze your dick off like 250 degrees below zero for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not built for that either.
It's
I just want to do steroids. That's all I want to do. You know what I'm saying? If I just get some steroids, I'm good to go.
You're not on TOT?
No.
Why not?
I need to. I don't know. I just don't feel. I don't feel like paying for it.
I can
It's your
get-
health, though,
I-
man. It's money well spent.
I
if
know.
it's for
I
your
know.
health.
Eventually, I will. Eventually, I will.
When you guys are here, I got to get you to Ways to Well. Get you into Ways to Well to do like an extensive blood panel on you and find out what your nutrient levels are. They're very comprehensive, and like that's why I wanted to know if you got like real good blood work done. They'll
Yeah.
give you like a booklet of all. They'll do an analysis of your blood work and all the different things they test for. They test for a lot of shit.
Yep.
They can pull out a lot of blood.
Yeah,
But-
I got a buddy at home, same type of spot, and they do this. They're actually doing. Was meeting with your buddy. That's the guy I texted
Brigham.
you about.
Yeah, Brigham's the man.
And they do a very similar thing. It's. I mean, definitely you should do it.
I know.
It's just
I
good
need
to
it.
know. It's good to know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what's low. I was low in DHEA, and I
Yep.
was also I fucked up. I didn't realize how dehydrated I got from the sauna. Because one time I went straight there to get my blood drawn after the sauna, and they're like, "Bro, you're fucking dehydrated."
Yeah,
Like,
you
real
probably drink a
bad.
lot of water.
Oh, I drink a shitload of water.
Yeah.
I drink a shit. But after that, I doubled and tripled up to the point where it was a problem during podcasts. I'd have to piss like so often. I
Yeah.
have to run up.
I'll
like,
lend you a piss jug. from
Master
my
Terrence piss jug.
I think I got one lying around the house.
You should sell that on eBay. It's probably worth money. Right? It was like one of them Arrowhead jugs.
Oh,
Yeah,
100%.
That's awesome.
You know what's funny? I had a habit of doing that forever, so I kept doing it when I was married.
Oh,
I'd turn
no.
over. So one time, so finally,
Jesus.
finally, my wife's like, "Look,
What's wrong with
she
you?
goes,
a bucket of piss next to the bed.
I swear,
Unbelievable.
my wife, after a little bit, she goes, "Look, this
No,
has to
it's
stop."
not happening.
Oh my god,
My,
that is so
my mother-in-law
funny.
was over cleaning like with my wife, and she's like, "I gotta." That's not Snapple. Put that down. My mother-in-law had my Snapple bottle full of piss. So my wife's got me civilized. I'm not an
I
animal.
told you she's been good for you.
No. My wife, she, like Ray Longo said, she raised my stock. I'm not an animal anymore. So now I
Need a
get
woman
up.
like that, right? For a
oh,
guy
no,
like
listen,
you,
the right girl will bring you up. The wrong one will ruin you.
100%.
100%.
You know,
100%.
My
And I guess
wife-
women will say that about men too.
Yeah.
100. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
100%.
she did that for me.
And it's
you know?
the right one. It's not the right one for everybody.
Yeah. Right.
know?
Yeah.
That's
You gotta
the thing.
find. You gotta find that chemistry.
Yeah, you
gotta
got to
be-
find yours.
And don't settle.
You have to be
Yeah.
compatible.
Don't you
Oh,
fucking settle.
100%.
Keep moving.
Yeah.
Keep moving. Throw that phone in the lake and keep moving.
That's hysterical.
You gotta know when to abandon ship.
Yeah.
Abandon ship and light the boats on fire.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Let's go.
No, 100%, man.
Yeah.
I definitely dodged some bullets too.
Oh my
with
god,
that.
we all have, right?
You think about some paths you could have went down, and you're like, fuck, man.
All
I'm like,
sorts of ways in life.
that could have been the mother of my kids. Holy fuck. You
Well,
know?
also other things. Just think about fights. Just think about street fights you got in when you were a kid. How many people do you know that got in street fights where somebody could have died, and then all of a sudden you're in jail?
Yeah. No shit.
You
Doing
know?
dumb shit.
You remember Kevin James? Kevin James worked as a bouncer with this guy in Long Island. And this guy knocked some guy out. The guy fell, just like
Hit
fucking
his head.
Steve-O, hit his head, dead.
Dead.
Guy winds up with a rat. I mean, he goes to jail. Crazy. Happens all the time.
Hey, man.
See, Matt, that's why I be keeping you out of trouble.
Yeah.
Every time we go up, Matt almost get in a
Well,
fight.
that, dude. But that's not, I don't look for trouble, obviously.
Well, if they see your nails and they're like, this nails
You gotta fuck off with that. Why are you making it like I'm a fucking people are gonna? This is what everybody's gonna take out of this. They're like, "Hey, fuck face, look at your nails. They all long though. I noticed it this morning. You know, but
I love that you're still rolling, though, even with your knee
yeah.
replacement.
Oh, the knee feels good.
Yeah, that's
The knee-
amazing. Because I was worried, because when you hear about people
No, I
getting
know.
knee replacements, I don't really hear too much about jiu-jitsu guys doing that.
I was concerned, man. And the when me and you did the episode when you had to catch the ball and I was sitting out.
Oh yeah. In Denver.
And we were looking for a fight, and in that episode, I don't like look. The reason why I put off the knee so long, I had my knee surgery. Get a
Is this
brand
the
new knee.
same knee that you had injured when you said you tore your meniscus before the Caro fight?
my meniscus. No, I think it's the other knee. Believe it or not. Yeah.
Wow.
I was supposed to get both my knees done, but I'm not getting the other one done right away because I could walk. It passed the test of, for years when I'd go to the Disney and Universal, I'd have to get a motorized cart, I made it fun. I took some edibles and I'm whipping around. But, but the point was, I had to make the best of it. I couldn't walk. I couldn't walk through the park. So the last time we went with my family, I'm like, yo, I know it sounds simple, but I'm like, yo, this is fucking great. I'm walking with my kids. I got a drumstick now. Now I don't feel like a fatty with a big drumstick. Now I'm walking around with it.
No pain.
I could walk with my knee. No pain at all. No,
That's
I'm good.
amazing.
But
what is it? Does it feel like you, or does it feel like something moving with you?
No, it feels fine. I mean,
feels normal.
Like I feel, because it's titanium, if someone went to kick me, I could use that to fucking block it.
He told me that yesterday.
It's not that I could usually, I even asked them, I go, let's say if someone went to kick me. I asked the doctor, I go, would it be able to get kicked out? They go, no, that shit's cemented in there. That's not going to fucking happen. It's like
and they told you no restrictions on any movements or anything?
Well, before I went in, he said that it's like an 80% chance that you'll be able to do everything you want to do. I guess they don't want to maybe get your hopes up too high.
Right. And you're different than most people, too, though.
Yeah,
and most people that get
100%.
knee replacements are not elite athletes.
But you know what the problem is? I think they told me that most people, when they go into Dr. Amato, great guy. He's a jiu-jitsu guy. He was my PT guy. I'd like to give him a shout out because he got me back. And I felt good, comfortable with him because he was reassuring me. Being a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, he said he knew what I had to do. He goes, you'll be able to do everything. Fucking everything. And he's right. I'm able to do everything. He goes, Matt, the problem is when they do these, like, whatever, you ask people about, are they able to move their knee the way they were before? A lot of times when they go into the surgery, they can't bend that shit. Right. So I was already flexible. Right. So I kept everything. So that's good. Like I could touch my knee, my foot goes to my
Can you
butt.
do triangles with it?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
No
I can do
shit.
triangles with it. Yeah, I can do triangles.
They told you, like, essentially it's permanent? Like, is it for the rest of your life? Like, how long does it last?
I think the thing was the shelf life was, what was it, up to 30 years? Something like that? 20 to 30 or something like that?
And then what happens?
I think we got to get a new one by then. I don't know. I didn't really ask about that. But what happened was,
then. Do they even
like,
know?
with my other, like you could see behind this, I was getting big. Oh, by the way, you like my socks? It's my family. I love you, Daddy. They're my socks. But sorry. But what I was getting was, that's called a Baker's cyst.
Oh,
this is my knee that I didn't get done yet.
Holy shit, that's
So what
huge.
happened is when you have bone on bone,
Mm-hmm.
it gets like inflammation and fluid, and it ends up going to the back of the knee. So you see this thing?
Yeah.
That thing's all fluid. I have to get that drained, that bitch. And
How often do you get it drained?
like you're supposed to, they don't want you to do it too often because they put in a what is it, cortisone?
Cortisone, yeah,
And they say
probably.
that'll fuck up the knee, but I gotta have to get a new knee anyway, so I don't give a fuck. So shoot it up, but but what happens is it blows back up soon. You know what I mean? I would try to keep a tight sleeve on it, but it would just fill back up. They try to shoot it with the cortisone so it doesn't come back, but it comes back. So I got that thing drained several times.
So
I mean,
eventually you're going to have to get that one
eventually
done,
I will. But until I can't walk, I'm walking normal. You see
Yeah,
me?
I see, yeah.
You know what it was like
Bisping's
before.
walking normal, but I
yeah,
think Bisping is
He's
still...
got both of his done.
Yeah, he had both of his done. But I think they bother him sometimes. I think, like, he's standing too long. I think it bothers him.
But he's still he's training and all that good stuff. So, like,
still
kicks the bag.
kickboxing and
Yeah.
stuff with
yeah.
it.
Yeah, he's
Seen
good
him
with that.
kick the bag.
The only thing I fucked up with, and I told you that earlier off air, is that I tore my quad, and that's a little annoying because sometimes it'll dip. Like I'll just fall. So I did it in the kitchen the other day. My wife's like, "What the fuck?" Like I said, like 20% of it, like in the front of it. So like if I bend my knee, sometimes it'll continue to bend. So I just got to be alert of that. I fucked up. You're supposed to step down with your bad leg off regular steps. I did it from too high off a couch because I went to those short jokes, you cocksucker.
I was getting ready. You stopped me right on time. It was
I
coming.
saw it come out of your mouth. So I had to reach something. So when I went to step down, I did it with my bad leg, and it fucking ripped. Boom, straight down. I just fucking, damn. So
And you was there an option to get it surgically reattached?
well, I went to my PT guy, and he goes, "Oh, you tore that thing." Because I was on meds. I was on the pain stuff. I don't know what the fuck I was on, but so maybe it helped with the pain, but it was fucking painful. And then I noticed it. I didn't know it was deformed. I didn't know what the fuck I did. And then he goes, look, man. He goes, like, if there's like 100 fibers in your leg, you tore like 20% of them or something. So it's kind of like what I did to my bicep. But, you know, it is what it is. I fucked that up. I can't go back in time and fix it. And,
Could they have if you did it right away?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Have you ever heard of that?
They can
I
do
never
that with
heard of
your,
that,
I know they can
no.
do that with your bicep.
I mean, I had a buddy that had his quad detached, and they reattached it and
I
everything.
heard of a dude who got his quad detached from a leg kick.
This
The
guy
leg
did
kick
it.
was
Oh
so
my God.
severe. This leg kick was so severe that it sliced the quad.
God damn. Yeah, this dude did it shooting on somebody.
I don't think, but again,
Fortunately, he was on a mat. You know, at least
Yeah.
he could have happened squatting or riding. He's an
How many
avid
of those
bike
videos have
rider
you seen
too.
where guys' legs explode while they're doing deep squats?
I know.
man, I don't like that shit.
Oh, it drives me nuts, man.
The weight training, I got too much ADD for that. I'm afraid I'll, like, you know what I mean? Like, I could zone out in my jujitsu and whatever, and I really think my ADD helped my fighting. It kept me in the moment. I swear to God. Like, I don't know, but I could fucking start daydreaming and I'm gonna fucking break a leg or something. I don't like the heavy weights.
Yeah.
I get.
Nah,
I don't
fuck
know.
that.
I don't
Yeah,
like that shit.
Fuck that.
Yeah, people didn't believe. I used to tell him, I go, he don't even lift. I said he does more, plyometric, gymnastic type
But
stuff.
think about like those guys that, first of all, look at the guys who do the rings in the Olympics. They're the most jacked
Oh,
guys
hell
in
yeah.
there.
Hell
These guys
yeah.
are
They got little
jacked.
tiny little legs though.
Yeah.
But super jacked arms, man. When they do that shit, I mean, those guys.
Balance and everything.
Oh my God! I mean, calisthenics. If you look at those bar stars guys, those guys who do those playground workouts.
Oh yeah,
oh my
for
God,
sure.
they're so
Crazy
jacked.
stuff.
Like, look at these guys. The fucking build on
Yeah,
these
the
motherfuckers.
core strength is ridiculous.
Insane. You can teach that guy to do jujitsu?
Yeah,
Holy
I always
fuck,
said
man.
that. I said if these
Look at that
gymnasts
guy.
learn jujitsu,
Look
it's
at
gonna
that
be bad.
fucking dude.
Oh, and he's in his pajamas.
Yeah, pointing his toes.
He got a onesie on, right?
Sexy. God, I know. Any sport you do with your socks only on, it's kind of ridiculous.
That's
Look at the
crazy.
fucking. Go back to that photo again, real quick, please. Look at the fucking build on that dude. Like, Jesus, Louises. Look at that thing. That's crazy. That's a ridiculous kind of power to do that cross.
1,000%.
Oh my God. Yeah. So think about like those. Go to those bar stars guys, because there's these dudes who do, and you know, there's guys. Some of these guys are like in their 60s that are doing these workouts. There's this one Russian cat who does these on Instagram, and he's like 58 years old, and he does all these wild playground workouts. He must have been like at one point in time, he must have been some, you know, Russian Olympic rings guy or something like that, or some. Look at these fucking guys. I mean, God, look at the build on these fucking guys. All calisthenics. You can get a crazy build with calisthenics. You just got to be willing to do some evil shit to yourself.
Yeah. Look at
I mean, this is evil. That's so hard. But it's an interesting sort of like test case on strength and conditioning
Damn.
program.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can do that, like, what
Yeah.
you in the gym
What
for?
can't-
Yeah.
Right. But the thing is, it's like, how much would that help your jiu-jitsu? A lot.
Oh, I think that's probably even more because it's
Yeah.
like so many different movements all at once.
Yeah, look at these guys. I mean, this is
The core
crazy.
strength, the stabilizers.
That's crazy. What is it called? Hannibal forking chin-ups?
His name is Hannibal.
Oh, royal. Oh, it's royal pull-ups. It's called.
How the fuck does he get down?
Look at this. It's crazy. Oh, that's us talking about how awesome they are. I'm so impressed with people that could do that. It's like that's a long road to
Yeah.
get that good.
Dude,
Yeah.
George, he does that stuff all the time. Pretty amazing.
St. Pierre?
Yeah.
He's smart. He figured it out. I mean, it's like gymnastics. Like,
And it's
that's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
You're calling me a geek every now and then. What I get with George, I get a text from him. No words, no nothing. It's the latest Ahsoka trailer, the latest Star Wars trailer. Yeah. He's into this. Oh, he's a bigger Star Wars nerd than me. He's talking to me about the cartoons and
Yeah,
everything.
my brother Jamie's big into Star Wars.
Yeah.
He knows
The
them all.
Mandalorian
Knows
was
them
fun.
all.
George is
You
big
know?
into UFOs too.
Oh, yeah.
Is
Oh,
he?
yeah. About UFOs, yes. Very interesting.
So what about that UFO or the little alien that was in Vegas a couple
Vegas
weeks ago?
thing.
Not
Is that
literally.
real or
He
what?
said it was
Is that
He
real
says
or
like
what?
8 foot tall, 9 foot
Wait,
tall.
hold on. What do you think?
most likely not a true story?
Yeah.
Most likely, but
Right.
might be. So here's the thing: if an alien spacecraft did land in your backyard and a 10-foot dude got out and you see him and you don't get your phone up in time because you're mesmerized and it just takes off, like what happened?
Yeah.
Is that real? Okay, even if it is real, Are you going to tell people? Even if you tell people, no one's going to believe you. So you're stuck in this spot. Unless you have video evidence of it, I don't know.
Right.
But I do know that George Knapp, who's like he's like the most prominent investigative reporter in Las Vegas for UFOs. He's the guy that broke the Bob Lazar case back in the late 1980s. That was the guy who claimed to have back-engineered UFOs, and it's a very interesting story. But anyway, he went to visit these people. They made an appointment like on, I think it was 2 different occasions. When he went to their house, they didn't answer the door.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it also could be they don't want the smoke. They don't want that attention. Imagine you're just a regular
that's
person.
true.
Right.
You're not making any money from this. All of a sudden, everyone's calling you a liar.
Yeah.
And then everyone knows where your house is. And then people coming by, show me the backyard. Show me
Yeah,
the
that's true.
backyard. I mean, it probably would have freaked them out. I mean, there's probably a lot going on.
On the subject, behind you, because I can't unlook at it. Who is this individual getting summoned
I think
up
it's
there?
supposed to be me. I think it's supposed to be me getting
But-
sucked up into a spaceship.
What am I with the
Somebody
hair?
gave me this. It's a gift. I don't think that's
Oh,
him.
it's
That's
headphones.
Headphones. Yeah.
My bad. I
Yeah.
thought it was like a Mongolian dude or something. I didn't know.
Oh, a hair. The hair is like a ponytail.
That's what I swear to God the whole time.
Tong Po hairdo.
Oh, now I get it.
I think that's supposed to be me getting sucked up into the
That's all right.
spaceship.
Now it makes all the sense in the
Yeah, this was a gift by Brigham, my friend Brigham. He
Oh,
gave me
no
this.
shit.
Yeah, he gave me this when I
cool.
first came here. And so it was so cool, we decided, there it is, you can see it on that image. But then we decided it was so cool, it would be cool behind me. So it looks like it belongs here.
Shit, man. And
do
the
you think
club,
about the
and the
aliens?
club. You having a lot of fun with the club?
Oh, it's amazing. So
That's
much fun.
Cool. That's
Yeah.
so wild. And you got I just know this because I was a huge fan of the Norm Macdonald podcast with Adam Egget.
Yeah.
Now, they had such a great chemistry there. Did you ever see
Adam's
his
great.
And he runs that show.
He's the
thing
talent
called-
coordinator.
'Cause- yeah, and the only reason I know that name is because they had such. Did you guys ever see the old Norm Macdonald podcast? It was so
On
much. This is
occasion.
it. That's
Yeah,
so,
there it is.
was
That's Adam.
before it went on Netflix. The Netflix one's all right, but
He's hilarious.
this was so
Was.
funny. And I thought he was a very funny guy. I thought they had a great thing going.
Adam's very funny.
was-
He could be a comic if he wanted to be a comic, but he's a great talent coordinator.
but
He's just a great dude. He's just a fun guy to have around. And
Norm Macdonald was like he was just such a funny comic. Like
oh
he was,
my God, he was the best.
He was just he was the one guy that I continually just watch and not feel. Sometimes when I watch stand up comedy, I get nervous for the stand up comedian. Like I get like I don't know, like I don't
Because
I
you don't
know.
want him. You don't want him to bomb.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I never got nervous with that guy. I always
Didn't you
enjoyed
do
his
it
stuff.
once? Didn't you do it once
did
with
it
Adam
so did
Hunter?
he.
The episode.
No, not with Adam Hunter.
It wasn't Adam Hunter?
He asked me to do
He
that.
was
I don't-
he
I
was
didn't-
hosting the show though.
No, I think you're thinking of Eve Edwards did it. with
No,
Adam
no, no,
Hunter.
no, no. But Adam Hunter was actually the host.
We did
He
Dana
host.
White. Dana White looking
Yeah.
for a fight. The LA episode. His first episode.
Yeah, my
when
first episode.
Nick the Tooth fucking walked off the show, and we needed somebody. Dun dun dun! Within 24
Superman,
hours.
yep.
Dean
What
Thomas
happened?
steps up.
Nick the Tooth thought that everybody else wasn't really getting tased or something. Was there something crazy
Yeah,
like
Something
that?
like that.
100%. No, Nick the Tooth. When we were doing the show, I would get along with the Tooth. Like he was a funny guy. He was a fun guy to hang with. He was kind of goofy, but he was funny, you know. But then you'd go back and you'd watch the episode and see him talking to the camera, saying all sorts of shit. So a couple of things happened. One, somebody told him, we all got locked hands together in one of the episodes, me, Dana, and Nick, and they tased us. So we all got fucking tased. And he was the only one being like, stop, you know, that kind of thing.
Oh, no.
So he wanted to save face, I guess. And somebody told him that, oh, the way they did it, they really fucked you, man. You got more of the voltage than some bullshit, which is obvious. Dude, we all got fucked up from that thing.
course.
We all got. So that's one. And then another thing was him saying that we set him up with me and him doing a grappling match, which was fucking the furthest thing from the truth.
He was the one talking
I
shit.
remember when I first started shooting the show, I was a little chubbier, so I think he thought I was on the couch. And Nick the Tooth won some shit. He won some, like, the Old Man Worlds and whatever
Yeah,
it was.
whatever.
I think he just won something recently.
Yeah, he's a
too.
talented jiu-jitsu guy.
He's like, he does like the barambolos and all
But
that
back
shit.
then, what is he? Was he a purple belt?
He was
or
a brown belt. He was a
belt?
brown belt. So I was watching after the first episode, you know, I was watching the thing, and all of a sudden I see him going, oh, Matt makes me look good. He's bald. He's always late. All we got to do is settle the grappling. Now, he said this on the show. So
remember.
I remember being like just dumbfounded. I didn't know what the hell he was thinking of. So when I see him the next time, we're on Dana's jet. We're doing the fucking Alaska episode. I go, dude, what the fuck was that? Settle what? So, and he was right along with it. He's like, yeah, we got the tooth now and this and that. Because I'm like, dude, I went with the best in the world. What the fuck are you talking about? So, but he was gung-ho about it. Let's grapple. So we ended up doing the show, and then we were in a jiu-jitsu gym in Alaska. So I go, hey, man, fucking, now listen, if anybody had anything to lose, imagine I slip and the motherfucker gets a berimbolo on me, and I would have something to losing to this knucklehead. But no, of course, I had my way with him. So, afterwards, Dana goofed on him a bunch, But I got a text from him, right? And this is the first time I knew there was some kind of problem. Hey, Matt, it was an honor, this and that. I just have to let you know that I can't let that footage be shown. That's what he said. It looked good. It looked bad for my instructors and this and that. I was wearing their rash guard. So I go to Dana and I go, hey, man, I know you're friends with him. What kind of power does this guy have to say that this shit's not going to be on the fucking air? He goes, not only is that going to be fucking shown, wait till you listen to my fucking commentary. Dana goes, not only is that going to be shown.
Say, we saw it for
I
sure.
go, hey, man. So I think he thought he was being set up, but it was nothing like that at all. So he was a little bit of a weird dude with that. I seen him since, and he was cool. Listen, he was a likable guy.
He's a very likable
guy. But I think some guys, on the camera, they're a little insecure with how they are portrayed. But it was a weird thing because he was acting wacky, but then he's getting upset that he's being portrayed wacky. So it's like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? So then he ended up getting to like a fucking pushing match with Dana or something at a concert. I think they were at a Chili Peppers concert. And I think it was actually Joe Silva. Went up to him and asked him something like, oh, what was it like to roll with Matt? And he said, that fat fuck set me up. I go, hey, wait a minute.
Oh, my God.
I go, whoa, what the fuck? I wasn't there. I heard about this. So Dana called me. I was with my wife, and she was with me. We were celebrating our anniversary in Vegas, and we were going to go from there to L.A. to shoot this episode. And then fucking Dana called me to the office, and we were like, yo, Tooth left the show. What the fuck are we going to do? We were booked at that. Where did we do the Laugh Factory?
Laugh Factory, yeah.
So I'm not saying you owe it all to me. But there was one name that popped into my name. The first name, I go to Dane. I go, well, yo, what about Dean Thomas? He goes, I always like, there he is.
Look at him.
Fuck yeah, Dean.
Nice. Yeah.
How'd that go?
Not bad.
Did you write your own material?
I wrote my own material.
Nice.
And then I have a whole other with Adam Hunter a few times. I've done it with Adam Hunter a few times.
I ain't gonna lie, he used the N-word as a crutch a little bit. But
that was on
that was
episode.
only his
I don't
first
use it no more.
time.
That was my first time.
And then he got more comfortable with it.
Look at Dana, chubby Dana. Dana's all skinny now. Isn't it wild to see?
Yeah, I know.
I was a
Look
little
at Matt up there. Brian Callen's in the audience.
I felt that was fun though. I'll tell you right now, I had an adrenaline.
Yeah.
It felt so good. I told the people in the rafters too, I'll climb up there, bite your fucking neck. I told them. I go, no. I said, I like the layout. I get that in you motherfuckers quick. But we had a good time, didn't we, Dean?
Yeah,
was that great?
that was awesome.
That was so much fun, man.
Fun show you guys did.
Yeah.
That was so much
Fun
fun.
to watch. You guys did a lot of wild shit.
Right.
Yeah.
What about the shark episode? That was a
Dude,
fun
we
one.
swam with
We
sharks.
swam.
You know what's
Why
fucking
did you agree to
You swam
You know
with
what's
sharks.
crazy
You got
about
in.
that?
You got out as fast
You know
as you
what's
got
fucked
in.
up? You know what? Oh, I went back in.
That
You know
was
what's fucked
hilarious.
up about that? They are doing everything you're not supposed to do. They're chumming up the water. They're on their side.
What
like
the
this,
fuck?
acting like they're seals.
Acting
flapping
like
up and down.
wounded seals, so that to draw the sharks out while we were in the water.
What the
One of the,
fuck?
now look, we're in there. Now the best is the cameramen are on the other boat, right? One of the, Charlie told me after, he goes, they said, some of the guys on the boat with him, they go, yeah, sooner or later something's going to go wrong.
Yeah, these are producers. These are producers coming up with these ideas, right? Is that what it is? The chumming? That doesn't sound like
That-
No,
something.
no. That's these guys.
The shark guys?
Hey, again, that was Florida.
What the fuck, dude?
Get me the fuck in there, dude. When I looked underneath, how many people could say there was a cage? And they go, you don't want to go in the cage. The cage hurts anybody.
Yeah, I
People
was like,
live
I
in
want to go in the cage.
You don't want to go in the cage? Why?
That's what they said. They
I
were
think
trying
I'll
to.
go
Yeah.
in the cage.
I was like,
why don't you want to go in the cage?
He goes, oh, the cage hurts people. I think these guys
Hurts
are just.
people.
yeah, they were just fucking with us to
well,
get us
I
to
won't
do
get
it.
eaten
Listen,
in the
man,
cage.
just because you can do something doesn't mean, and just because you could pay for an experience doesn't mean you're not going to die.
I think
doing
we
it.
found out about that recently.
Yeah, exactly. That fucking submarine thing.
That's sad. and
That is
depressing.
so crazy. The inventor of the fucking submarine was on it when it imploded.
Oh, really?
Yes.
The crazy
Yes,
thing is
the guy who invented
they
it.
knew it happened and held it back for 5 days.
Why do you think they did that, Rallo? Give me the
personally,
conspiracy. Yes.
I mean, I'm a good conspiracy theory guy. I think there's so much drama going on with the president and his son. This was something to keep the headlines for a few days because that's right when he got indicted. I mean,
never know with that kind of
pled
shit.
guilty and shit.
Interesting. We are so easily distracted.
Yeah, right.
That was
how
a
many-
good one, though, too, for like
Yeah.
4 days. It
Yeah.
was like, I hope they find them. They only have 72 hours left.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But meanwhile, they were
Fucking thing imploded.
dead.
So
They said they heard it because the government
Exactly.
apparently, this is what's crazy. They had to sort of admit that they have a top secret acoustic surveillance system. Like, why are you admitting that? Just because, are you just admitting it just because you know that there was an implosion? Like, why would you admit that you have a top secret
Maybe
system?
James
'Cause
Cameron
now it's
outed
not
them.
top secret. Now everybody fucking knows about it. Maybe James Cameron did
Remember?
out it.
I mean, he was the one
was
that
talking
said, I
about
knew
it.
the Navy heard it. You know, they lost comms at the same time they heard the audible bang. And
I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't have done it.
Look at that, a top secret military acoustic detection system. Not anymore.
right.
everybody knows now.
Now fucking everybody knows. The Titanic guy told everybody.
Yeah,
Right? How crazy is that? He went, 3 times as deep as
Oh yeah,
as
in
they
a
did.
one, but
by
the
himself.
kind he was with, you could pilot
Single-
around.
yeah, single
This one
person.
was like an elevator. Like you had one button to go up.
What?
That was it?
Yeah, and they were controlling it with a Logitech remote
I had
controller.
no desire.
And there
you-
was lawsuits. Like there's a lot of whistleblowers that were saying that hull is not withstood. It can't withstand that kind of depth.
Yeah, especially the new material. They said the carbon fiber, and they didn't even like the design. The guy
my
said
God.
at least if it was woven, it might have worked. They said this was like like almost like a spring. It was wound.
Oh,
the
God.
carbon fiber was.
Did you
Fuck.
Did you not, back to the shark thing? Did you see out of Egypt that guy get beaten by the shark? That was a real life Jaws movie.
Horrible.
One point you see his feet up in the air.
Yep. Horrible.
It was, and in the background they're playing like Stand By Me or some shit. It's
Yes.
and it's like, it is the most horrific thing. If I seen that before, I wouldn't have done the episode.
yeah.
It's horrible.
Dude, I looked down when we were in that water and I saw a fucking shark looking up at me.
I
mean,
saw that
that's
too, man. I
crazy.
got the fuck out of there because I don't swim.
That.
Nah, dude.
Fuck that.
Now
You're
it's got to the point
perpetuating
now.
the stereotype.
Whenever
Dean.
we do
No,
this shit,
I don't care. It's true.
There was some
Brothers
people,
don't swim.
There was some people recently in Florida or in Hawaii rather, where the husband and the wife were snorkeling, and the husband like gets his head out of the water and they're screaming, "Get out of the water! Get out of the water!" It's because his wife was getting eaten.
Oh, my
There
God.
was a shark that was eating his wife while they're screaming at him to get out of the water.
What
Yeah,
did he get out of the
tiger
water?
shark? Yeah, but they never found the wife. They ate her whole body.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that happened. My friend Duncan was in Hawaii, and that happened like the week before he was there. The week before, the week after, I forget which, but like real close, where he
enough
was
to
like, I
keep
was
you
in
out
that
of the
fucking
water.
water.
Hey, want to hear about balls, dude? You can't swim, and you jumped off a fucking cliff into water. That's in
right.
Hawaii. Hawaii brought it back to me.
Yeah.
Did you have life vest on?
No.
You can't because you have to.
Because like if you don't,
the impact would.
because the impact, like if you
Because they
hit
said
the
it-
water without that, it'll crush your chest.
Because we jumped off a cliff.
So how the fuck did you
me
get
and
out?
Me and you jumped off a cliff.
Yeah, that was the episode. That was the episode
get
that
me-
Dana didn't jump.
Punked out.
Yeah,
Did he?
No,
No,
Dana
he
ended
didn't
up
jump.
not jumping.
I know a guy who fucked his back up for life doing that. He landed
Oh, with-
bad. He landed bad, blew one of his discs
Here we
completely
go.
apart. Oh, how far is this?
Oh, this is fun, man.
Oh my God,
This is
dude.
fucking awesome, though. Come on, we have some nice memories.
How
Dean
far
Donovan.
was this? How far was this jump?
I don't know, but I'm in better shape now with my shirt off. If you want to see me take my shirt off now, I'll show you. God damn, look at this.
there it goes.
Way, little chubby guy. Yeah. Dean,
How many feet do you think that is?
I don't know,
That's pretty fucking high.
but
Oh my God. Oof.
Dana was up there,
And you
Dana
did
was
that-
up there until the sun went down.
No way.
Yeah.
He never did it.
I was
All these
torturing
other
him.
people did it, and he
I was-
didn't do it.
I
Did
was-
anybody get hurt while you were there?
no, it was like
No.
little kids doing it. Shit.
Dana's pride got hurt. Hello.
Ah, fuck that. Dana was like, fuck that.
And the best is
He was up there for 3 hours.
We're in the truck now. First of all, he was breaking your balls before that.
Yeah.
So then we get off that. We're in the van on the way back. Dana's a little down in his dumps, and Dean's starting to be like, "Well, he took balls just to get up there." I'm like, "Boo this man! Fucking give it to him, Dean."
Jesus, look, that's so far.
He was up there a long time.
2 hours and 30 minutes.
Fuck that. Dana still didn't do it.
They cut some shit from the episode. I'm sitting there yelling. I go, Scott Coker would do it. Pussy.
Imagine if he did. Holy shit.
He was up there till the fucking.
And he had to walk down the
He
walk
did
of
the
shame.
walk of shame.
Oh my God.
You
That's
know?
hilarious.
But hey,
But?
just to give him a compliment, so I don't get fired.
Yeah.
He did jump on a fucking bull.
Oh,
No.
Really?
He wrote a bull?
He wrote a bull.
Why?
Yeah.
Why don't you
We
guys call
wrote
me
a
first?
bull.
I hosted Fear Factor.
I know.
I'll tell you
Dude,
what
you
not
should,
to
if you
do.
wanna
That's
look
one
at,
to
if you
not
want to look
do.
at him riding the bull, I
Much,
would-
much
it was-
better to jump
Dana,
off
I
that
give Dana
cliff than to
full
get on the
credit.
back
That
of a
is
bull.
so
No,
much
and
more
it's
dangerous.
a legit bull. It's not no
Did he
bullshit.
do that afterwards? So he felt bad.
No,
about
he
that?
did it.
No,
He
no,
did the
that
bull
was before. No,
Maybe
it was
that's
before.
why. Maybe that's why he didn't jump in the water. He was like, I
Because
wanna
he
die.
realized how
I'm rich.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
almost
He's
got
like, I'm
fucked.
rich as fuck. Why am I
Watch
doing
this
this?
shit. Watch
Oh
this
my
shit.
God, this is Dana?
Yeah, we both did it. I landed on my
No
foot. Look
way,
at this.
dude.
Look at this.
Bro,
Dude, this
that
is a
is
real bull.
so
And this
insane.
thing almost got him. Look at when he lands. Look
Oh
when he
my
lands.
God.
Look.
Oh my
Dude,
God.
that could have landed on him.
So lucky. That's just luck.
Damn.
That's just dumb luck.
No, dude. That was not. Dude, Rory. we
Oh
blame
my
Rory
God,
for-
that's
yeah.
so close. That
No,
could have
no.
crushed his hips, ruined his
Oh,
organs.
no. Dude, I wouldn't do this again.
Fuck
that was
that.
close.
Fuck
Yeah,
that.
no, I did it too. The fucking helmet couldn't fit me because I was chubby.
I remember
that
when we
fucking-
did
yeah,
Fear
you remember?
Factor.
I wasn't there for that one.
We did Fear Factor once. It was this one dude who was a bull rider. And it wasn't a bull riding episode, but his shoulder, he said, he had 8 operations. He showed me his shoulder. He's like, I can't hold on to anything with this. My arm will just pull right out of the socket.
Nah,
But
dude.
he just had the slices all over his arm. They just reconstructed him so many
guys are
times.
savages.
This is just bucket list shit. I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, no,
Fuck
hell
that.
no.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, fuck that.
I didn't ride the bull. I did the clown though.
Oh yeah, you did the clown.
Oh,
thing.
you
That
were a
was-
clown? That's
yeah.
even scarier.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I had to,
that was
and it
close.
fucking it
I got
almost hit
worried
me,
for
man.
you.
It was like
Oh, no.
the hoof almost hit me.
We do love that job.
I know.
It is a fun. It's a
Are you
fun
guys still
gig.
doing risky shit like that?
Nah, the last time wasn't nothing like that.
Yeah,
they've been
it's not-
chilling out. A
It's
lot
not as
lately.
risky, but
Yeah, you're having fun.
yeah, but we
Oh,
still
yeah.
having fun
Yeah.
though. Yeah,
It's a great idea, though. What a great idea. You go to these small shows, you guys show up, everybody's freaked out. Oh my God, look who's here.
Yeah.
And then you get to do wild shit in that town.
It's such a good time, man.
It's a great
and
idea
again,
for a
you're hanging
show.
out with your buddies.
Then the
Yeah.
worst was like Matt didn't even realize that we did it here in Austin a couple years ago.
Oh, really?
I was telling people it's my first time here. He goes, we shot the show here. I go, oh, my God.
Listen, I'm so happy you came out because Dean didn't think you'd come out.
I didn't think you'd
Oh,
make it.
man,
I
you
so
kidding
have
me?
to wait.
Dude, thanks for having me.
You
though.
should do a podcast. You are so fucking good at this, man.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man, right?
I'm 100%.
Well, he's got
We do.
unfiltered.
We do
Yeah,
UFC
but I mean,
Unfiltered.
Yeah,
your
but like
own
his own-
podcast,
yeah, his
like
own
your own,
podcast, yeah.
the Matt Serra show.
I should do a
Matt
lot of
Serra's
things.
take on life.
Yeah.
I do my
Do it
video
once a
game.
week.
People are making a lot of money on Twitch, and I just do it for free. I could be making money with my VR.
Yeah, man.
Eventually, I'm just so.
The switch
I'm
never
just so
turns
happy.
off with this guy.
Well,
Yeah, I'm
you
just
got
so happy.
you got a nice balance.
I have such
You
a
got
good
a nice, but you're
balance.
so good at this, though.
We have
Yeah.
a good time though. We the secret to our success, I think, in everything we do, Dean Thomas. Even when you do the show with me, I think if we're having fun, everybody's having
Yeah,
fun.
that's
That's
it.
the secret of this podcast.
Just have fun.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it.
All podcasts.
Yeah,
really.
it's like you know.
If you're
All-
enjoying
all-
it, other people are enjoying it.
All I need is a fucking nail trimmer.
Yeah, just trim them nails. All right, John Rallo, tell everybody about your gym.
Oh, yep. We're back in Baltimore. It's called Ground Control, and it's groundcontrolbaltimore.com. And for my fight promotion is Shogun Fights. Thank you, brother, for
My
letting me
pleasure,
say
my
that.
brother.
Oh man, still-
Dean Thomas, when are you going to be doing commentary next to us? You
man,
100% should be doing that. 100% you should be doing.
I don't want
commentary.
to. I think you guys work too much. I like sitting behind you guys and just chiming in every so often.
he does great with
I
that
just,
though.
I just
I
like
love- I
I
love
just
when
like
they
sitting
go
in
to
and
you.
chiming in every so often.
I do love when you chime in, though. You always
Yeah.
have such good points.
Yeah, well, thank you very much.
My
but I tell you
pleasure.
what, though, tell the people, watch Tough After Tough tomorrow night. After Tough 31.
You got so many jobs. Dean
Yeah.
Thomas.
Yeah, I do the post show. I do the post show for
Okay.
for the Ultimate
Is that
Fighter
on
show.
ESPN Plus?
Yes, on ESPN
Nice,
Plus. So it's
nice.
called After Tough. I do that.
ESPN Plus is the shit. I
Yeah.
fucking love that.
It
You get
is.
so many fights.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sometimes I have to do some shit with my family. I fucking set that aside.
Yeah, put ESPN Plus on.
He's out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. I love it that it just streams right on your phone.
Yeah.
It's fucking incredible.
I love ESPN Plus.
Especially going back in the John Rallo days when I first met you. We'd go over someo's house to watch it.
For real?
Yeah,
Now it's
right.
on your fucking
Yeah.
phone.
Oh, when he beat when he beat George for the title, we had a house full of people, and when he dropped him, I was like this close to the TV. I'm yelling at it, finish him, finish him. Like I felt like I won the fight when that happened. I was so happy for him. It was awesome.
Man, this was like a reunion, man.
It was awesome.
Thanks for having me out,
Thank
man.
you. Thanks
I got
for coming.
really happy.
Thank you, guys. And Rallo,
thank
it's
you.
a last-minute edition. It was awesome.
Right?
Thank you, guys.
I mean, I appreciate you even asking me on. This is like a bucket list thing. So even though we're boys, it's amazing, and I'm just happy for all your success.
Thank you, brother.
Me
Thank
too.
you. All right, guys. That's it. Wrap it up. Bye. Bye, everybody.